And we are live.
All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Olympics on My Mind once again. I know it's a bit late that we are doing it. It's been some days Commonwealth Games ended, but we had been meaning to
I
do it for some time now. And yeah, but thanks to all of you, like both of us, Kapil and I, have been, getting a lot of messages uh, in on Twitter and otherwise that, live karo guys. So always that's encouraging and we appreciate that, so thank you so much for that first of all. And yeah, as always, this is Webav. I am joined by my co-host Kapil. Hi Kapil.
Hello, guys. Hi, Webber. How are you doing?
Good, all well. Yeah, had a good nice break. Back to back world championship athletics and Commonwealth Games. थोड़ा सा ओवरवेलमिंग हो गया था
हाँ
with office, managing late night watch every day. तो but yeah, good.
हाँ मजा
Looking.
आया. या डेफिनेटली
Hmm.
10 days मतलब कंटिन्यूसली आई थिंक 12 hours से ऊपर देख रहे थे कॉमनवेल्थ
Yeah.
गेम्स. सो इट वाज अ लॉट ऑफ फन. बट या
Also it
हैड.
was back to back ना, पहले वर्ल्ड एथलेटिक्स चैंपियनशिप रही, फिर कॉमनवेल्थ उसके तुरंत बाद आ गया, तो दैट वेज.
हाँ मेरा मतलब थोड़ा डिफरेंट था. आई मीन आई ऑब्वियसली वॉच द वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप्स बट आई
हम्म.
जस्ट कम फ्रॉम अ ट्रिप. सो मतलब माय केस वाज इट्स लाइक 1.5 month से घूम रहे हैं यहाँ से वहाँ.
या
And
या
then
या
you just come and 10 days we went straight into it. So it was
या
enjoyable, but yeah, it was feeling like okay, थोड़ा break भी चाहिए, which is good.
yes, it was good fun, like 10 days. I
Hmm.
don't know where all of it went.
Hmm.
मतलब काफी क्रेजी शेड्यूल सा हो गया था. अच्छा guys, before that, I hope the video quality, sound quality, everything is fine.
Yeah, guys,
Both of
क्योंकि
us are
मेरा
audible.
हाँ because मेरा आज mic and speaker अलग है. मेरा पुराना mic went out, so इसीलिए बता दो if there's any problem.
Gaurav says, let's start with lawn bowls, Vaibhav. Yeah, Gaurav will, I'm sure Kapil will touch upon it. He would want to touch upon
हाँ
it.
मैं एक्चुअली सोच रहा था
I
अपने को
will.
स्टार्ट करना चाहिए लॉन बॉल से, बट देन यू वर सेइंग कि रेसलिंग से करते हैं तो ठीक है.
Wrestling has been talk of the town last few days, no? That's why I thought कि maybe wrestling से करते हैं. But yeah, even before wrestling, मतलब overall, like if you have to sort of assess it, मतलब what are your conclusive, takeaways, so to say, कि कैसा रहा Commonwealth Games from a Indian perspective? Any thoughts around that?
I think overall it was a very good games. मतलब ठीक है, obviously everything can be better, and
Hmm.
there were a few setbacks as well. लेकिन on the whole मतलब I was always a little more focused on कि gold कितने आएंगे. Medals are fine.
Mm-hmm.
मतलब 61 or 63 or 64 or I don't think it's that much of a difference. But I was really focused on the golds, and I am definitely very happy with the 22 golds.
Okay.
I will also say the last day went pretty well. मतलब I was
Yeah.
not expecting so many goals. Last 2 days, in fact, boxing also. Second
Yeah,
last day
that
also
home
boxing.
stretch. Yes.
The home
I
stretch
mean
was
the
very
entire
nice.
home stretch, yeah.
Exactly. So the
Mm.
मतलब we did very well in finals except for cricket and hockey. उनको हटा दो. उसके
Mm.
अलावा we overall did pretty well in finals, which was a pretty good thing.
Yeah, agree, totally agree. Although I would have a slightly different perspective to it. I mean, I in particular was not looking for goals. मतलब मेरा देखने का, so basically दो तरीके से मैं देख रहा था इसको. One was that there are certain sports जहाँ पे तुम्हारा कोई stake involved नहीं है. Stake as in I wasn't very much invested, in the sense that I just wanted to sit back, relax, and watch for the fun of it, right?
Mhm.
So squash हो गया, या तुम्हारा long bowls हो गया, for that matter. I mean, I did watch it.
Hmm.
I was very happy with the way, the Indian women's team won it. The
Hmm.
celebrations, obviously, those were very emotional, and you always want to get involved in that kind of stuff. So वो सब था. in even cricket, like cricket का भी I would say cumulative 3-4 overs देखे होंगे मिला के, but it was good fun, right?
Hmm.
Following on Twitter everything around cricket. So that was one part. Second part for me was the Olympic sports. So primarily my idea of watching it was to observe it from a Olympics angle, keeping
Yeah.
Olympics at the back of my mind.
Mhm.
I mean, now again, that's how the name of the channel also
Yeah.
comes in, right?
Hmm.
Olympics on my mind. So yeah, that was one of the idea, not to see who is winning what medal, but how far or how near are athletes are from a Olympic standpoint. So that was one thing I was keen at. I honestly didn't care about the medal table कि
Hmm.
इंडिया को कितने मेडल्स आ रहे हैं कितने नहीं. मेरे को थोड़ा सा ये था कि व्हाट इज द परफॉर्मेंस लेवल कमिंग स्पेशली फ्रॉम ओलंपिक्स के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से. सो दीज वर द टू थिंग्स एंड आई थिंक उसमें भी इवन इफ आई डोंट काउंट गोल्ड मेडल्स आई थिंक द लेवल ऑफ परफॉर्मेंस हैज शॉट अप.
Hmm.
So if you compare it from the last previous editions, so
Yeah.
that was yeah overall good.
Yeah, overall I will agree. I think we can go into bit, obviously table tennis we can talk about उस हिसाब से, boxing we can talk about, थोड़े बहुत वहाँ
Yeah,
पे
yeah, yeah.
dicey factors हैं, but yeah, overall it was I think very good.
Hmm.
And
So
yeah,
yeah,
guys, by the way, chat is also open. We'll try to take as much as we can. So you guys can ask your questions if you have. Start करें wrestling से.
wrestling से करते हैं. ठीक है.
Yeah, so
Are you like displaying something or?
हाँ ठीक है, ये देखो ये आ गया. If you just want to see the medal table, this is all there is. So wrestling we
Mm-hmm.
had like 6 golds, a silver, and 5 bronzes, and you can go down to the if you want.
Okay, मैं भी यहाँ पे अपना खोल लेता हूँ because I can't.
Yeah, this is wrestling.
So what do you want to start with, women's or men's wrestling?
I think men से start करते हैं.
ठीक है.
Yeah, right at the beginning तो obviously मतलब रवि and बजरंग का तो expected ही था. I don't think there's
Yeah,
much needed to
nothing
be
to
said
take
there.
away from there. Yeah.
They are just so much ahead of everybody else in CWG, and it worked out well also. It wasn't like they weren't even in trouble at any point of time. ठीक है, Bajrang isn't the dominating thing he was in 2018. He still is not. But उसके अलावा ये wrestling Ravi and Bajrang में I don't think there's much to speak about, right?
Yeah, it's more like a warm up tournament for them कि ठीक है अच्छे टाइम पे आ गया वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप से एक डेढ़ महीना पहले. You've had that competition sense, you've had that multi sports games wali sense all around you. Now you can go back and train properly for 1.5 months and then prepare accordingly for world championship.
By the
वही
way,
है बस उनके लिए तो.
there's a question from Lakshya. I think he's referring to the World Championship, which is why is Ravi changing weight from 57 to 61? I think World Championship में कर रहा होगा. Lakshya, if he's doing it, it's not that surprising. He has a lot of problems cutting to 57, so he keeps his tournaments at 57 to a bare minimum. क्योंकि हर
Yeah.
बार वेट कट करना पड़ता है, तो आई एम नॉट टू श्योर इफ इज डूइंग इट, बट इफ इज डूइंग इट 261 फॉर वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप इट्स fine. It's not
Although he
surprising.
doesn't do it for world championship,
अभी
like
तक
for
नहीं
lesser
किया है.
tournaments he would.
हाँ
Yeah.
अभी तक नहीं किया है, बट कर भी रहा है तो भी it's not that big a deal, right? It's fine.
Not surprising. Yes.
And anyways, मतलब you have Uguev at 57, जिसके सामने Ravi has struggled, so he might even have a better chance at 61 for the gold. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, World Championship, हाँ, and World Championship is not a qualification event, right? अगले साल का World
It's
Championship will
not.
be qualification event. So अगले साल नहीं
Yes.
करेगा वो, इस साल he can do it.
Yeah. What did you make of Naveen Malik, Kapil?
Impressive, definitely impressive.
Impressive.
Yeah, though I mean I don't know how this works. That he came up against Tahir instead of Canada. So but Tahir somehow beat the Canadian, but I guess the Canadian also wasn't much good. But yeah, at least 74 में we got a good performance this time, because
Yeah.
every time 74 it sort of has been flattering to receive for quite a while. हमेशा लगता है कि we have a lot of competition in the domestic, and every time we have a new guy going to the international tournaments, लेकिन
Yeah.
none of them have really been able to deliver. So
Yeah. Well, Commonwealth में they usually do. I think
हाँ
last
ठीक है.
time तो what Sushil was only there.
हाँ सुशील ही था
Commonwealth में?
2018 में तो. इनफैक्ट आई थिंक इट वाज द pretty much the only tournament he played.
Hmm.
दो उसके बाद एशियन में भी गया था. He lost in the first round in Asian.
Right.
but
Yeah.
ठीक है.
Like मतलब इतनी कोई ऐसे स्पेसिफिक वो नहीं है. मतलब इट्स नॉट लाइक अ प्रॉपर यार्ड स्टिक टू सॉर्ट ऑफ जज हिज परफॉर्मेंस. थोड़ा सा ये तो था कि नवीन का सिलेक्शन होना कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स में वाज अ लिटिल सरप्राइजिंग गिवन द कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस ऑफ द फील्ड डोमेस्टिकली. गौरव बलिया है हमारा, और कौन से रेसलर्स हैं?
गौरव बलियन, हाँ
जितेंद्र
जितेंद्र
इज देयर.
कुमार,
अमित धनखड़ है आई थिंक.
अमित धनकर है, होने को नरसिंह यादव भी है. He's also
नरसिंह
still
यादव है. यस
he's still
तो यही
competing.
4 बड़े नाम हो गए. तो beating all of these and qualifying for Commonwealth अच्छा था. I think मेरे लिए the thing that stood out for me mostly about Naveen was like काफी डोमिनेटिंग परफॉर्मेंसेस थी, ऐसा नहीं कि ठीक है जीत या 50-50 था, लाइक ही डिडंट गिव chances to his opponents, right?
Yeah, सामने ही है, right?
बिल्कुल
Everything
भी।
was superiority except for in the final when it was 9-0, which is almost superiority.
By the way, does it look 19 to you?
यार ऐसे
Be
तो याद
honest.
नहीं
I
है।
I felt like मतलब 19 का तो बिल्कुल लग ही नहीं रहा था।
यार देख, मेरा तो अजम्पशन ये होता है इसमें कि सारे एजेस रॉन्ग ही है, सो आई मीन आई डोंट नो। आई
I,
ऑलवेज
I
अज्यूम
didn't
के
know
दे आर।
his so I didn't know his age actually before Commonwealth Games, and I was super surprised to see okay 19 years old. Wow. ठीक है ये भी।
नहीं बट ठीक है, आई मीन सी माय अजम्पशन ऑलवेज इज के द एज इज ऑलवेज अंडर रिपोर्टेड, सो आई एनीवेज डोंट पे टू मच अटेंशन टू दैट, बट ठीक है, आई एम नॉट, नो कमेंट्स देयर ऑनेस्टली। आई डिडंट हैव
Mm,
मच ऑफ एन ओपिनियन देयर।
yeah, being diplomatic, huh, Kapil?
नहीं नहीं, नॉट डिप्लोमेटिक, आई एम सेइंग आई डिडंट नोटिस इट, दैट्स ऑल आई एम सेइंग।
Okay, okay, cool, cool.
आई डिडंट नोटिस इट।
Same with Punya also, like nothing major to take away.
Hmm.
Expected था.
Vaibhav is saying, Vaibhav Soni in the chat, that he did just enough to win. But ठीक है, it's my Inam
Yeah, that's
Mohammed.
okay. Deepak also is coming back after a long time, right? He's
Yeah,
been
he
facing a
suffered
lot
from
of
injuries.
injuries, and not just one injury, multiple injuries back to back.
Yeah.
So,
And Mohammad Inam is not a pushover. Huh? You might think, who's this Pakistani? Mohammad
yeah.
Inam is definitely not a pushover. He, in
Mm,
fact, was the defending champion. And last time, जो इंडिया का wrestler था in '86, सोमवीर, he was teched. मतलब Inam won by superiority over Somveer. And he's the beach wrestling world champion, which, okay, it's not mat wrestling, but he is somebody. So Inam is
yes.
definitely not a pushover. In fact, I think Jonathan Selvaraj का tweet था या विनय का था, I don't know, I think John का था, कि Inam is essentially the Sushil of Pakistan from their perspective.
Perhaps. Yes, for sure.
So I don't have a problem कि he beat Inam 3-0. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's
Win is a
perfectly
win,
fine.
right?
Hmm. I will say Deepak Nehra, that one I was a little disappointed with.
Yeah.
Quarter final में he had a lead and I think he gave it in the last second or
10
something.
seconds. Yes. Yes.
And that was seriously, had he taken that, it should have been a gold. मतलब
Agree.
it was
मतलब
mainly.
हार गया it's okay, but the manner in which you're losing
Hmm,
after like last 8-10 seconds
hmm.
वो थोड़ा सा फिर disappointing हो जाता है.
And it's happened a little too many times. I think it happened with Nehra here and it happened with also Pooja Gehlot.
Pooja Gehlot,
हाँ,
exactly,
and
and those
दोनों.
were the two goals we missed out is what how I would look at it.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about Pooja Gehlot gold because the Nigerian was still left who had also beaten the Canadian. But
Hmm.
दीपक नेहरा के केस में for sure. एंड दोनों के
Hmm.
मैच में मेरे को याद है, वॉचिंग बोथ द मैचेस आई वाज लाइक, ये लोग अभी एंड में देंगे पॉइंट. They had become totally defensive in that last 30 seconds odd or 15 seconds odd, whatever it was. And they were just looking to prevent a point. और मुझे लग रहा था कि ये पॉइंट देंगे यहाँ पे. For some reason I was getting that feeling. So
Yeah.
that's, so for me actually overall, if there's a disappointment in wrestling, it was actually Deepak Nehra because I think he
Hmm.
should have done better.
Yeah. For me, it'll be Deepak Nehra as well as Pooja Gehlot because
Hmm.
one, primarily she looked good. So
Yeah.
in her bout against the Canadian, first
Hmm.
half she actually looked good. And
Hmm.
last में I don't know,
I think she
मतलब
gave a lot of points, ना 6-2 या कुछ आगे थी, something
yes,
like that.
yes.
Hmm.
And last के वो stretch में she just gave up, like वहाँ पे static खड़ी हुई है. Of course, Canadian was going all guns blazing, काफी aggressive mode पे आ गई थी वो.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was disappointing the way she lost actually.
Okay. And by the way, boy Weber Sony saying Canadian was favorite against Nehra, he's Pan Am champion. Okay, that's
Hmm.
fine. But I think the match, the way it went, to me,
Yeah.
Deepak Nehra looked the stronger wrestler. He just
Hmm.
sort of gave away the point in the end. Lakshya is
Yeah.
saying कि Ravi had played Pakistan in final. I'm not sure about that. होगा. He's saying कि the Wikipedia is not accurate.
हो सकता है वो.
हो
Yeah.
सकता है,
Yeah.
but पता नहीं about that.
Yeah.
And yeah, उसके अलावा मोहित was a disappointing. Yeah, 125 में didn't give you any hope. मतलब
Hmm.
आराम से एकदम कनाडा से हार गया.
Yeah, but 125 का तो फिर ऐसे ही है ना, like you can't expect because usually other countries का भी like Canadian, I don't know, I haven't read about this guy, but मतलब not a very highly surprising thing for me to be honest.
हाँ ये.
Heavyweights का थोड़ा रहता ही है, you always
Yeah,
have to be cautious.
yeah, this guy I think Amarveer Desi, he was there in 2018 at least for sure.
Mm-hmm.
2018 में भी यही था. आई एम नॉट टू श्योर 2014 में भी था कि नहीं था. ही माइट बी देयर. but 2018 में तो definitely था. And he's okay. He's मतलब वही decent. But you know, I mean, okay, let's extrapolate a bit. So for me, Mohit seemed really, honestly, a little disappointing. He got beaten by the Canadian very easily. And ठीक है, Sumit, resident in this was Sumit, who's got into doping. He got popped for doping. Otherwise, you expect him to put a better performance, even though his style was not the best. मतलब देखने में it was not the best. थोड़ा very static wrestling होती थी. But I'm just saying, extending, if we go to the under 20 World Championships, right? We had a wrestler who came, who won silver in 125, right?
Yeah.
I don't even remember his name. क्या नाम था?
Yeah. From Maharashtra, Gaikwad.
हाँ.
Can't recall the name.
So even I can't. So if someone in the chat, if you remember the name, just tell us. So, but the 125 guy who won silver in under 20, and a lot of people are saying कि, he can be the next big thing in Mahinder. He can be the next big thing in Indian wrestling or whatever. So that guy eventually lost to Mohit in the trials, right? I read that he also participated in the trials, and he lost to Mohit, and either Mohit or Satyendra, whatever, he lost in the trials. So now the point is, if Mohit is better than him, then that takes my hope away from that, from
Yeah.
Mahendra
But
Gaikwad.
okay, but so for me, I don't know the pedigree of Desi, right? Like, I don't know a lot about Desi to comment. We can comment from the Indian side, but unless you do not know how good a wrestler the Canadian is, तो थोड़ा सा that ways रहता है ना skepticism.
ठीक है, but still, मतलब बहुत बुरी तरह से हारा यार. I expected a little better, for me at least.
Yeah. Okay.
And ठीक है.
What about Vinesh?
Yeah, Vinesh, ये क्या हो गया? अच्छा ठीक है, ऐसे. That's fine. Yeah, Vinesh did what she had to. Not dominant, not as dominant, let's say. But yeah, still, मतलब fall निकाला points. Nigeria भी, it's not a pushover. So yeah, she did well. It was comfortable for her. And
for me, I think मैं थोड़ा सा I was more keen in like sort of analyzing her body language, how sharp she's looking or how she feeling on the mat. तो that sense मेरे को काफी सही लगा, because trials के भी थोड़े बहुत जैसे videos हैं, तो वहाँ पे भी she did look nervous and not so confident, not the usual Vinesh way, right? But इसमें वो थोड़ा सा swagger वापस से दिखा. She was very confident. हाँ, थोड़ा सा, मतलब I would say. तो that ways she looked sharp to me. But then again, can't take a lot of things away यहाँ पे ना.
वैसे चैट में people are saying देसी भी पैन अमेरिकन चैंप है, जूनियर वर्ल्ड चैंप भी जीता है.
Sorry.
Yeah, guys, I get it. He was always the favorite. I'm not saying कि Mohit should have beaten him. I was just disappointed with the ease with which he lost. He lost like very easily. मतलब I think 12-2 का score यहाँ पे, but that 12-2 also was pretty quick. It wasn't like it took some time. So for me, I was disappointed with the ease with which he lost mainly. विनेश का हाँ ठीक है, मतलब विनेश का obviously time ही बताएगा. It's a little difficult to judge here, and she's gone
just one bout mainly to judge, no, for her. पहला ही bout था Stewart के against, and that too I think she pinned her.
नहीं, स्टुअर्ट को तो जल्दी से पिन कर दिया था. नाइजीरियन बाउट स्टिल वाज, आई थिंक, अ लिटिल मोर toughly fought. मतलब Stewart के साथ it might have been toughly fought, but I think she pinned her in like a minute and a half or something.
Yeah. But Stewart is like the main competitor, right? Was the main competitor for
bronze medalist or the he's apparently a world medalist. तेरा ठीक है?
Right.
पानी वानी पीना?
हाँ पी लिया मैंने. So yeah, looks good. अब देखते हैं.
And yeah, by the
कल
way,
का भी तो फिर यही हुआ ना. हाँ, sorry, you were saying something.
and यहाँ पे फिर अब पूरा वो story है, right? कि Antim has won the under 20 gold, and
Antim
हाँ, not Antim, sorry, Antim has won the under 20 gold, and trials में she was, जो मैंने पढ़ा, she was leading Vinesh 3-0 with 15 seconds left. So I mean, that is like really impressive. 3-0 with 15 seconds left. मतलब विनेश बच के कॉमनवेल्थ पहुंची.
Yes.
And I remember ऐसा
literally
आया था.
बच के. There's a video on YouTube. So वो देखना, ट्रायल्स की वीडियो अवेलेबल है. तो like सिर्फ लास्ट के 15-20 seconds बचे थे विनेश के पास, where she took away the bout.
And तब we thought कि maybe it's just a let's say one setback for Vinesh, or just one misstep for Vinesh, but she's coming back. But yeah,
Yeah,
now you have to wonder, कि it's like पेरिस में क्या हो रहा है, आगे क्या हो रहा
yeah.
है, वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप्स
And
में क्या हो रहा है.
for Antim Kapil,
हाँ,
she still is 17. She's a junior, but I totally missed out on the fact that she was coming into these junior championship on the back of winning a ranking tournament
yeah,
where she had beaten quite a few decent wrestlers from
Tuni
Europe.
yeah, Tunisia में, right? I think she beat that Ecuadorian one जिसको we had discussed in our very first stream,
Hmm.
Luisa Valverde or something.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's like a big deal, right? And
Hmm.
then another instance of going head to head with Vinesh. तो या पोटेंशियल तो काफी सही दिख रहा है एंड होपफुली शी विल कीप विनेश ऑन हर टोज एंड वो जो डोमेस्टिक कंपटीशन का यूजुअली रहता है ना इफ द
Hmm.
डोमेस्टिक कंपटीशन इज गुड
Yeah.
यू आर नॉट कॉम्प्लिसेंट एंड यू ऑब्वियसली एंड अप गोइंग विद द बेस्ट ऑफ द फॉर्म तो वो
Hmm.
चीज ठीक है अच्छी है.
देखते हैं. I think one of the problems there is, मतलब I don't see either of them moving down to 50 as well, right? क्योंकि अंतिम भी जितना, मतलब अंतिम भी जितना मैंने देखा, she looked like a big 53 kg girl. I don't think
Yeah.
she can move down to 50 years.
No, she's come from 48. I think 48 में पहले पार्टिसिपेट
हाँ,
कर
वो तो
चुकी है,
मतलब
48 49.
यंग में तो वैसे ही होता है. इट्स लाइक एज ग्रुप में 49 की है, देन शी इज कम टू 53.
हम्म.
बट
हम्म.
लेकिन 53 के लिए भी शी वाज लुकिंग लाइक अ स्लाइटली बिग गर्ल. सो
या
दे
या
कांट रियली गो डाउन टू 50. एंड 57 पे भी अंशु है, तो ऐसा नहीं है
राइट
कि.
राइट. हाँ मतलब
या
पेरिस में तो 57 में इट्स नॉट जस्ट अंशु राइट 57 में देर आर अ लॉट मोर.
57 और कौन, अच्छा वो पूजा धंडा एंड ऑल दोस यूर सेइंग.
पूजा धांधा है सरिता सविता या सरिता
सरिता
हांडा.
सरिता मोर.
सरिता मोर सॉरी हाँ.
हाँ, बट
सो
ठीक है.
सरिता इज देयर.
बट सरिता मोर तो बहुत बार आई थिंक अंशु से हार चुकी है. इट्स लाइक शी इज लाइक द
या बट
क्लियर नंबर 2.
she's the clear number 2 but something someone who will keep Anshu be prepared all the time.
No, I was just thinking, if let's say Antim can move down to 50, then
Mm-hmm.
it could work. But I don't see that happening because
Mm.
just looking at her physique, I thought that might be very difficult. So
I
then,
think near term तो अभी ये देखना है कि so obviously Vinesh as has been decided is going to go through the trials
अच्छा
अगस्त में
कर
अभी
लिया है,
for
वो
World
हो गया है.
Championship. हाँ so Ravi, Deepak and Bajrang have been exempted. बाकी सबको trials में appear होना ही है World Championship के लिए.
एंड विनेश को भी, कि विनेश को नहीं.
Yeah, everyone except for these three no.
ओके. सो
तो
विनेश वर्सेस अंटिम होगा ट्रायल्स में.
if Anthem enters because I think अभी recently ही मतलब कुछ दिनों में ही start हो जाएंगे trials.
हम्म.
August end is what I read. तो not sure Anthem is going to participate या because उसके लिए काफी हो जाएगा ना back to back.
हम्म.
एक वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप फिर उसके बाद ट्रायल्स फिर दूसरी वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप तो देखते हैं.
ठीक है.
To me, I think what Vinesh looked in trials and what she would be now after Commonwealth Games will be a different Vinesh
ओके.
from what I know her or what I have seen her throughout the years.
ठीक है, चलो लेट्स होप
Hmm.
इट्स डिफरेंट. एंड या ठीक है, उसके अलावा पूजा गेलोत आई थिंक वी हैव ऑलरेडी टॉक्ड. इट वाज अ
Yeah,
लिटिल
yeah.
डिसअपॉइंटिंग.
Anshuka, honestly, I wasn't disappointed.
या.
Disappointment थी, but I wasn't highly disappointed because you could see थोड़ा सा class में और experience में difference है. And Anshu still needs some more, some more tactics or some more strength in her because she tried her best, but Odugairo's defense was pretty strong. Huh? She wasn't able to take her down. मतलब काफी ट्राई किया उसने तो वो
या.
क्लास डिफरेंस थोड़ा सा दिख रहा था वहां पे.
Yeah, honestly, for me, it was along expected lines. Matlab, she absolutely destroyed those earlier rounds, Australia, Sri Lanka, and Odonayo के सामने fight किया थोड़ा, but Odonayo was always in control, right from
she
minute
was
one,
she
right from
was yeah,
second one.
yeah. I won't say expected lines पे था but wouldn't have been surprised also if she had beaten her.
Would have been
Let's
surprising
put
to
that
me,
way.
I'll just say.
Yeah.
I think ये अपना डिस्कशन प्रीव्यू स्ट्रीम में भी हुआ था. You were like 50
Yeah,
50
yeah.
and I was like कि नहीं, मेरे को लगता है Odonayo is superior still.
हाँ तो मतलब ठीक है शी इज स्टिल कमिंग अप द कर्व थोड़ा सा इतना मतलब शी इज नॉट दैट एक्सपीरियंस्ड आल्सो ऑन द सीनियर टूर राइट इवन दो शी हैज वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप
Yeah,
सिल्वर.
yeah.
कितना 1.5 2 साल ही तो हुए हैं.
हाँ हाँ, मतलब she is definitely on the up. And definitely expected to be a future star if she's not already one. She already is one. She is a world championship silver medalist, even though that
Yeah.
world championship was slowly contested. But she is a silver medalist and she will be a contender. मतलब ओडनायो से हारना कोई शर्म की बात नहीं है. Let's put it that way. It's
Right,
eventually
right,
have lost
right,
to Odonayo, so
right.
it's fine. दिव्या एंड पूजा के बारे में जल्दी कर लेते हैं before coming to Sakshi. Anything?
Okay, you reserve a special place for Sakshi, is
नहीं बट
it?
थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा ना साक्षी का. थोड़ा तो डिस्कशन होगा. दिव्या पूजा में ज्यादा
I
डिस्कशन
I
करना
don't
है.
have much to say in Divya Puja. दोनों
हाँ
expected lines पे था, दोनों से
एकदम
कुछ
फुल.
expectation भी नहीं थी.
हाँ
Bronze was the least, मतलब anything above bronze would have been a super bonus,
हाँ
honestly.
दिव्या का तो मुझे याद है. मैंने ड्रॉ देखते से स्ट्रेट वे बोला था ब्रॉन्ज कि दिस नाइजीरियन इज टू स्ट्रॉन्ग एंड उसके अलावा देयर इज नोबडी एल्स इन द ड्रॉ. एंड ठीक है 76 में यू नेवर रियली नो क्या होता है. आई मीन जीनू आई डोंट रियली अग्री दिव्या हैड पुअर ड्रॉ बिकॉज इवेंचुअली बात वही होती है कि यू हैव नाइजीरिया, यू हैव कनाडा एंड यू हैव इंडिया. सो इट्स लाइक
Hmm.
ब्रॉन्ज मिले कि सिल्वर मिले इतना क्या फर्क है. यू हैव टू इवेंचुअली डिफीट
Right.
समबडी राइट. सो अगर नाइजीरिया को नहीं हराना है तो मैक्सिमम सिल्वर मिल जाता. क्या फर्क है इतना सिल्वर ब्रॉन्ज में.
Hmm.
एंड पूजा सिहाग ओके आई मीन ठीक है. शी ऑल्सो डिस्टाजियो वॉज द मेन अपोनेंट देयर. आई गेस शी फॉट लेकिन
Yeah,
थोड़ा
but anyways, like she does not give you a lot of confidence.
या
Otherwise, also domestically भी yeah. So that's why, मतलब
वो अगेन
it's a
प्रिया
big
मलिक वाली
deal.
बात ये है राइट.
हाँ, it's a big deal that we have Priya now coming up. And तभी मैंने मतलब ट्वीट किया था कि it'll be better if she jumps up the senior category soon, because उसका गेम देख के जितना थोड़ा बहुत मेरे को नॉलेज है, she looked prime for being becoming a senior. अपने यहाँ 76 में कभी कोई इतना स्ट्रांग रहा भी
हुआ
नहीं
ही
है.
नहीं है.
Secondly, from a global perspective also, if you see, 76 is one category जहाँ पे the field is becoming open, especially from a Paris perspective. So जैसे होता क्या women's wrestling में, you'd see every category would have couple of slots थोड़े से blocked ही हैं for medals, right? हर एक में एक तुम्हें main Japanese मिलेगी और उसके साथ let's say
चाइना
57
हो
में
जाएगा,
तुम्हारा,
रशिया हो जाएगा.
हाँ हाँ, चाइना हो जाएगा, यूएस की हेलेन
यूएस की
मोरेलिस हो
गई हाँ.
या कोई
कोई अजरबैजान
जो भी है.
अजरबैजान आ
हाँ,
जाएगी. हाँ
76 में क्या हो रहा है, द टू women who have dominated for years, एडेलिन ग्रे फ्रॉम यूएस एंड योर एरिका वीबी तो अब मतलब ट्वाइस एन ओलंपिक चैंपियन, बट अब वो तो डाउनफॉल उसका हो ही गया. ठीक है, शी इज नॉट दैट प्रोमिनेंट एनी मोर. शी इज गोइंग टू बी 34, 36, 35, 36 in that range. Grey का भी she's reaching that age and I don't think she's going to be dominant. The Olympic champion who is from Germany, she was a surprise champion. Does not have a pedigree at all. Peaked at Olympics, won a gold. Nobody knows what she's going to show up with. तो I मतलब point is कि कोई ऐसे dominant face नहीं होने वाला Paris Olympics तक. So it's relatively a open field when you compare it with other categories. So that way is like it's a good chance. It's a good thing for us that we have a super high potential wrestler coming in that particular category.
बट मेरा क्वेश्चन अगेन सबसे पहला ये, डिड शी compete in the trials and did she lose?
She did not. She did not.
Okay.
She did not compete in the senior trials. Is what I know.
ठीक है, then really needs to move to seniors. Still I think 2 years might be a little too early, but let's see. देखते हैं if it happens. By the way,
Yeah.
Lakshya asking about Nordic format. Lakshya, the Nordic format or the elimination depends strictly on the number of competitors. If they have like 7 competitors or less, they do a group. In fact, 6 or 7 में they do a group. 5 में they do a full Nordic format. And 8 onwards they have an elimination. So it's a rule. It has nothing to do with ये try करेंगे वो try करेंगे. It's a simple rule
Yeah.
based on number of competitors.
Yep. Okay, so on Priya, you were saying, is Paris too soon for her?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
why?
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, 2 साल isn't it too soon if she's not even competed in seniors yet?
I mean,
It'll
if
be
she
bad.
starts competing on senior tour next year, she'd have 1.5 years, right?
No,
तो
I'm not saying
problem क्या
going
है?
to Paris. Going to Paris is fine.
हाँ, for a medal you're saying?
हाँ, तू जैसे बोल रहा है ना
हाँ,
because
no,
it's
no,
an
no, no, no.
open and everything
So
that way.
all I'm saying is I'm hinting that it's an open field relatively. बाकियों में तो at least There are three medals in Olympics. You just
Four.
the rest of the field is fighting for just one medal, right?
हम्म,
But that is not the case in 76 kg. Is what I'm trying to say.
ठीक है,
Nothing beyond that.
ठीक, देखते हैं, चलो, definitely promising. Let's see what happens. And
Yes.
coming to Sakshi, I mean, the best thing obviously is that she got to go and she got this gold. She's had a real tough time after Rio, and she also beat Sonam on the way. It's not like कि Sonam injured थी or something like that. So it's definitely good to see her come back. She also dominated everybody except the Canadian. मतलब ठीक है, it's not that big a deal to dominate England and Cameroon, but she dominated them, and even Canada को end में she pinned. So definitely a very good tournament for Sakshi. अब आगे क्या होता है वो तो टाइम ही बताएगा. I think it will come down to Sakshi versus Sonam only. Uh,
Yeah. For me, it was just about that. Very good tournament for Sakshi,
hmm.
and agree with Vaibhav actually. Like she got lucky, not just with the pin, but
अरे यार
also
अब
with the
लकी बोलना बंद करो यार. कब से साक्षी को
listen,
2016 से
listen.
लकी बोल रहे हैं.
She got. I'm not obviously discounting her achievement. Obviously, very happy for her कि
Hmm.
दोबारा से come back किया and gold मिला. And
Hmm.
she deserved it the way she fought, and she
Hmm.
has always had that great passion to represent India, to
Hmm.
fight at the biggest stage. All of those things are there, but realistically, we discussed before Commonwealth Games, there were a couple of withdrawals in her category जिससे फील्ड थोड़ी वीक हो गई थी.
Hmm.
And then मतलब not saying she got lucky with the pinning is a part of the wrestling. It's a move
Hmm.
you have to do, right, to win.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't see anything happening for her, at least from a Paris perspective.
ठीक है.
If she can make it, again, super happy for her. But yeah, I think it's nearing the end that we are seeing for Sakshi.
Acha, let me ask you a couple of things. The two people who withdrew, the Canadian and the Nigerian, okay?
Hmm.
First of all, do you know कि they just withdrew or are they done? Are you sure about that?
I have no clue.
Okay.
Based on what I read
Hmm.
and based on how things looked on paper,
Hmm.
Sakshi still might have beaten them. It's not like she can't beat them,
Hmm.
but it's very difficult to just based on her performance in Commonwealth Games. It's very difficult to assess, right? कि आगे क्या होने वाला है.
नहीं नहीं वो तो ठीक है. See, my main point is कि if you look at 62, we have had Sakshi and Sonam for a while. There
Hmm.
was this another girl who did beat Sakshi once in the trials,
Yes,
but
yes.
but otherwise we have had Sakshi and Sonam for a while. And my point is, Sonam also has been going and competing. So
Hmm.
the fact that she also beat Sonam gives me hope there from that perspective as well, because
Yes.
whoever is going to 62, they have been competitive. They have not been the best
Yeah.
in the world or anything, but they have been competitive.
Fair enough. And the way Sonam lost yesterday, even
Yeah,
that
that was
doesn't give you a lot of hope, right? That was
हाँ,
bad.
वो
No
तो
matter how good Japanese is,
हम्म,
but obviously you are also a upcoming promising. You're twice a world youth champion, and
yeah
if you're
yeah
losing in such a manner, that was very disheartening to see. To be
yeah
honest.
I agree. मतलब मैं स्पेसिफिकली मैंने चालू किया था वो मैच देखने के लिए, and I'm like ये क्या यार, ये तो 1 मिनट में खत्म हो गया.
Hmm.
That I agree. Yeah, सोनम का लॉस yesterday or day before जब भी था, it was very very disappointing.
ये only 10 nations play cricket is asking and again. So पाकिस्तान का level decent है from Commonwealth Games point of view. Commonwealth का level काफी weak है wrestling में. That's
Pakistan.
your answer.
And yeah, Pakistan does get always the odd medal in wrestling. Wrestling में
Yeah.
basically वही है ना, हम लोग ने last time भी बोला था. There is India, there's Canada, and there's Nigeria in the women. That's it. उसके
Hmm.
अलावा किसी को भी मेडल मिलते हैं.
Hmm. I think this guy who just messaged ये रोमन ही होने वाला है
नहीं,
Twitter से. I
I
can
don't
sense that.
I don't know. नहीं, I don't know क्योंकि रोमन ने मुझे बोला था on Twitter कि he doesn't watch it live क्योंकि he likes to watch it on 1.75x. इतना टाइम नहीं है पूरी स्ट्रीम देखने के लिए.
Yeah. He's messaged the same thing to me as well.
हाँ, कि इट्स लाइक पूरा टाइम नहीं है पूरी स्ट्रीम देखने के लिए मेरे पास. हम्म, चलो,
Anyways, moving on.
ठीक
What's
है.
the next
So I think wrestling
sport you want?
overall we moved from 5 golds to 6 golds and सारे 12
Hmm.
मेडल आए. I think it
Yeah,
was
but overall for me it was disappointing, Kapil, because I felt there were a couple of gold more that we could have won,
hmm,
but we lost the chance there.
हाँ ठीक है. I was happy overall because obviously could have been better, but I think for me actually the Sakshi gold pushed it over the edge because uske bina it's like 5 goals only, so then it's the same thing. But for me, Sakshi gold and the fact that Naveen and Deepak didn't have any troubles, that made me a good outing at wrestling for me at least.
agree.
चलो कहाँ जाना है बैडमिंटन
ऊपर इसके क्या है
ऊपर टेबल
अभी?
टेनिस है
अच्छा, नहीं नहीं, तुमने क्या खुला हुआ है? बिकॉज आई हैव माई स्क्रीन ओपन.
तू
लेट
बोलना
मी
कहाँ
जस्ट,
जाना है मैं कुछ भी खोल लूंगा
विच एवर यू वांट टू पिक.
चल बैडमिंटन चलते हैं पहले
हाँ ठीक है.
ओके सो बैडमिंटन यू वांट टू स्टार्ट विद श्रीकांत वर्सेस एनजे योंग सबसे पहले दैट्स द मेन पॉइंट
Yeah, yeah. I thought so. Obviously, Shrikant disappointed, but I think credit goes to Anseong here. He came better prepared. He looked like he had, given a lot of preparation coming into, because not just Shrikant he had beaten, right? He got better of Lokin Yu as well in the semi-final.
क्वार्टर्स
So quarters या semis जो भी था वो. So that ways he definitely looked better prepared. Shrikant say the expectations were that there is a difference in class, right? And I say this not just based on their career, but even in the two games that Shrikant won. So he won one game each in both the matches, right? If you remember, जो
हाँ
टीम वाला था, आई थिंक ही वन द सेकंड गेम इन दैट. एंड जो सेमीफाइनल उसका था, उसमें वो पहला गेम जीत के दोनों बाकी गेम्स हारा. So
राइट
the games that he won, you could see that difference in class between the two players. But it's just that he wasn't able to put up that fight that was required from him, and kept on, you know, same Shrikant as always he does. वो एक लेवल हेडेडनेस चाहिए होती है ना, दैट यू आर विनिंग सम रियली ग्रेट पॉइंट्स एंड देन यू आर लूजिंग इट ऑल बाय सम सिली पॉइंट्स बैक टू बैक, unforced errors, silly errors, and not keeping consistent enough. That was slightly disappointing for me.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been good if you would have at least won one of them. I mean, the two games you were saying, I'm not too sure about those games because badminton में again वो problem हो गया है, right? The drift वाला problem. So it's like ठीक है, it wasn't so much in
हो नहीं
CWG.
गया है वो प्रॉब्लम, तो हमेशा से ही है. इट्स जस्ट दैट पीपल हैव स्टार्टेड डिस्कसिंग दैट
नहीं,
नाउ.
but it's become a little more as well. I
नो,
think
आई
in
डोंट
the
थिंक सो.
I don't know. But anyways, ठीक है, that's okay. But anyways, there wasn't too much drift here, right? Birmingham में didn't feel like it drift was a major problem. But I did feel at least जैसे for example in the team one I definitely felt like जैसे NJ Seyong just left it in the second game. You know, once Shrikant got an early lead, he left it कि मैं third game में देखूंगा. So that is also a factor.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah,
that shouldn't have been the case in the semi-final, right?
yeah, it shouldn't
I
have been.
remember watching the first game in semi-final, and there also you could see there is a clear difference between the two players, but somehow he couldn't sustain that level in the second and third game. That's
But
what I'm saying. Like, couldn't put up that fight.
बट श्रीकांत का वो थोड़ा बहुत प्रॉब्लम है भी राइट थोड़ा बहुत आई थिंक स्टैमिना प्रॉब्लम है ही राइट फ्रॉम बिगिनिंग ही इज नॉट
Stamina problem नहीं है. No, I don't think so.
आई
Stamina
थिंक सो
problem
है
है.
थोड़ा बहुत आई
No,
थिंक
no. I think he's one of the fittest guy on tour. स्टैमिना से ज्यादा उसका वो मेंटल ब्लॉक हो
मेंटल
जाता
बोल
है
है
ना.
बट
तो वो थोड़ा सा है.
आई
I've
थिंक
heard, actually I've heard Gil Clark also talking about it, how Shrikant is one of the fittest players.
ठीक है maybe but I don't know anyways I was on the whole pretty impressed by NG Seyong I think it was his tournament and you know
Hmm.
in the
It
team
was his
event
tournament.
yeah in the team event you definitely felt like you know why did Shrikant lose he should not have lost that especially after you know after the second game it felt like he's there and he'll now take it in the third game but वैसा हुआ नहीं and then
Hmm.
but you know in the singles I mean Angel Long is beating Lokin Yu then beating Shrikant and then pushed Lakshya right to the edge. So, and you know, after having played 11 days on the tour, just say Lakshya got a break, right? When
Yeah, yeah.
Shrikant was playing. So, NJ Seyong
Even
had so many
even
tough
in
matches.
even against Lakshay, he was fatigued. तो थोड़ा सा वो पैरेलल नहीं हो पाया लास्ट थर्ड गेम में.
Exactly. वो fatigue definitely आ ही गया था. So I mean, I wasn't that disappointed. Yeah, I would have preferred obviously if Shrikant would have won at least one of them.
Hmm.
But
But
you
yeah,
have
it's
to give
okay. I
credit.
think
हाँ,
it's
you have to.
okay. Yeah.
And I think अभी मैंने वो बैडमिंटन एक्सपीरियंस सुना था आज ही between
Oh, nice. I'm
actually
yet to watch that.
Yeah, so I heard between Anderson and Vittingus, and they were also talking that NJ Seong could be a bit of a dark horse the way he played in CWG.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
मतलब,
And I think we spoke about him in our preview stream also, because I remember लक्ष्य के साथ ही उसका मैच हुआ था इंडियन ओपन में, which is when I saw him for the first time.
hmm,
लक्ष्य जीत गया था वो मैच, but ये एंग से यंग डिड ट्रबल हिम. सो
hmm,
वहां पे था कि पहली बार लग रहा था कि ओके, कभी नाम सुना नहीं है इसके बारे में, डोंट नो वेयर and which all tournaments he's performed better previously,
hmm,
but the level he was showing in that Indian Open semi final, I think semi या quarter था against Lakshya,
hmm,
that was pretty impressive in itself.
hmm. Yeah, ठीक है, but at the same time, Thomas Cup में Srikanth had pretty much defeated
Yes,
him relatively easily.
yes, yes, agree.
So we were expecting that he should not be a problem, but he became a problem. I guess the good part is he took out Loken Yu, so we don't know वहाँ पे क्या होता है.
Even Low himself
He
wasn't
is
his real
struggling a
self
little
in
bit. हाँ.
Commonwealth Games. Yeah, not sure what the reason is. He was struggling with his form.
Hmm. I think इसने Steen ने डाला था tweet, is probably still celebrating only.
Yeah,
तूने देखा by the way
happens.
Steen का tweet था पूरा MS का कि MS में वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप्स में
Yeah,
what he thinks. You don't
I
like him, I know
personally,
that.
like, obviously I don't have anything against him, but
You don't agree
I
with him.
don't
Let's put it
know.
that way.
I don't agree with him, but I don't know what extra does he bring. Like, he talks very simple and very vanilla things, so to say. मतलब कुछ समझ ही नहीं आता मेरे को कि what is he bringing to the table when you have such high standards as Gil Clark, right?
Hmm.
मतलब इतना धीरे बोलता है एक तो when he is commentating, उससे कुछ भी क्वेश्चन पूछो उसके रिस्पॉन्सेज इतने जेनेरिक और इतने इनडिफरेंट होते हैं कि लाइक मैं थोड़ा सा बोर हो जाता हूँ.
ठीक है. He, by the way, Doyle is pointing out that he omitted CTC from his list. He included everybody. CTC को include किया ही नहीं,
या
which was definitely strange. But ठीक है.
अब ठीक है उसकी, मतलब सारे प्लेयर्स को थोड़ी ना
अरे
लिख
प्रणॉय
सकते
को
हो.
भी इंक्लूड किया यार.
हाँ
प्रणॉय
तो
को,
प्रणॉय इज कमिंग इन गुड फॉर्म. प्रणॉय हैड बीटन सीटीसी ट्वाइस, तो
बट स्टिल प्रणॉय को इंक्लूड किया है, श्रीकांत को इंक्लूड किया है, सबको
ठीक
इंक्लूड
है,
किया
लेट
है.
इट बी. व्हाई
हाँ,
आर
जान.
व्हाई आर वी
हाँ,
टॉकिंग अबाउट हिज
जान.
लिस्ट.
बट
ठीक
एनीवेज
है.
ठीक है. सो ओवरऑल आई थिंक बैडमिंटन में वही हुआ कि मिक्स टीम में वी लॉस्ट. एंड बाय द वे इट्स नॉट के अगर श्रीकांत जीता होता तो वी वुड हैव गारंटीड वन. मिक्स डबल्स बचा था विच वाज अ 50-50 मैच, so it could have gone either way, but I think we made up for it by getting all the titles in men's singles, women's singles,
या
and
टोटली.
men's doubles. And mixed doubles में we would have liked a little better. मतलब ठीक है, we got a bad draw, लेकिन it was a pretty easy loss in the first round. Gayatri and Trisha also did well, got their bronze. तो है ना अभी तक.
या
Hmm. So Gayatri and Trisha also did well, so that was also good. Yeah, I think overall badminton, Shrikant NZ is the only one you can complain about, and the
या
fact that Sindhu injured herself and is
या
out of the
या
world championship. But uske alawa, I don't think there's any complaints here.
Yeah, no complaints. Although I want to talk about Akarshi Kashyap for 2 minutes.
Hmm.
Just that I felt, obviously everyone was criticizing and to the extent ridiculing her कि हाँ ठीक है इतना बेकार खेली and all of that. मेरे को बस वो है कि we didn't expect a medal out of her, first of all.
Hmm.
Second of all, don't ridicule her that why she was selected in Commonwealth Games.
Agreed.
First thing, one, we cry for not having a system in a lot of sports. पहली बार Badminton Federation decided to have a proper system in place. She was a outcome of that system, and she deserved to be in the Commonwealth Games, and that's why she was there. So it's not her fault that she fought her way to the Commonwealth Games, and ठीक है जो भी उसका level है, it is what it is. You have to accept that. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing to add. It is what it
Hmm.
is. There's not much
Yeah.
hopes from her, but she did everything right. She deserved to be there, and
Yeah.
her level is what it is.
Why now? Matlab, can't
Hmm.
have it both ways, right? Obviously,
Hmm.
everyone would have loved to see Saina. We all love her.
Hmm.
Matlab, Saina could have done a silver as well, for all you know.
And at the same time, could
So
have had the same performance also. You have no idea. The way Saina is going
I
right
reserve
now.
my comments there. नहीं अब नहीं होता. Sindhu is a different beast.
नहीं नहीं साइना
What
बोल
she
रहा हूँ.
was in.
साइना could have had the same result as Akashi. That's what I'm saying.
Ah, okay. I thought you meant same result as previous Commonwealth Games.
No, no. I'm saying Saina could have had the same result as
Okay,
Akashi
I
as
didn't
well.
hear that properly. Yeah, 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 yeah. She
You
could
have no
have, but
idea.
higher chances of winning a medal than Akarshi. No.
Yeah, मतलब higher upside. Let's put it that way.
Yes,
Higher
higher
upside.
upside.
But ठीक है अब क्या कर सकते हैं. And she could
Yeah.
have competed, right? She decided not to compete. So that's on
Yeah.
her, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. But overall, good games. Even Satvik Chirag ka bhi good that they were able to
उधर
win the
हुआ क्या
gold.
उधर हुआ क्या you know what happened in the semi-final? Was it just a straight up loss or somebody
I
got
have
injured or
no
something?
clue. I have no clue.
हाँ मुझे भी नहीं
Even I
मालूम.
was surprised 21-4 सीधा. I
हम्म
think Kapil वो वही है, like we are talking about Anze Young, right? Like
हम्म
इतना ज़्यादा fatigue हो गया होगा because they had been playing back to back
हम्म
पिछले 10 दिनों से, तो
हम्म.
वो fatigue might have set in.
But men's doubles में तो why would have they played back to back? They might have switched, right? Singles में they don't have another player. NJ Yong is the only singles guy who went, and then
Oh,
they sent two doubles teams.
not
So
sure, check कर सकते हैं, but
देख लेना ये
mixed
डबल्स
doubles
है.
में
नहीं नहीं देखना अपना जो सेमीफाइनल ऑपोजिशन है सत्विक चिराग का चैन एंड टैन द मिक्स डबल्स गाइस राइट
हम्म,
these two went and then obviously your Chia and So went. So that's four doubles players and NJ Seong was the only singles player. So
no,
इसलिए he
no,
had to play everything.
I am talking about uh, the Malaysian doubles team.
हाँ so that's what I'm saying ना I'm not too sure कि Malaysian team event में the same team would have played all the matches. They
हाँ,
might
that's
have.
what I'm checking.
देख ले
That's what
मिलता है तो
I'm checking.
देख.
So, मतलब fatigue could be one explanation. I don't know what else. Injury वगैरह का तो पता चल जाता है Twitter पे ही if had they gotten injured.
हम्म,
But वैसा कुछ था नहीं.
पता नहीं. And yeah, I
Hmm.
agree with Abhishek. Abhishek is saying till the match started, I thought the final is against the Malaysians. Me too. I didn't know कि Ben Lane and Sean Wendy won. जब फाइनल
Hmm.
चालू हुआ या यू नो मे बी जस्ट बिफोर जब सिंगल्स वाले फाइनल चल रहे थे तब आई रियलाइज ओके ये लोग खेल रहे हैं क्या तब भी एक्चुअली हैव अ चांस
Yeah, 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 yeah.
बट दे वर कंप्लीटली डोमिनेंट दैट वाज नाइस टू सी
Yeah.
नो ट्रबल एट ऑल अगेंस्ट लेन एंड मेंडी
Actually, इतना खेले नहीं है वो. Yeah, in the mixed team event, you can see they've played just semi-final and obviously final against Satvik Chirag. उससे पहले quarter finals में didn't get a chance to play. Group stages में भी it was mix and match. तो यार इतना I don't know fatigue नहीं होगा या कुछ और reason हो सकता है.
पता नहीं उधर क्या हुआ मे बी दे माइट बी कैरिंग सम इंजरी ओनली अगर इतना बिल्कुल भी नहीं खेले तो हु नोस बट या वी गॉट लकी दैट्स व्हाट वी कैन से यहाँ
Harsha
पे
is
आई थिंक
saying
वी गॉट लकी
I
दे दे जवाब
I why would I say that? I first of all I can't say that. That's not logical. Second of all, I don't know you would have heard it in the live stream या Twitter पे मेरे को तो नहीं पता. But yeah, I don't think I can say that, and I would have said that anyways.
मुझे याद नहीं
Yeah,
है दैट्स ऑल आई कैन से आई डोंट नो
yeah. It doesn't seem logical at the first place.
जल्दी से
ठीक
गायत्री
है.
त्रिशा आई मीन आई सॉ कमेंट अगेन कि मे बी त्रिशा शुड चेंज अ पार्टनर आई डोंट गेट दैट कमेंट गाइस
Yeah, it's been doing the round since always, right?
इट्स अ नेपोटिज्म थिंग और कुछ नहीं है इट्स प्योरली
Nepotism थोड़ा सा वो how it feels on the eyes, right? Because
आई डोंट थिंक
Trisha
इट हैज
is
एनीथिंग टू
a
डू विद इट दैट्स माय
no, no.
ओपिनियन हाँ
Oh no! Like when you watch the match, you can see Trisha is all over on the court, right? And मतलब, most of the times, it how it looks like is Gayatri. Either she's committing a few errors or she's the low key person on the court. Let me put it that way.
बट दैट्स द
So
जॉब राइट शी इज द नेट पर्सन त्रिशा इज द स्मैश पर्सन
so then if you don't understand that job, वो naturally वो आ जाता है ना कि Trisha is doing all the work whereas Gayatri is standing on the court not doing anything and rather committing errors. So I think that is more of a reason than nepotism वाला reason जो तुम बोल रहे हो.
I do think if her name was Gayatri Sharma instead of Gayatri Gopichand, nobody would be saying it.
No,
That's my
no, no.
opinion.
I don't think that's the case here. But yeah, मतलब that's I think last time भी हमने ये discuss किया था. It's more about chemistry between the two doubles players.
Hmm.
Someone is strong at the back, someone is strong at the net, and all of these things we should leave to the coaches who see these players day in and day out, rather than just speculating sitting here कि हाँ ऐसा pairing होना चाहिए या वैसा pairing होना चाहिए.
And my logic is very simple. I mean, they are extremely young and they have been very successful already based on how much they have played and how young they are. So, मतलब split करने की तो बात ही नहीं आती. I mean, how are you talking about splitting? All you're saying is के you know how far they can go. I mean, there was a time when Chirag used to be much inferior to Satvik, right? Did we at that point say कि Chirag को split कर दो Satvik के साथ? We never,
Yeah,
nobody ever said that. And आज की
exactly.
date में there might be people who might be saying Chirag is better.
Hmm.
But there was a time when Satvik was clearly the better one, right? Between Satvik and
Hmm.
Chirag. Nobody said there कि split कर दो
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they were
and
succeeding.
eventually what happened last year, it was almost Chirag carrying the team.
Exactly. So nobody said split कर दो वहाँ पे. Only गायत्री के बात में ही आती है ये कि split कर दो. So that's my point. Anyways,
Hmm.
चल ठीक है. और कुछ बोलना है? Badminton, I think overall happy. Would have preferred Shrikant to win at least one of the two. That's the only complaint. But on the
Yeah,
whole, happy and
yeah,
didn't
no,
have
no
any.
complaints. Yeah.
Yeah, and didn't have any hopes from Akashi. The only complaint is Sindhu injured herself. I think that's the only main complaint.
Mm, yeah, she injured herself also because, like, it's not just because of Commonwealth Games, right? She entered Commonwealth Games after playing back-to-back tournaments. So even though you are, super athletic naturally, but limit होती है ना एक चीज की. And
Hmm.
again, Commonwealth Games took a toll on her body.
Hmm.
So ठीक है, अब बमर थोड़ा सा वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप में she won't be there.
Yeah, World Championship is big, right? I mean, it's unfortunate. क्या कर सकते हैं?
Yeah, good for the Chinese. Sorry about that, but yeah, can't help.
चल बोल कहाँ जाना है? Athletics, weightlifting.
Weightlifting चलते हैं.
चलो.
बताओ.
Weightlifting में यार disappointment तो यही था. I think the couple of especially Sanket का missed hold, that for me was definitely disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Mirabai, Jeremy, and Achinta were just so well ahead of everybody else. कि ठीक है, it's like expected. Good to see कि they came through, didn't have any mishaps. मीराबाई का तो कभी होने ही नहीं वाला था. But good to see कि Jeremy and Achinta are still so ahead and they came through. But yeah, संकेत का goal did hurt
Yeah,
and
unfortunate.
injured हो गया. Otherwise, that was gold in hand.
Hmm.
And there were a few, I think, बीच में. For example, एक कौन थी? This one, yeah, Poppy Hazarika. इसका
Mm-hmm.
एटलीस्ट टोटल्स एंड एवरीथिंग वर मच हायर यार, जो एंट्री लिस्ट में था. शी शोड अप. आई डोंट नो वेदर शी वाज इंजर्ड और वेदर.
I think couldn't perform only.
या पॉपी हजारे का एब्सोल्युटली नथिंग. एंड इवन पूनम यादव, देवर
Hmm.
डिसअपॉइंटमेंट्स हियर.
Poonam Yadav का तो it was a silly error on her part, no.
कि
So
ज्यादा ले लिया.
नहीं, Poonam Yadav lifted the lift.
हम्म.
She was able to lift the attempt, and then you know that, right? There is a hooter which plays, and
जल्दी
then you need
जल्दी
to
गिरा दिया.
drop your weight after that buzzer. She dropped it even before that buzzer, and then she's standing there all confused as if she's participating for the first time, looking at her coach in that confused state of manner कि ये क्या हुआ.
आई थिंक कंफ्यूज से इट वाज मोर डिसअपॉइंटमेंट कि मैंने क्या कर दिया. दैट्स एटलीस्ट हाउ
I
आई
don't
सॉ इट.
know. I don't know what it was, but yeah, it was disappointing because it was like थोड़ी सी naive mistake.
बट इट वाज स्टिल द थर्ड अटेम्प्ट, राइट? आई मीन उसके पहले भी दो
Third,
अटेम्प्ट मिस हो गए थे. सो दैट इटसेल्फ इज डिसअपॉइंटिंग.
could have medaled. I think if I remember it right, could have medaled if she made that attempt.
मुझे जितना याद है, जो मैंने एटलीस्ट एंट्री लिस्ट देखी थी ना, आई थिंक ऑल ऑफ देम हैड मेडल्स इन लाइन एक्सेप्ट फॉर दिस उषा कुमारा
Hmm.
एंड मे बी पूर्णिमा पांडे. आई एम नॉट टू श्योर अबाउट पूर्णिमा पांडे. बट उन
Hmm.
दोनों के अलावा ऑल ऑफ देम हैव मेडल्स इन लाइन. बट नहीं हुआ. सो
Hmm.
ठीक है. हरजिंदर ऑनेस्टली वाज अ लिटिल लकी टू स्नीक इन द ब्रॉन्ज देयर.
Mm-hmm.
इफ यू
Yeah,
रिमेंबर,
exactly.
आई थिंक
वैसे ही कुछ.
इंग्लैंड वाली लिफ्टर थी वो. आई थिंक बस्टेड आउट ऑफ क्लीन एंड जर्क, जिससे शी गॉट अ ब्रॉन्ज.
Hmm.
आई थिंक ऐसा कुछ हुआ था.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah.
By the way,
I think.
some people are saying K. Poonam Yadav had an injury and she hid it. KS is saying that. Yeah.
Okay.
KS, Genu, both are saying.
Vasanti Singh, she wouldn't have won the medal. which might be the case. I don't remember exactly, but
देखो
yeah, she
देखो
was there about third and fourth position. अगर वो medal मतलब वो lift कर लेती ना.
स्नैच में सेकंड आई है ना, एटलीस्ट बेस्ड ऑन अज्यूमिंग विकिपीडिया इज करेक्ट, शी वाज सेकंड इन द
Hmm.
स्नैच.
Yeah.
सो उम्मीद तो
But I
थी.
think overall for me again, मतलब it would have been nice संकेत का अगर gold आ जाता,
हम्म,
just for adding up to the medal tally, and उसके लिए भी अच्छा होता on a personal level.
हम्म,
But yeah, for from an Olympics point of view, थोड़ा सा बस ये देखना है मीराबाई का again, not a lot to take out, just that उसका वो 200 kg base हो गया है, that's for sure, right?
हम्म,
पहले even till Tokyo इतना कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं आता था कि हाउ मच इफ शील बी एबल टू क्रॉस 200 और नॉट. इतना ज़्यादा बार किया नहीं था, बट नाउ आई थिंक इट्स इजी टू से 200 इज द बेस दैट इज सेट अप. 204 205 would be the average, and how much more she can add going forward, and in the next 2 years is what needs to be seen. That's all, because ambitions are higher. She talks about it. She says that she's capable of lifting till 210 211, and she, I think, went for it as well. Is it?
नहीं 210 211 तक तो
She
नहीं
didn't went
होगी.
for it. Maybe
नहीं
she was talking about it, going
हाँ,
for it in one of the
नहीं नहीं उतना,
articles.
हाँ उतना नहीं गई. आई थिंक 88 के बाद शी वेंट फॉर 90 which she
Hmm.
didn't get it. But
Hmm.
clean and jerk, I think 113 was the highest, or maybe she went for 115 after that. Maybe
Hmm.
115
Yeah.
गई होगी, but not more than that. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. And
I,
then, hmm.
I will say
Follow.
one thing that was impressive for me was just comparing Mirabai's weights with the higher kg categories. So I mean, if you look at, for example, Usha Kumara at 87 kg, okay, she also finished sixth. Okay, she's not in the medals, but she finished sixth, and she's lifting
Hmm.
like 110, and Mirabai is lifting 113. So it's like, if
Hmm.
you look at, you just compare. It's very. It makes you see, how much Mirabai is better. If you look at, let's say, Harjinder Kaur, she got a
या
bronze
या
medal.
या वो
Harjinder
तो
Kaur,
हम वो तो हमेशा से ही है, राइट? पिछली बार भी ऐसे ही कुछ केस था.
हाँ नहीं, बट स्टिल मतलब आई एक्सपेक्टेड इतना क्लोज नहीं होगा. जैसे हरजिंदर कौर को देखो, शी लिफ्टेड 119 विच मीराबाई हैज डन, विच इज अ वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड. एंड स्नैच में भी शी इज डूइंग 93, मीराबाई इज 88. ठीक है, वो फिर भी थोड़ा गैप है. बट यू कंपेयर 49 विद 71, विच इज लाइक 22 kgs,
Yeah,
22
it's
kg
just that
हायर.
other weightlifters are not good enough. That's the basic thing.
Yeah, but I mean, even look at, she's also getting a bronze, right? Okay, it's a Commonwealth Games and it's a weak category, but you can see how much Mirabai is better than the rest. That's all I'm saying. It is
Yeah.
so.
By the way, I during those Commonwealth Games only there was some chatter around it, around Mira, and I read it that the Chinese have even went further in terms of lifting the weights.
हाँ गए होंगे.
So
They'll also improve only
215
ना.
216 तक पहुंच गए हैं.
हाँ तो वो लोग भी improve तो करेंगे, सिर्फ हम लोग थोड़ी improve
कुछ तो
करेंगे.
चाइनीज नेशनल चैंपियनशिप या कहीं पे उन्होंने दे मस्ट हैव एंटर्ड, तो
हम्म,
वहां तक उनका लेवल पहुंच गया है.
हम्म,
बट या इस बारी ऑब्वियसली लेट्स प्लान एंड discuss the qualification systems also for these
yeah.
sports
हम्म,
sometime. उसमें थोड़ा सा ये है ना, आई थिंक जस्ट टू यू नो टच अपॉन इट, 4 कैटेगरीज हैं इस बारी.
कम
द
कर दी.
मैक्सिमम वेयर अ कंट्री कैन एंटर.
आई थिंक टोटली 4 कर दी.
टोटली 4 हैं?
हाँ टोटली 4
नहीं,
कर दी.
4.
4 है
टोटली
कि
4
5
हैं?
है? 5 होगी मे बी, 5 से ऊपर नहीं है.
अच्छा.
पक्का 5 से ऊपर नहीं है.
ओके.
आई
सो
थिंक
मे बी
5 है,
फिर
हाँ. नहीं नहीं, 5 में
मैक्सिमम
से 4
लिमिट
है.
थोड़ी और कम कर दी होगी. पिछली बार 4 था आई थिंक.
पिछली बार
पिछली
तो
बार
4
टोक्यो
था.
में इट वाज 4, यस, फॉर
टोक्यो में इट
वन
वाज
जेंडर.
4 एंड द
हाँ.
टोटल कैटेगरीज वाज 7. दिस आई
या
रिमेंबर.
या
ये तो एक्चुअली एक सेकंड देख लेते हैं. आई थिंक आई माइट हैव इट
Five
रिटन.
category and 3 max is what Prakash is saying.
या दैट
Now
लुक्स.
3 per gender, Vasant.
या
हाँ.
दैट लुक्स करेक्ट. या
Yeah, yeah.
5 तो आई
तो again
रिमेंबर.
ठीक है,
विल डू दैट ऑन द
ठीक है,
स्ट्रीम.
वो will do that. But other than Mirabai, I think Bindya Rani again, good weightlifter for us. Not like a medal prospect, but even for from a Paris point of view, I think qualification का chance है. 59 is what is there in Olympics now, right? 55 has been scrapped.
या करेक्ट.
So 59 she can move in. 55 में she's already lifting 202. So naturally weight बढ़ा के you, it's I think safe to assume कि हाँ bare minimum 4-5 kg तो बढ़ाएगी,
अरे
right?
यार इतना भी अज्यूम मत कर, क्योंकि इट्स 49 काफी हो जाता है। मेरा वीडियो बाय द वे अटक गया ना, आई एम जस्ट
49.
चेकिंग।
I'm talking about Bindya Rani.
अच्छा बिंदिया था नहीं, सॉरी सॉरी, आई मीन आई जस्ट सॉ कि मेरा वीडियो अटक गया तो मेरा ध्यान थोड़ा डाइवर्ट हो गया था।
हाँ, so 55 से 59 में जाएगी तो।
हम्म
एंड was just checking on the वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप के रिजल्ट्स लास्ट टाइम, ठीक है वहां पे भी डिप्लीटेड फील्ड थी,
59
बट
वाज नॉट अ ओलंपिक कैटेगरी ना, लास्ट टाइम था क्या?
आई थिंक थी लास्ट टाइम, और इस बार भी है, 55 स्क्रैप हो गई है।
ओके लेट्स सी।
तो इवन इफ शी कैन गो टिल 207 या 210 तक भी, तो हर पोजिशनिंग वुड बी दैट वे सिक्स्थ और सेवेंथ फ्रॉम अ वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप स्टैंड पॉइंट,
मुश्किल ही
इस
है।
कैटेगरी में भी।
इट्स लाइक
मतलब मेडल मुश्किल है, बट हाँ, वुड
क्वालिफिकेशन।
बी नाइस टू हैव हर क्वालिफाइड ऑल्सो नो। थोड़ा सा वो
क्वालिफिक
भी देखना पड़ेगा इस बार ही डोपिंग का, हाउ डज द डोपिंग एंगल फिट
मेरे को
इन
इतना
टर्म्स ऑफ लिमिटेशंस।
मेरे को इतना याद है, मैंने देखा था इट वाज नॉट हार्ड एंड फास्ट जैसे इस बार था ना
हम्म,
अपना, उतना हार्ड एंड फास्ट नहीं
तो
था।
इंडिया कैन सेंड टू each or three each in each men's and women's this
हाँ
time.
या मतलब माय पॉइंट इज द डोपिंग रूल्स वर मच मोर फ्लेक्सिबल। जितना इट वाजंट सो हार्ड एंड फास्ट कि यू डिड so many violations so you can send only so many, you did so many violations you can send only so many, it was very firm last time. This time I
Hmm.
think it was much more flexible, it's like भेजना है ना तो पैसा वैसा खिला के मांडवली करके भेजा जा सकता है, वो वाली बात थी। द वे दे से इट, नॉट पैसा खिला के, मांडवली करके, लॉबिंग
मांडवली
करके,
करके क्या होता है?
लॉबिंग
अच्छा।
करके, लॉबी आई वाज सर्चिंग फॉर द वर्ड इसलिए मेरे को मिला नहीं।
ओके,
जो लॉबिंग
ओके,
करके
ओके।
होता है, दे
हम्म,
हैड केप्ट द रूल्स ओपन के लॉबिंग करके यू कैन डू थिंग्स।
या, या,
ठीक है।
ठीक है।
I
ऑन
think
द मेन साइड,
men overall were good, yeah, right? If you look at it, eventually, except for Ajay Singh, who also came fourth, all of them managed a medal. And मैंने एटलीस्ट एंट्री लिस्ट देखी थी, आई हैड सीन के नॉट एवरीबडी वाज शेड्यूल्ड टू गेट अ मेडल, एटलीस्ट बेस्ड ऑन एंट्री लिस्ट। सो
हम्म,
दे केम आउट गुड। या संकेत के बारे में वी हैव टॉक्ड,
हम्म,
बट obviously none of them are really like Olympic class or anything. We are
या,
looking at
या,
Commonwealth class only.
या,
But
ओलंपिक्स में भी फिर यही है ना अब, इट्स ओनली 73 kg, आई थिंक 73 के पहले 55 है, 60, नो 61 है,
61 है।
61 है एंड देन 73 है।
Hmm.
तो नाउ जेरेमी कांट मूव डाउन टू 61
Can't.
because he's already crossed that.
And 73 पे
73
अब
we
प्रॉब्लम है।
already have
हाँ,
problem है, they'll have to fight it off, as simple as that.
या और कोई तरीका नहीं है, बिकॉज नन ऑफ
Hmm.
देम आर गुड इनफ के दे कैन मूव टू अदर कैटेगरी के, हम दोनों हो जाते
Yeah,
हैं। इट्स लाइक
yeah,
वन ऑफ देम
yeah.
नीड्स, बट या आई थिंक जेरेमी के लिए इज लुकिंग बैड टू बी ऑनेस्ट। एंड 300 is obviously not the best, right? He's done 305,
He's done
306.
306, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so he's done 305, 306 a while back, but it's
But
been a while.
problem क्यों है, like if he's going to put up 6 kgs,
Hmm.
so देखना पड़ेगा ना, अचिंता के लेवल तक तो आ ही सकता है, ऑल्दो आई रेड दैट, थोड़ा सा उसका ये है कि आई वाज रीडिंग लाइक इन वन ऑफ द रिपोर्ट्स, कोच विजय के कमेंट्स से, दैट दोनों का ना बहुत ही कंट्रास्टिंग स्टाइल है। जेरेमी का स्ट्रेंथ इज मोर अबाउट हिज टेक्निक, लाइक ही इज अ फास्ट लर्नर,
Hmm.
उसको टेक्निक बहुत जल्दी कैच कर लेता है, बट हिज बॉडी इज वीक,
Hmm.
he doesn't have a lot of strength.
Hmm.
I don't know what exactly he meant by his body is weak.
No, no, I'll tell you what it
Whereas,
means. So it means snatch versus clean and jerk. So technique is snatch, power is clean and jerk. That's the basic
hmm,
idea. So even if
yes,
you look at the results, Jeremy is like 3 kilos off Achinta in the snatch, but 10
hmm,
kilos off in the clean and jerk.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's the difference.
Clean and jerk में उसका ये हो गया था ना, clean and jerk में 2 attempts he was totally out of it because उसको cramps आ रहे थे उसके quads में,
हाँ, right, right.
तो वो उठा
But
तो बिल्कुल पाया ही नहीं था दोनों ही attempts.
second attempt से आने वाला था, I think. First attempt I think was okay ना, जहाँ तक
हाँ,
मुझे याद है.
first was okay. Second and third, I think he couldn't do it because of the cramps.
Hmm.
But yeah, it could be what you're saying. Achinta ka, he said that he's more like a, मतलब he has that power game and he's very hard working, disciplined.
Hmm.
तो दोनों का कंट्रास्टिंग स्टाइल है. पॉइंट बीइंग कि आई थिंक थोड़ा सा एक दूसरे को पुश कर सकते हैं बिकॉज ऑफ दैट डोमेस्टिक कंपटीशन बिटवीन द टू ऑफ देम,
Hmm.
एंड ओलंपिक्स के लिए क्वालिफाई कर सकते हैं, बट स्टिल ओलंपिक्स लेवल जो क्रीम लेयर है उनसे अभी
मुश्किल ही
भी
है.
दोनों दूर ही हैं.
And I was saying basically, Jeremy का problem क्यों है? Because for example, I think who said it? I think KS had said it. कि Jeremy achieved 305 3 years back. So और उसके बाद से he's been injured. He's not come close to it.
we
So
we need to keep context for that, right? He achieved on just by saying that 3 years back वो 3 years number लगता है, but उस 3 years में there has been COVID, there has been major injury for Jeremy, तो all of that time has lost there as well, right?
but
तो वो we need to take that into context as well.
हाँ नहीं that is okay. But ठीक है, even in COVID you expect your training, right? Injury I get it. कि injury is a problem. But फिर
Hmm.
point वही है कि easy gonna come back from injury because
Yeah,
I am at least starting to have doubts, because
yeah.
I
I
was
think
much more high on him 2 years back or 3 years back.
yeah, because he had been improving in those years, and his
Uh,
improvement has stopped now.
completely
That's
stopped.
what the major worry is.
And
Yeah.
it's in fact gone down a bit. मतलब 305 306 से भी
Mm,
300 पे आ गया है.
yeah.
So देखते हैं. Let's see.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, I think that's the best hope to get someone in the Olympics, right? 73, whether it's Jeremy or Achinta. I
yeah,
don't think anybody else is, competing. I don't think
yeah,
Sanket also comes there. वो
yeah. No,
Commonwealth level ही है.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, like Olympics में qualify करना जरूरी है to keep that momentum going.
हम्म,
अगर 3 वेट लिफ्टर्स भी हैं हमारे ओलंपिक्स में इस बारी तो इट विल बी गुड थिंग.
हम्म, देख चलो ठीक है. Anyways, weightlifting overall, I mean, yeah, we would have liked a couple more golds or at least one more
आई
gold.
वसंत is saying Achinta might move to 81. I don't
हाँ,
think so. Like
मुश्किल है.
8 kg is a big jump.
हम्म, I agree. मतलब
Ah, sorry, you were saying something.
the only point you can say is Achinta is also young, so you don't know
Hmm.
if he grows up and he puts some more weight, but
Hmm.
मुश्किल ही है. And मेरा
Maybe eventually down a few years he might, but in
दो
the
साल में
immediate
नहीं
two
होगा.
years,
मुश्किल है. And one thing is
hmm,
for sure, guys, they are not like running away from each other. This is not like a Vinesh Antim situation where it's like, okay, जो हार गई, maybe can she make 50 kgs? That is not the case here because एक भी पहुंच जाए वो बड़ी बात है Olympics में. It's
hmm,
like their
yeah,
level is not so high that they are running away from each other.
yeah, yeah. ईयर एंड में वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप है ना?
Weightlifting का
हाँ, आई थिंक है.
होगा, आई एम नॉट श्योर.
Because I read all of these four. So Jeremy, Achinta, Mirabai, and Bindyarani. All of these four have been. They've already gone to the US, or they are going to be sent to the US to get trained there. जहाँ पे मीराबाई गई थी before, Tokyo, she had some mobility issues now with her shoulders. So she's all four of them are going to go there in some university college in the US and going to prepare there.
ठीक है, वो तो इट्स स्टैंडर्ड ओनली. दो वेट लिफ्टिंग यू फील लाइक जाने की क्या जरूरत है, बट ओके, वी डोंट अंडरस्टैंड.
ठीक है, let's move on.
कहाँ जाना है? 11 10 हो चुका है वैसे. एथलेटिक्स
TT
टीटी
athletics.
बोलो.
TT करते हैं पहले डिस्कस.
चल टीटी कर लेते हैं. टीटी two halves, right? You have the men's performance and you have the women's performance.
Yeah,
Totally
exactly.
totally opposite ends.
Right. So TT was all about Sharat Kamal, right?
Yeah,
He was all over the place in a good way.
and he was
In
awesome.
a, he was awesome. Yeah.
मतलब he beat everybody. He beat
Mm.
Aruna Kadri in the team event. He
That
beat
was again a very amazing match. Huh? Like
exactly.
led from the front, and he was supremely confident in his own capabilities. एक भी बार ऐसे underwhelming नहीं लग रहा था throughout that match.
परफेक्ट. एंड देन फिर बाद में इसको भी ड्रिंकल एंड पिचफर्ड दोनों को हराया. ड्रिंकल इज फाइन, ड्रिंकल को तो आराम
To
से
win
हरा
the
दिया था.
gold. Yeah.
एंड या पिचफर्ड को ऑनेस्टली गोइंग इनटू द फाइनल आई थॉट पिचफर्ड वाज द फेवरेट, स्पेशली
Mm-hmm.
इन द डबल्स. जो मेंस डबल्स हुआ था, सत्यन एंड शरत वर्सेस पिचफर्ड एंड ड्रिंकल, आई रियली थॉट पिचफर्ड वाज द गाय हु वन दैट मैच, and Drinkle was actually making errors. So I was definitely thinking that Pitchford is the favorite in the final, but but Sharat dominated him. Yeah, matlab, right from
Yeah.
the beginning he was just so ahead and आराम से took him down. And yeah, Ginu Kadri
Yeah.
was probably not near his best.
Mm.
He lost earlier as well, but Sharat was
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, team
Well,
gold एक से
that's what
लाया.
exactly Sharad did, right? He brought his best to the Commonwealth Games, peaked at the right time,
Hmm.
and matlab, through right from the day one. It was quite amazing to see, to be
Yeah.
honest.
And yeah, he and got Shrija gold as well, right? Shrija was another,
Yes,
by the way,
she was one of
impressive,
the highlights. Yes.
and had so many decider matches. I mean, it is amazing how many decider matches she had.
Mm.
I mean, just
And
how
she had
many.
a lot of workload on her shoulders as well.
Hmm. I mean, just to look at the screen. I mean, she had what 4-3, 4-3, 3-4. That was her, and then by एक और 3-4 है बाद में आगे.
Mm.
I mean, ठीक है.
Yeah,
So
there
Shrija
was
had
a
like,
lot of chat. Hmm.
yeah, like four consecutive. She had what decider matches: 4-3, 4-3, 3-4, 3-4. So I mean,
Mm.
workhorse, absolute workhorse, and
Yeah.
she you can't blame her at all for the team event as well. Team event maybe she won a single. She lost the doubles, fine, but at least looking at the
She won
doubles,
her singles.
and at least looking at the doubles, मुझे लग रहा था Reed Tennyson was the one who was missing a few shots,
Mm.
but ठीक है, you lose as a team, you win as a team. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was the Sharath winning the singles, and then Sharath and Srija winning the mixed. I think those two were the highlights of TT.
What about Manika?
Biggest disappointment? I mean, I think she was the biggest disappointment of the games, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Because of the high standards she had only set last time,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
But I think let's obviously एक कुछ भी नहीं आया ना, मेडल वेडल कुछ
नहीं
भी
नहीं
नहीं
कुछ
आया इस
नहीं.
बारी.
अरे मेडल मैच में ही नहीं पहुंची, मतलब दे लॉस्ट द
Hmm.
क्वार्टर फाइनल्स इन द
Yeah,
टीम इवेंट.
yeah.
And then mixed doubles maybe they were the favorites. Satyan and Manika are like world number 6. They
Hmm.
lost in like the second round only or something like that. And ठीक है, they lost to the Malaysians who I think went all the way to the finals. But then Sharath and
Yeah.
Shrija beat them.
Hmm.
And this singles maybe I think she lost in the quarters to the second Singaporean. And women's doubles में तो I think first round या second round में ही हार गए थे.
Hmm. I think for Manika, more than the form, it has to be about the pressure, right?
Hmm.
Because it felt that she's playing under a lot of pressure, considering how her 1.5 years have been. You know, the fight with the federation, coaches, everything. Because I think tour pe she's been doing really well, mixed doubles, women's doubles pe dono hi.
Hmm.
And then suddenly you get out of form
Hmm.
in such a major. I don't know how many things can explain that.
But I think Manika के साथ it's not the first time it's happened. At least what I have seen. क्योंकि
Like,
मुझे अभी भी याद है वही 2018 का. She
hmm
obviously had a stellar performance at Gold Coast. Then I don't know whether it was after Asian or before Asian. I think it was before Asian only. But I remember they went to the World Team Championships, the entire TT team, and Manika was just coming off, this stellar Gold Coast performance, and she couldn't win a match at World Team Championships. मतलब ठीक है एक आधा मैच जीती होगी अर्लियर राउंड्स में, बट शी वाज हैविंग अ लॉट ऑफ ट्रबल. मतलब इट वाज लाइक पूरा परफॉर्मेंस तब भी ऑफ अ क्लिफ चला गया था अचानक. इट वाज लाइक
hmm
शी वाज फटीग. मतलब तब आई सेड ओके शी इज फटीग्ड आफ्टर कॉमनवेल्थ, शी इज डन. कि कॉमनवेल्थ पे पूरा फोकस था, वो हम जीत लिए. वर्ल्ड टीम्स में हमको लगा था कि कुछ होगा नहीं, सो वी आर नॉट टेकिंग इट, वी डिडंट हैव अ फोकस ऑन इट, एंड मे बी शी वाज फटीग. बट यहाँ पे उल्टा हो गया. यहाँ पे शी जस्ट सडनली हर परफॉर्मेंस फेल ऑफ अ क्लिफ इन CWG. So it's
hmm
happened in the past. Manika के साथ, and I do get a feeling she's bit of a form and a rhythm player, मतलब and a confidence player. Let's put it that way.
hmm
And she has this capability, of losing when you don't expect it.
yeah,
If you
maybe that's the level that she has, and she just during those 10 days in 2018 Commonwealth Games, she just peaked and had the best form.
no, but
But that's not the standard level she has.
that's not the case, right? I mean, if you look at 2018, she went in I think something like world number 60 odd. Okay, this time
Hmm.
she went in world number 39. So it's not that she's not done well at the in the tour. And we just said right, she's been doing great in doubles. But she's world number
Yeah, double
4.
she is,
हाँ,
yes.
but doubles में भी इस बार कुछ नहीं हुआ. सत्यन के साथ ही थी, and she
Hmm.
lost. And अर्चना कामत के साथ ठीक है, अर्चना कामत was
So
not there, but
in mixed doubles match with Satyan,
hmm,
like, did you get a chance, or did anyone from the chat, if they can tell, was it just Manika, or was it both of them lack of chemistry? What was it exactly? I didn't watch the match.
मतलब I watched it. I didn't watch it very closely, but all I saw was like nothing was working. And
Hmm.
they were sort of शुरू से लग ही रहा था कि था डाइसी है ये. मतलब if I just see right now, they lost 2-3, but शुरू से it was, they were not looking comfortable right through.
Okay.
And कुछ एंड ठीक है, मतलब इट वाजंट अ लास्ट. उसके बाद श्रीजा कुला के साथ वुमेन्स डबल्स भी था, विच ऑल्सो शी नहीं, श्रीजा कुला नहीं, सॉरी, दिया चेतले के साथ वुमेन्स डबल्स था, विच ऑल्सो शी वेंट डाउन टू वेल्स, जिसमें तो कुछ लगा ही नहीं. बट आई डोंट नो यार, मानिका के साथ ही होता है. मतलब आई रिमेंबर दी
मतलब
अदर.
दो ही सैंपल पॉइंट्स है ना हमारे
नहीं नहीं
पास,
नहीं,
एक
तो
तुम एशियन चैंपियनशिप वो बता रहे हो.
नहीं, मैं वही बता रहा हूँ ना. दूसरा इंस्टेंस उसका देख ले, द ओलंपिक टीम क्वालिफायर, राइट? ओलंपिक टीम
हम्म.
क्वालिफायर, इफ यू रिमेंबर, वी वन अगेंस्ट अ स्लाइटली हाई रैंक स्वीडन था या कोई था. वी वन द फर्स्ट मैच, एंड देन सेकंड मैच में somebody pulled off a huge upset.
हम्म.
I think सुतिलता थी या कौन थी, I'm not too sure. Maybe Mohammad Asti, I don't remember who. But somebody pulled off a huge upset where they beat their world number one, which must be something like world number 24, 25. And then Manika had a last match where she had to beat something like world number 130. And then again she lost. And lost मतलब 3-1.
Okay.
तो मानिका का अप एंड डाउन बहुत दिखा है.
Hmm.
मतलब शी इज अ बिट लाइक श्रीकांत, वो कभी कुछ भी हो जाता है.
Come on. There's no
मतलब लोअर
comparison
लेवल,
at all.
नहीं, हाई ऑल्सो लोअर, लो ऑल्सो लोअर, दैट्स व्हाट आई मीन. डोंट सी द लेवल, आई एम सेइंग द फ्लक्चुएशन.
Hmm.
फ्लक्चुएशन थोड़ा वो श्रीकांत की तरह है. ऑब्वियसली her highs are also lower and her lows are also much lower as compared to
Yeah.
Shrikant.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
तो देखते हैं. But yeah. And did you think anything about the new players? I mean, Dia Chitle didn't play much,
Mm-hmm.
but honestly, Reed Tennyson disappointed me. I mean, it seemed like she was a journeyman player who somehow got to the team. She's also 27. It's not like she's
Mm.
young or anything. But
She's one of those players who did well in domestic tournament, and by
yeah.
saying well, I meant the ranking tournaments that were there. She
Mm,
participated and did well there. That's
yeah.
how she made it to the team. No.
Yeah. Honestly, it did
Mm.
seem, that she got lucky to get into the team. That's
Yeah. Yeah. The
frankly
the lack
speaking.
of experience showed for her.
Lack of experience, lack of ability, everything I'll say. Even lack of ability,
Yeah.
I'll say. Not just
Yeah.
experience.
Kapil, what do you think in terms of Olympic qualification? So, especially for the men's team, like they look good to qualify. I know the qualification standards, the qualification process for TT is very difficult, right? But do you think we have a chance with Manav as well coming in?
I think chance तो है ही. Chance तो last time ही बहुत अच्छा था. We should have
तो
got more.
लास्ट टाइम से इस बार थोड़ा बेटर है, और हाउ वुड यू असेस?
Honestly, I think it's pretty similar because we are around the same level.
Mm-hmm.
Satyan is a little unpredictable, like Manika. Up and down होता है.
Okay.
Sharat obviously did exceedingly well here. Okay. But it remains to be seen whether he can carry it forward. And the big thing is, can they handle the pressure? Because I think last time they crashed
They
and
had
burned
a
in the pressure.
chance.
Last
Yeah.
time, there was no reason they should have not qualified last time. And
Hmm.
they really crashed and won badly, the guys especially. Uh, so, and even after that interviews they were giving one bad tournament. I mean, यार वही tournament था तुम्हारा, जो तुम one bad tournament बोल दोगे तो कैसे चलेगा?
Right, right, right.
एक ही tournament में तुमने वो bad tournament बोल दिया. So they should get through. And I haven't seen the qualification process. So I'm assuming if it's the same,
It's almost similar, yeah.
yeah, if it's same, then definitely they have a chance. The men's team, definitely they have a chance.
Women's team,
Women's team, outside chance. But yeah, you need
Archana
Manika at top
also
form.
coming in.
Yeah, women's
Let's
team
assume
actually,
Manika is back to her form,
yeah, women's team actually is a little better than last time when you add in
with
Archana.
Srija, Archana,
Uh,
Manika,
but
Diya
yeah,
Chitale as well.
yeah, but you need Manika in top form. You can't have
Mm,
this Manika.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
And
let's see.
hmm,
Maybe that theory holds true, that she was under a lot of pressure because of all the
hmm,
controversies, of the goat
hopefully,
controversies.
you remember अपन ने थोड़ा डिस्कस भी किया था कि will all this selection and all this continuous code going and everything will affect the team,
Mm.
and we don't
See,
know.
that's what, like, it wasn't affecting her on tour, that's
Hmm.
for sure,
हाँ.
because she had been putting in those performances.
Hmm.
But Commonwealth game, multi-sporting event is a different beast, right? Everyone is
Hmm.
involved. IOA के लोग,
Hmm.
मिनिस्ट्री के लोग, फेडरेशन,
Hmm.
तो चलो ठीक है ही नहीं इस केस में तो, बट
Hmm.
लाइक लॉट ऑफ स्टेक्स आर इन्वॉल्व.
लेकिन फिर भी यार पूरा ही उल्टा हो गया. मतलब इतना डाउन यू डिडंट एक्सपेक्ट.
Hmm.
That's the only
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. ठीक है. Anything else you want to talk about TT में?
नहीं ठीक है, ऑन दी होल आई जस्ट से इवेंचुअली गोल्ड तो आ गए, सो दैट्स द गुड पार्ट.
Hmm.
मतलब 3 गोल्ड आ
ठीक है.
गए, प्लस इफ यू जस्ट वांट टू मेंशन पैरा टीटी में चौथा आ गया, which was expected. Bhavina Patel was the strong favorite and she got it done.
Hmm.
So I don't know how much you watch. मैंने भी बहुत ज़्यादा देखा नहीं पाया. Did you watch much?
No, 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 not at all.
So yeah, just a mention, quick mention. I don't think there's
Hmm.
much to talk about क्योंकि हम लोग ने ज़्यादा देखा ही नहीं. And
Yeah.
इसके बाद स्क्वाश कर लेते हैं फिर जल्दी से. I think it's a similar story in squash as well.
स्क्वॉश का आई थिंक थोड़ा तो वो गया है इन टर्म्स ऑफ मेडल्स. लास्ट टाइम वी हैड अ कपल ऑफ सिल्वर,
इस बार
दिस
couple
टाइम
of
वी
bronze
हैड अ
है.
कपल ऑफ ब्रॉन्ज.
Hmm,
बट या स्क्वॉश के लिए हाईलाइट वाज सौरव घोषाल विनिंग द मेडल
exactly.
and those emotions coming out of him.
Yeah.
It was pretty special actually.
Yeah, so I'll agree. Squash में the highlight was definitely Saurav Ghoshal, and yeah, if you're
Hmm.
talking about couple of silvers versus couple of bronzes, I think silvers and bronzes में तो फिर वो थोड़ा बहुत draw का भी factor होता है. So that is
Hmm.
also there. So for example, जैसे mixed doubles में we were saying in the last stream कि they went to the World Double Championship and they won. Women's doubles में भी जीते, mixed doubles में भी जीते. But one thing which we didn't know or which we didn't realize, at least mixed doubles में Joel King was injured. So
Mm-hmm.
Joel King and Paul Cole, they had to actually pull out of the mixed doubles event. And who are the
Hmm.
ones who eventually beat Saurav and Deepika? So it's not that much of an upset realistically.
Okay. Okay.
And by the way, just to put into perspective, Paul Cole is world number 2, and Joel King is like world number 6.
Former world number
No,
one though, right?
yeah, former might be former world number 1. I think so. She is.
Yeah.
And current world number 6, and then Paul Cole is
Hmm.
also world number 2. So it was not मतलब once I saw कि ये मैच उनके सामने है, I was like जीते होंगे, लेकिन this is a very tough one. Maybe we are the underdogs as well. So
Yeah.
mixed doubles में it was okay. Going down to them is not really an upset. It's just that
Hmm.
they were not there in the World Double Championship.
Hmm.
Women doubles though,
Joshna Chinnappa was
disappointing.
slightly
Yeah,
disappointing, right? Overall.
I think more than slightly. Yeah, women's doubles was disappointing. Women's doubles का तूने मैच देखा था which we lost?
Nope.
हाँ, तो मैंने थोड़ा बहुत देखा था. इट वाज लाइक मैच चालू होने के पहले ही खत्म हो गया. इट्स लाइक व्हेन डिड इट स्टार्ट एंड व्हेन डिड इट एंड, पता ही नहीं चला. इट
Okay.
वाज सीरियसली, इट वाज लिटरली लाइक के ऑन द थर्ड और द फोर्थ शॉट ओनली दे आर हिटिंग इन द टिन. मतलब दे आर
Hmm.
ट्राइंग टू हिट देयर विनर्स. द आइडियल विनर इन स्क्वॉश इज दैट, राइट, जस्ट अबव द लाइन, जो ऊपर नीचे टिन होता है, एंड टिन के जस्ट ऊपर अगर तुम मारो, सो देन इट बिकम्स डिफिकल्ट फॉर द ओपोनेंट टू लिफ्ट. So
Mm-hmm.
that's like the ideal shot. That's like hitting the line in badminton or hitting the line in tennis. So
Yeah.
they were really going for it. They were going for it early and they were continuously missing. तो
Okay. Okay.
कितनी जल्दी मैच खत्म हुआ पता ही नहीं चला. It was like in no
Hmm.
time they were like 6-1 or 7-1 down. दोनों ही गेम
Hmm.
में. I think second game में they tried to come back a little bit, but it was too late. For me, I mean, I think match wise, single match wise, that might be the most disappointing match I watched in the entire Commonwealth Games. The Deepika and Joshna ka women's doubles, which they lost to
Hmm.
Malaysia. So that was heavily disappointing for me.
Yeah.
That
And
was,
did you get to watch Anahat Singh?
yeah,
Did you
impressive.
watch that match?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
impressive. The
impressive.
composure was impressive, and like the way she was carrying herself was pretty impressive. Of course, the capabilities there to be seen. मतलब वो तो काफी सही था ही.
Hmm,
But the most I liked about her was the way she was, carrying herself. उसका composure इतना for a 14-year-old especially.
hmm.
अभी भी वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप वर्ल्ड जूनियर में भी क्वार्टर फाइनल तक पहुंची ना.
Okay, वो नहीं देखा मैंने.
Yeah,
But
lost to some 70 world rank 73 or something.
okay.
So yeah, impressive there as well.
Yeah, but Anat Singh definitely looked one for the future, and she took a game of Whitlock as well, and she looked to
Mm-hmm.
be having fun out there, which you would expect of a 14-year-old.
Yeah, yeah.
So she definitely gave some hopes कि in future
Mm,
she can do something. And 14
yeah,
is like really young, yeah, right? मतलब 14 पे if you're playing
yeah.
at this level, and she also looked 14 by the way, जैसे तू बोल रहा था,
Mhm.
जो तू नवीन का बोल रहा था.
नहीं नहीं, रेसलिंग का तो बात ही अलग है.
She looked 14, that I'll say.
Mm. And it was good to see the entire team of coaches, Saurav Ghoshal, watching her match and
Hmm.
just encouraging her, cheering for her. All of those scenes were really good.
Agastya is, by the way, saying, did you watch Joshna quarter-final match in singles? She was angry at some of the decisions. Agastya, squash में common है.
चलता ही
मतलब
है, हाँ.
आई हैव सीन दिस मैचेस. मतलब तुम लोग मे भी ज़्यादा स्क्वाश देखते नहीं हो, तो यू फील के बहुत ज़्यादा कंप्लेन हो रही है. I saw all the matches of squash and the complaints were nowhere near what they were in Gold Coast. I can tell you that also. गोल्ड कोस्ट में जो इन लोग की हालत हुई थी ना यहाँ पे कंप्लेन करते करते, इट वाज एट डिफरेंट लेवल. दिस
Yeah,
इज जस्ट
and
रेगुलर इन
more than
स्क्वाश.
half of those are very pretentious.
मतलब या इट्स वेरी क्लोज एंड है, थोड़ा सब्जेक्टिविटी है स्क्वाश में लेट के कॉल में, तो वो थोड़ा होता ही है उसमें. बट या आई डोंट थिंक एनी ऑफ द मैचेस वर अ प्रॉब्लम फ्रॉम अ रेफरिंग पर्सपेक्टिव. इट्स जस्ट दैट शी
Yeah,
लॉस्ट. शी शुड हैव डन बेटर.
yeah. Royal, if she's 15-year-old and she's from Egypt, so naturally she has to be a prodigy, right? Egyptians have had this habit of producing world champions.
हाँ
So
वो
no surprise there.
एक्चुअली वो लाइन बेस्ट है जीनू की, इजिप्ट इज द बाप ऑफ स्क्वाश राइट नाउ. कोई
Exactly.
कंपैरिजन ही नहीं. मतलब इफ यू आई थिंक लुक एट वर्ल्ड टॉप 10 में से 6 इजिप्ट वाले हैं.
Yeah, like some of the greatest goats of the sport they've produced.
आई थिंक इट्स मोर रीसेंट ओनली. इनफैक्ट इफ यू सी गोट्स तो फिर काफी है. यू हैव हैड निकोल डेविड, यू हैव हैड जमशेद खान. गोट्स
Right.
इनफैक्ट इतनी इजिप्ट के नहीं है, जैसे
Recent
रीसेंट.
ghost,
हाँ
recent goats maybe.
या रीसेंट इज द फिनोमिनन. ठीक है, ओवरऑल स्क्वाश
All right.
डिसअपॉइंटिंग या.
Yeah.
सौरव घोषाल गुड, बट ऑन द होल डिसअपॉइंटिंग अ लिटिल बिट.
Yes.
एंड स्क्वाश में
Yes.
आगे क्या होगा ये भी पता नहीं, बिकॉज आई थिंक दीपिका माइट नॉट प्ले ऑन द टूर एनी मोर. It's not
Mm-hmm.
clear. And both Saurav and Joshna also like 35, 36. So you
Yeah.
don't know how
Yeah.
long they'll play.
Probably wait till Asian Games again. They'll carry on, and then after that, I don't know.
They might continue playing, but yeah, you don't know. The hope is now Anahad Singh, but उसको भी आने में 3-4 साल तो लगेंगे at least.
लगेंगे. Yes. Yes. ठीक है. Enough on squash. इसके नीचे swimming है.
चल बोल ले.
तो स्विमिंग में तो ज्यादा कुछ बोलने के लिए है नहीं. आई वांट टू नो फ्रॉम यू, डिड यू वॉच द रेसेस स्पेशली फॉर श्री हरि नटराज? आई थिंक जो हमने डिस्कस किया था बिफोर कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स, वी स्पोक अबाउट श्री हरि नटराज दैट ही इज द ओनली वन दैट नीड्स टू बी ऑब्जर्व्ड. चांसेस हैं फाइनल में पहुंचेगा, मेडल के क्लोज जा सकता है if he produces the personal best जो उसका है. And exactly that's how the story played, right?
Yeah, I think you were
But
pretty much bang on swimming के मामले में. देखे थे
बट
मैंने भी. बोल.
मतलब इट वाज गुड एंड हार्टनिंग टू सी कि हाँ ठीक है, फाइनल के लिए कोई इंडियन स्विमर है. वी आर वेटिंग फॉर द फाइनल बिकॉज देयर इज अ इंडियन स्विमर फीचरिंग इन दैट फाइनल. दैट वाज सुपर.
And it was almost 3 finals, right? He just missed out on the third one, but almost 3 finals.
Yeah.
And wasn't far from too far from the middle, I guess. Especially in the 50 meters, but
Yeah, that's what couldn't produce his personal best performance, no.
that final kick didn't come. Final kick थोड़ा missing रह गया.
Yeah, especially 50 में तो वही है, अनप्रिडिक्टेबिलिटी काफी होती है. फिफ्थ फिनिश किया ना जैसे यहाँ दिख रहा है. तो ठीक है, लेट्स सी. नेक्स्ट वही है अब एशियन गेम्स में. अगेन समवट सिमिलर स्टोरी. आई थिंक एशियन गेम्स में लेवल इज थोड़ा सा और नीचे, वेरी स्लाइटली नीचे, बट स्पेशली फॉर बैक स्ट्रोक. तो फाइनल शुड बी अ रियलिस्टिक एक्सपेक्टेशन. बट
चाइना में, चाइना के सारे होंगे.
चाइना, जापान, कोरिया तो है ही, बट अब वही है ना, रिसेंटली क्या है पता नहीं, बट बेस्ड ऑन द प्रीवियस एडिशंस देयर एंड देयर अबाउट मेडल्स वाली रेंज में ही. तो लेट्स सी.
नहीं, but what I mean is because it's Asian Games is in China, China's top team will show up. I'm not too sure they always do, but
Yeah.
if it's in China, they will show up.
Yeah, lots of factors. No, needs to be seen कि China, if China is strong in backstroke, I have no clue.
Yeah, I also have no clue.
Hmm.
Sajjan and
Although one thing I noticed, Kapil, again on Sri Hari Natraj, like I was Paris के भी Olympic qualification standards are out, right, for swimming.
Okay.
And again he'll have to produce his PB to even qualify from that standard A वाला mark.
B से ही
And
जाना
उस,
पड़ेगा.
हाँ, ए भी कर सकता है, ऐसी कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है. ऑल्दो आई नोटिस दैट 50 मीटर बैक स्ट्रोक है ही नहीं, होती ही नहीं ओलंपिक्स में,
अच्छा.
व्हिच वाज अ लिटिल सरप्राइजिंग. तो हैव टू फोकस ऑन 100 and 200 ओनली.
I think you had also said उसका pet event तो 100 ही है, right? He finished better here in 50.
Yes.
बट
पेट
पेट
100 है.
100 है, हाँ.
But if you read his interviews, lot of reports say that his main strength is 200 meter. That's what he admits. He says. He
हम्म,
says his main favorite event is 200 meter.
हम्म.
That's where he is at peak of his powers. That's what he says.
ठीक है, देखते हैं. मतलब एनीवेज ओलंपिक से व्हेन यू आर टॉकिंग वी आर होपिंग फॉर व्हाट, अ सेमीफाइनल एट मैक्स.
क्वालिफाई तो करे पहले.
नहीं
So for
मतलब मैक्स, मैं बोल
qualification
रहा हूँ एट
also.
मैक्स टू मैक्स क्या है.
हाँ, yeah. Maximum would be semi-final.
ठीक है.
Like 200-meter backstroke Olympics is 157 just for qualification.
200 मीटर 157. ओह ओके.
And he had a national record at 2
बट वो तो
minutes
तू ए
84.
स्टैंडर्ड बोल रहा है, राइट? ए स्टैंडर्ड
Yes,
पूरा.
A standard, yes.
बाय द वे उधर अभी तक रूल वही है ना पूरा, ए स्टैंडर्ड बी स्टैंडर्ड, नो
हाँ
रैंकिंग्स और
हाँ, वही है
एनीथिंग.
वही है वही है.
ठीक है. Royal is asking something about Vedant Madhavan. Do you know anything?
Oh well, he's just started participating in age group. थोड़ा बहुत news आती रहती है because he's obviously son of R Madhavan,
अच्छा.
but nothing concrete as such which is worth discussing right now.
ठीक है. And I was
Hmm.
asking Sajjan and Kushagra. I mean, you had said कि उनका कुछ होने नहीं वाला, but were you at least a little disappointed, or this was the expectation?
It's yeah, same on expected lines only.
Hmm.
मतलब ऐसा कुछ नहीं था. Didn't come close to their personal best.
Hmm.
And as you can see numbers only, right? 1500 meter में they qualified because 1500
हाँ
meter
लोग ही नहीं थे.
hardly had 10-15
हाँ
people.
लोग ही
Yeah,
नहीं था. I remember that. Yeah.
yeah.
वो उसको मैंने भी गिना नहीं था ज़्यादा, वो लोग ही नहीं थे.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Right. तो वही है.
ठीक है.
Nothing much to talk about.
I think किस पे जाना है अभी? बॉक्सिंग.
Hmm. Oh yes, boxing. Why not?
बॉक्सिंग कर लेते हैं.
Let's start from women's boxing.
या नीतू निखत. माइंड ब्लोइंग.
Oh yes, mind blowing.
माइंड ब्लोइंग
Absolutely.
फुल्ली.
For for me, they were one of the top three highlights, if I can say that, in these entire Commonwealth Games. Absolutely mind blowing. The way they dominated, the way they were technically superior, against their opponents, and had that swagger of a champion, right? कि कई बार आई डोंट नो, मेरा तो ये रहता है कि मैं काफी ज्यादा बॉडी लैंग्वेज एनालाइज ओवर एनालाइज जो भी बोल लो करता हूँ. एंड आफ्टर हैविंग वॉच्ड sports for so long, for so many years, थोड़ा सा पता चल जाता है if you've come to win that tournament, or if you've just to see and have a chance, or just to participate. Right from the get going, they entered the ring as if they've come to win it. तो काफी सही था वो, मतलब स्पेशली फॉर नीतू. मैं ट्विटर पे भी आई थिंक 2-3 बार ये चीज बोल चुका था. द वे शी had beaten the Irish boxer, it was absolutely mind blowing.
या आई एग्री. आई मीन निखत के साथ तो चलो इट वाज एक्सपेक्टेड, स्पेशली बिकॉज अभी वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप जीत के आई है, सो वी एक्सपेक्टेड इट. बट या नीतू स्पेशली बीइंग सो डोमिनेंट अगेंस्ट, एंड शी इवन फेस्ड द टफ वंस, राइट? शी फेस्ड an Irish boxer, she faced an English boxer, and she was completely dominating. मतलब दो मैच तो खत्म भी नहीं किए. One is abandoned and one is referee stopped contest. So
Yeah.
दो तो खत्म भी नहीं किए. नीतू was awesome and निखत yeah expected. So those two are by far the highlights. Talking about Olympics, weight category का थोड़ा गड़बड़ करना पड़ेगा, हाँ?
नहीं, आई थिंक सॉर्टेड हो जाएगा मेरे हिसाब
Hmm.
से. बिकॉज सी, फॉर नीतू इट्स स्टिल फाइन, राइट? 50 इज हर कैटेगरी. अभी शी वाज
और
इन
निखत,
48 और व्हाट.
हाँ नीतू in 48 and निखत in 50. That's the
या,
problem.
सो वी हैव 50 and 54 इन ओलंपिक्स, राइट?
But 54 यहाँ भी था and निखत chose 50. That's the point.
निकत चोज 50. ठीक है, शी चोज 50, दैट्स ओके.
Hmm.
बट वी नो फॉर अ रीजन शी इज अ वर्ल्ड चैंपियन इन 52.
Correct.
ठीक है.
Hmm.
Secondly, 50 to 54, there's not much of a difference, right?
नहीं नहीं, but
2
see,
kgs,
नहीं नहीं, I
2
get it.
kgs is still fine. Hear me out. एक minute.
हाँ.
Now we also have a 57 category in Olympics,
Hmm.
and that's what I think is going to benefit us, because 54 में अगर कोई heavier weight के boxers drop down करते भी, तो they would have been 57 boxers, right?
Hmm.
But 57 is already there in the Olympics. So chances of those boxers coming down to 54 is not that much ki haan, she'll have to face a lot stronger boxers. And my hope is that she can become slightly stronger and move to 52, from 52 to 54. She's accomplished herself in 52, and she can easily move from 52 to 54. That's what my hope is, because we have two great world class boxers and we have to send them both.
Yeah, so see, my only concern is, I get your point. My concern is very simple. She competed in 52 at the World Champs. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
यहाँ पे 52 was not there.
Hmm.
She had a choice. She could go
Hmm.
to 50. She could go to
Hmm.
54.
Hmm.
Both were there here. ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं थे.
Hmm.
And she went to 50.
Hmm.
Okay. So is she gonna step aside for Neetu? Because she's still the better boxer, right? Possibly.
बट कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स में ये हो सकता है ना, लेट्स टॉक इन साइलो. सो शी मस्ट हैव focused only on Commonwealth Games, and for Commonwealth Games she would have considered कि she has a better chance in 50 because she's a 52 boxer. She can cut those 2 kgs, she'll have a better chance, and then बाद की बाद में देखेंगे. Neetu was already out of picture because there was a 48 kg category. तो
That's
वहां पे she might have thought why take a chance right now because she's at 52. 54 के लिए उसको वो couple of kgs strength gain करनी पड़ेगी ना, and she has time for that.
that's okay. See, मेरा point वही है कि for you are saying कि maybe the competition in 50 was lower. That's why she chose 50. I am
Mm-hmm.
saying कि maybe she is more comfortable in 50 as opposed to 54. So now is she
Mm-hmm.
going to 54 just for Neetu? Because she is not. She is the world champion. She is probably still better than Neetu, unless Neetu beats her, which is a different issue altogether. So as long as Neetu doesn't beat her, why is she going to 54? Is she just going to 54 because भैया नीतू को खेलने दो 50 में, मैं 54 में चाहती हूँ? She's not doing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna go
Yeah.
to her favorite category,
Yeah.
which to me currently shows out of the Olympic categories is possibly 50. So that is the problem.
So that's from the athlete's standpoint, right?
Yeah,
But there is some bit of strategy that would come in from the coaches and the federation also.
I
मतलब
doubt
मेरा
it.
point ये है कि why would they want to lose out a great opportunity to send two world class boxers in Olympics?
Yeah, but I don't think it works that way, na, because she's a world champion and anyways मेरी कोम के साथ उसका इतना लफड़ा हो चुका है पहले भी. I don't
Hmm.
think the federation has a power to tell her anything right now.
No, no, वो तो it's there just to for us to speculate only कि federation has that power or not.
Hmm.
I don't know all of that. ठीक है, मुझे नहीं पता वो सब. बट मैं सिर्फ ये बोल रहा हूँ कि देयर कुड बी अ रैशनल कि हाँ शी माइट बी कजोल्ड और थोड़ा सा कन्विंस्ड कि हाँ यू कैन मूव टू 54 बिकॉज इट्स नॉट लाइक 50 वुड बी इजियर फॉर हर, राइट? लेट्स से देयर इज
Would
नो
be.
कंपटीशन फॉर हर डोमेस्टिकली इन 54. नीतू को फॉर 50 she'll have to anyways fight out against नीतू, right?
Yeah, but point वही है ना कि now how much is the difference between those two? वो जब आपस में लड़ेंगे तभी पता चलेगा. My
तभी
guess,
पता चलेगा.
my guess is Nikat is still better than Neetu. So my guess is कि ठीक है, it will time will tell, but there is a
Also world
problem there.
championship में maybe next थोड़ा सा picture will come clear earlier than much earlier than
वो तो क्वालिफिकेशन के पहले क्लियर करना पड़ेगा.
क्वालिफिकेशन के पहले क्लियर, वही आई थिंक वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप में वो चीज क्लियर हो जाएगी.
एंड बॉक्सिंग में तो क्या है ना, बॉक्सिंग में सो मच ऑफ इट इज इन फ्लक्स. वी डोंट
हम्म.
इवन नो क्वालिफिकेशन कैसे होगा. देयर इज अ क्वालिफिकेशन सिस्टम विच इज आउट and maybe they'll follow it, but qualification system also is very weird, by the way. It had things like
Yeah,
two categories contributing to one category and everything. तो वो
it's weird.
हाँ, तो वो सब बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेशन है उधर. मतलब so
Right.
because I don't see her moving to 54 just because of Neetu. That's my only point.
Well, I think that's going to happen, and it's not mainly because of Neetu, but it's mainly because if the coaches feel that ठीक है height का फंडा होता है, 54 kg boxers might
But
be
हाइट में तो
might have
नीतू
slightly
हाइट में तो नीतू
advantage.
हाई है. हाइट में तो
नहीं
नीतू
नहीं,
लंबी
निखत
है.
का मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना कि
हाँ.
निखत does not have the height, but if coaches feel that she's able to gain that 2 kgs extra strength,
हम्म.
I think it will boil down to that only because 54 में we don't have that world class boxers जो part enter कर सकते हैं from India. So
Hone-
that is going to help her.
Honestly, I won't be too surprised if they try Neetu for 54.
Neetu for 54, you
She has
saying?
the height, right?
Have you seen Neetu? Yeah, she has the height, but
हाँ,
she's so lanky and
but she'll
so
have to put it up. Because मुझे नहीं दिख रहा निखत moving. That's just my prediction.
So you feel that Neetu is going to move from 48 to 54 and Nikhat can't from 52 to 54.
नहीं, I'm saying whoever they will fight it out, and whoever
Hmm.
loses will be forced to move to 54. Nobody is doing it by choice.
Hmm. हाँ,
Neither
तो
the
वही तो मैं भी बोल रहा हूँ कि there might be some say from the coaches and federation also that this is how we should be going about it.
हाँ, मेरी समझ में आई एम सेइंग it will happen on the field. Okay, they will
Hmm.
fight it out either behind closed doors or maybe in an official trial. It could also be behind closed doors, right? It need not be in an official trial. Okay, closed
Yeah,
doors may
yeah.
they see each other in sparring, they see each other how they are going, and
Hmm.
maybe one of them will figure out कि okay, the other one is better, so it's better if I go to 54.
Hmm.
And मुझे लग रहा
Yeah.
है that will be
It's
Neetu.
just that थोड़ा सा ये होगा ना कि let's say if they ठीक है नीतू हो या निखत हो anyways
Hmm.
that's the right strategy to go with
Hmm.
as per me
Hmm.
because अगर तुम दोनों को ही एक कैटेगरी में you ask them to fight it off
Hmm.
you're obviously losing out on a great opportunity right so
Yeah, but
वो that's the main thing.
both will say कि I can do it in 50, right? अब जैसे by the way PC saying in the chat that Nikhat said in an interview that she is not comfortable going to 54. And by the way अगर तू chat पढ़ेगा most people are saying कि Nikhat needs to stick to 50.
Yeah, obviously everyone can have their own theory right that's
Hmm.
okay but I think मेरे लिए my personal opinion would be that that would be the best thing to go
Hmm.
forward.
And for me, what even makes it more complicated is the Olympic qualification. Just for example, Vasant Kumar is, correct. He's saying like if Neetu ranks world number one in 48 and Nikhat ranks world number two in 50, then Neetu qualifies. ऐसे I don't know exactly what's true है कि नहीं है, but there are complications like this. That 48 kg and 50 kg are both feeding to 50 kg, and then it's like up to the federation to decide के who goes there and who doesn't go there, because it's not even a straight up के 50 kg में से 50 kg ही जाएगा. Both 48 and 50 kg में qualification tournaments होने वाले हैं, going to just 50 in
या या
Olympics.
या बॉक्सिंग का थोड़ा सा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है इस बारी
हाँ,
वो
प्लस वो आईबा का लफड़ा चलता रहता है, तो यू डोंट इवन नो वहाँ पे भी क्या होने वाला है.
आई थिंक इस बार भी इट्स द ओलंपिक ऑर्गेनाइजिंग कमिटी दैट इज गोइंग टू ऑर्गेनाइज both qualification as well as the boxing
या
tournament.
दिस इज इंटरेस्टिंग टू नोट कि यहाँ पे होगा क्या.
Yeah, very interesting actually. It's a good confusion to have actually.
Not a good confusion when you have so many categories. I mean वही अभी
मतलब
निकल वही.
obviously we are talking about we have two great boxers
Hmm.
both going for one common thing so it has to be good right even if let's say both of them decide to go अंतिम विनेश का जैसे है
Hmm.
तो that domestic competition is also going to bode well for both of them no.
Yeah, domestic competition is good, but I mean, yeah, I would have preferred जैसे यही निकट का 50 की जगह 54 में होता, I would have preferred that much more.
Hmm.
But ठीक है.
Okay, by the way
What?
between the two of you watching them in silos in their own individual category who would you rate higher?
Yeah, I said Nikat.
As
I
you
still
said
said Nikat.
Nikat.
Yeah.
Okay, no. Maybe that's why. For
You're
me,
saying
it'll
Neetu?
be definitely. Absolutely,
Hmm.
yes.
Neetu was definitely more aggressive. I get that. But for me, Nikat looked much more polished, much more, uh, you know,
Like a complete boxer, you're saying.
yes, much more
Hmm.
well-rounded, complete, and polished. Polished is basically the word. Neetu still looked a little raw.
Hmm.
मतलब when she comes up against the more experienced, the better boxers,
Hmm.
attacking can bounce back a lot as well.
Hmm.
She didn't
Hmm.
come up against very tough opposition here, but you don't know future में क्या होगा.
Yeah, that was applicable for both of them actually.
हाँ, but मुझे निकट ज़्यादा पॉलिश लगी, just
हाँ.
that way.
Nikat has experience on her side, no?
हम्म.
Senior tour का. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
चलो,
Yes.
ये अपन दोनों की बात कर रहे हैं आगे.
We totally forgot about other boxers, Kapil.
नहीं बट
Lovelina, disappointed.
या डेफिनेटली आई मीन आई विल से वन थिंग ओवरऑल पूरे बॉक्सिंग टूर्नामेंट में व्हाट आई फेल्ट at least I felt not a single close decision went our way except for Amit Pangal in the semis. So I'm not saying it was robbery or anything. There were a lot of close matches.
What else does it mean?
So I'm not saying it's a robbery. I'm just saying it was bad luck or whatever you want to say. But जितने भी मैचेस में मतलब एंड ऑफ द मैच पे आई वाज लाइक क्यूरियस के हु इज गोना विन. जैसे निकट और नीतू के मैच में बाय द टाइम यू गॉट टू द डिसीजन यू न्यू कि हु हैज वन. ओके, देयर वाज नो डाउट. इट वाज कंप्लीट डोमिनेशन. बट जिस भी मैच में एंड में यू फेल्ट ना कि ओके कौन सा हाथ ऊपर जाने वाला है, आई डोंट नो, द इंडियन हैंड नेवर वेंट अप. The only time it went up was Amit in the semi-final. Now I'm not saying
Mm.
that's a robbery. It can be just a bad luck. That's how
Yeah,
it
it was
happened.
close. It was close for Amit in semis.
Yeah. So except for Amit in semis, na everywhere the close matches we lost out on.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And for me, all those close matches had to go against India because coincidentally, सारे उन close matches में like Ashish Kumar against England, right? It was super close, but at the end of the match, you had this feeling English was tad bit better than Ashish.
okay, maybe.
Mm,
Yeah. So I
yeah.
didn't have similar feelings. That's all I can say. But yeah, they were very close. I'm not saying that they were robberies or anything. They were very close. I'll just say a
So
little bit of
इसमें
a bad luck.
Lavlina वाला match, I didn't watch it actually. I was pretty surprised when I read it. So it was also the same way क्या? मतलब could have gone either way.
मतलब it was the same let's say narrative where Lavlina won the first round, then second round में started to turn a bit, and then third round में Lavlina is taking it a little easier than maybe she should have. ये एक प्रॉब्लम था आई थिंक इंडियन बॉक्सर्स अक्रॉस द बोर्ड एक्सेप्ट फॉर नीतू एंड निखत, दे वर अ लिटिल वीक इन द थर्ड राउंड, अमित
Mm-hmm.
इंक्लूडेड. थर्ड राउंड में मे बी उतना फायर नहीं था जितना होना चाहिए था.
Mm.
Personally, Lavlina, I thought maybe Lavlina was a little better, but I was not surprised because it's a Welsh boxer. So that was that. And
Mm.
commentators, I think,
But
commentators were
for
divided.
Lavlina being a Olympic
She should have
bronze
done better.
medalist,
That's the point.
twice a world bronze medalist, and she hadn't been putting any foot wrong. Post Olympics only, चल ठीक है. Olympics के बाद the first tournament she participates in World Championship, understandable. You had a plethora of events to attend, इतने सारे celebrations,
But हो गया
all
यार,
those events.
काफी
हाँ
हो
ठीक है,
गया.
वो excuse दे दिया, but उसके बाद अभी के लिए तो you would any day expect her to beat the Welsh boxer, right?
By the way, PC is saying that the girl who beat Lavlina went on to win gold. Okay.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, but I honestly felt कि maybe मतलब ठीक है, प्रॉब्लम ये है ना यार, देख मैं भी biased हूँ. So I can't even really watch completely unbiased, right? कितना भी मैं कोशिश कर लूँ.
Yeah,
So
I also think Kapil, sorry to say, but you are
हाँ,
biased थोड़ा सा. ऐसे मेरे को
exactly.
लगता है बॉक्सिंग को लेके स्पेशली.
Exactly. So it's like even I'm biased, right? No matter how much I try, I can't get rid of my bias, right? So I did feel maybe it was a little bit towards Lavnina, but yeah, I don't have much complaints. Again, third round का ही problem था. Third round में at least Eccles was much more, let's say, busy and aggressive. I don't know how much he was connecting, but at least he was busy and aggressive. But yeah, personally, I felt maybe Lavlina was a little better, but ठीक है.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
हाँ,
yeah. Same, actually, same thing happened with Thapa again.
हाँ
So
था.
the Scottish boxer that he lost to
हम्म,
also went on to win the gold.
okay. वो तो
जैसे लास्ट टाइम उसके साथ 2014 में हुआ था माइकल कॉनलन.
हम्म. थापा का तो था भी ना. द कमेंटेटर्स आर सेइंग द लिंच इज आल्सो वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप ब्रॉन्ज मेडलिस्ट, द स्कॉटिश
Oh, is
गाय.
it?
या ही इज
Is it?
आल्सो.
But I think Thapa won the first round unanimously.
तीन जगह ऐसा
उस
हुआ.
हाँ.
तीन बॉक्स, आई थिंक somebody said in the chat 3 boxers it happened कि
Hmm.
we won the first round 5-0 and we went on to lose the fight. वो प्रॉब्लम वही था. थर्ड राउंड में वी वर नॉट गुड. थर्ड राउंड में मतलब हम लोग पहले से चल के ही गए थे कि हम लोग को पहले 2 राउंड में ही जीतना है, और 2 राउंड में नहीं हुआ ना तो थर्ड राउंड में फाइट होती थी.
Hmm.
We didn't have the this gas left in the
Yeah.
third round.
Yeah.
Yeah, one I will agree. जो एक जन ने किसी ने बोला था कि कुंडू was, I think Sumit Kundu was probably the biggest robbery, if I'm saying.
That's because yeah, I remember I didn't watch the match, but you went on it that referee had some major role to play in that bout, right? He
Yeah.
didn't allow Kundu to fight properly or something on those lines.
Yeah. I mean, I think it is the worst refereeing I've ever seen. I don't think I've seen worse refereeing in a boxing match. And see, and this time it is not me saying, it is the commentator saying. तो इसीलिए मैंने बोला था, जैसे मैं बोलता हूँ ना, आई हैव बायस व्हिच इज डिफिकल्ट टू गेट अवे फ्रॉम, बट दिस टाइम इट वाज द कमेंटेटर सेइंग. द कमेंटेटर्स वर लिटरली सेइंग कि इट वाज अ सिचुएशन वेयर व्हेन सुमित पंचेस, द रेफरी जंप्स इन एंड टेल्स हिम कि ना कीप योर हेड अप या डोंट यूज योर आर्म. इट्स अ लेजिटिमेट पंच, लेकिन रेफरी विल जंप इन एंड वार्न हिम अबाउट समथिंग. एंड व्हेन द ऑस्ट्रेलियन पंचेस, हल्का सा लगा नहीं कि सीधा काउंट चालू हो जाएगा. इट वाज द कमेंटेटर सेइंग कि व्हाट इज द रेफरी डूइंग. It was not me saying. And yeah, Kundu could
Yeah.
not handle it. Kundu could not handle it.
Yeah, because
He
when I
shut
logged
shop.
in, it was the last round about to start, and he
Yeah,
was totally destroyed in that last round.
yeah, he had shut shop. He's like मैं क्या करूं मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. So वो फर्स्ट राउंड में ही सारा हो गया. सेकंड राउंड में भी ट्राइड बट he had shut shop by the third round. कि I don't know what
Hmm.
to do. So I think if there was one fight which was the most weird fight or the robbery fight, or you can say it was Sumit Kundu. But you can't blame the judges. The way the fight went, judges had to give it to him. It was
Yeah,
only the referee.
yeah, yeah.
And I don't think that referee did a match again. At least मैंने देखा तो नहीं, but ठीक है, I only watched the Indian matches.
Conspiracy theory coming in.
नहीं नहीं ये था. It's actually a thing. बॉक्सिंग में होता है कि
हाँ हाँ
एक
होता होगा. नॉट अ बिग डील.
and
सागर का कैसे लगा मतलब till the semi-final I remember watching his semi-final. I was impressed, but final में it was the same old story as it is for our heavier weight boxers, right?
again Sagar had won the first round. By the way, I was a little surprised honestly. कि he won the
Because
first round
he was totally exhausted by the
by the
time
third
third
round.
round came. थर्ड में तो फाइट ही नहीं किया कुछ.
सागर का ऑनेस्टली थर्ड राउंड मैंने इतना देखा नहीं. दैट वाज द वन डे जहाँ एंड में मेरे को थोड़ी नींद आने लग गई थी. सो आई एम नॉट टू श्योर अबाउट द थर्ड राउंड
Hmm.
बट
But
या
did you notice we are a few of our boxers actually lost to the Africans? Probably this is the
या
first time I'm seeing that.
या दैट वाज अनदर थिंग आई वाज कमिंग टू कि यार इतने अफ्रीकन से
Hmm.
इतने कैसे हारने हैं, ये समझ में नहीं आया मुझे भी.
Maybe they have up their ante जैसे Zambia. I don't know. Some boxing program must be running there. Amit का भी जो semi-final bout था that was against Zambia.
Zambian.
Then Rohit Tokas again losing to a Zambian again in
Yeah,
semi-final.
should not have happened.
Yep.
मतलब they should have been better. I'm not saying it was robbed or anything. They should.
Yep.
Hussam losing to Ghana.
Hmm.
Hussam तो यार definitely expected more from Hussam.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah, absolutely. He
Hmm.
started on a very good note. And
Hmm.
by the way, do you know, I was watching one of those Sony पे shows wherein
Hmm.
they the experts sitting there in the studio talk about.
Hmm.
In that particular show, they had invited Inspire Institute of Sports का जो head coach है,
Hmm.
ठीक है, John something his name is.
Hmm.
And that head coach obviously he's a researcher, research scholar, PhD, etc., etc., and obviously a lot of our boxers train under him. Nikhat also is, I think, his produce. So he was analyzing each and every of our boxers properly, not just our boxers but the competition also against our boxers.
Hmm.
And ultimately everything that he anticipated and reviewed ultimately fell true, except for Mohammad Husamuddin.
Okay.
Like he was very high on Husamuddin,
Hmm.
and he had this to say about Husam that he's the most technical, one of the most technical boxers in India,
Hmm.
and he had Husam as shot for final and gold.
Hmm.
But that ways, matlab, I don't know what happened losing to a Ghana boxer. I didn't watch the match, but after listening to him, I had definitely raised my expectations.
थोड़ा बहुत I think वो team right through ही था कि it's like third round especially the opposition boxer was a little more busy. Whether they were connecting or not now that's a next question. Lekin at
Hmm.
least they were throwing more punches. I think Agastya is saying the same thing. That Ghana boxer were just throwing punches. They weren't hitting. And it maybe should have gone Husam's way. I remember, I
Hmm.
think Husam के case में the commentators I think were also split. I don't remember. एक तो कोई match था. Maybe it was Husam, maybe it was Rohit. I'm not sure. The commentators themselves were split. One was like, it depends on what you like. Do you like the busy rate or do you like the more technical and the more stylish, minimalistic, let's say, boxing? More efficient boxing, not minimalistic.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you like the more efficient boxing or do you just like busyness and aggressiveness? But yeah, overall, I think boxing, नीतू और निखत ने बचा लिया.
नीतू निकट एंड अमित
हाँ,
एग्जैक्टली
अमित ने भी
वही
एंड
बोलने
में,
वाला
अमित
था मैं.
also was very impressive in the final. He had
या
a
ही
very
वाज.
tough semi-final, but very impressive in the final. And Sagar also did well. मतलब ठीक है for heaviest category. And he also gave, I think, a decent fight to the Englishman. Not
या ओके.
decent fight at least. So वो लास्ट में थोड़ा बच गए, लेकिन शुरू में तो बॉक्सिंग जो चालू हुआ था, it was disaster. I think the biggest disaster was Sanjeet, possibly.
या
He had no business losing to that Samoan.
समवन यस.
And his draw was the best draw across the board.
इज इट?
हाँ, सीधा फाइनल में फ्री एंट्री थी.
because of the lack of usual nations,
या
England,
या बिकॉज ऑफ द
Scotland.
ड्रॉ. हाँ, सो वो सारे उस दूसरे हाफ में थे या नहीं थे. His half had like Samoa, Niu, all these. You know, उसके क्वार्टर से Niu has won the bronze medal. Their first ever medal. Niu का first ever medal in any sport in the Commonwealth Games.
Hmm.
Sanjeet was the most disappointing. Most definitely.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
business losing to the Samoan. और उसका वही हुआ बाय द वे, अगर तेरे को याद नहीं है, ही वन द फर्स्ट टू राउंड्स एंड देन ही थॉट कि मैं तो जीत गया. ही वन द फर्स्ट टू राउंड्स ऑन 3 कार्ड्स. सो एंड
Hmm.
देन ही थॉट तो मैं जीत गया. लास्ट राउंड में कुछ भी नहीं किया एंड थोड़ा बहुत किया बट नॉट मच एंड वन जज गेव इट 10-8 और हो गया कल्याण.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. बॉक्सिंग का थोड़ा यही है ना, मतलब
पता नहीं
even till
चलता है.
Paris it will be same thing, पता
हाँ.
नहीं चल रहा है, unpredictability, and that's why I think मतलब if we enter Paris in good with good chunk of boxers, कहीं ना कहीं पे वो होता है ना कि अंधेरे में तीर लगाओगे कोई ना कोई तो हिट करेगा, as it happened with Lavlina. I it might be sounding a little uh, थोड़ा सा maybe I'm trying to discount Lavlina's achievement, but actually if you're sending the good boxers kahin na kahin because of the draws, because of someone coming in peak form, wo chances of getting a medal is higher in boxing is what I believe from a Olympic standpoint,
Yeah, I mean, I
because
can.
we have good amount of boxers at decent world level.
Yeah, and I can actually get into some controversies also here. I think ठीक है, बॉक्सिंग में अब मे बी आई अब आईबा नहीं है बट आई थिंक दे लाइक टू स्प्रेड द वेल्थ अ बिट. उनको दे लाइक टू
Yeah,
डू दैट
that's
ऑल्सो कि
that's one of the common theories again.
कि सबको सारे मेडल एक जगह मत दो. दे लाइक टू स्प्रेड इट आउट अ बिट. तो या ठीक है, बट बॉक्सिंग में इट्स ऑलवेज गोना बी अ लिटिल जज बेस्ड. सो यू नेवर नो.
mm.
वी डिडंट टॉक अबाउट जैस्मिन. जैस्मिन या सॉर्ट ऑफ ठीक है.
Expected lines है ना.
Expected lines, gave a good fight to Richardson, but then in England you expected Richardson to win. और वो थोड़ा बहुत फैक्टर आता ही है. And again, it
mm.
was a close bout. So वही वाली बात है.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, one of those things कि close bout हमेशा we sort of came out on the bad side.
Right.
But ठीक है, on the whole I think boxing थोड़ा disappointing ही था outside of Neetu and Nikat. What did you feel?
या मतलब मेरे लिए द मेन टेक अवे वाज अगेन अमित, निखत, नीतू परफॉर्मिंग वेल,
Hmm.
एंड या रेस्ट ऑफ ऑल थोड़ा सा आई एम नॉट टू कंसर्न्ड अबाउट इट बिकॉज वी डू हैव गुड स्ट्रेंथ in terms of good squad depth,
Hmm.
in terms of the domestic program that we have.
Hmm.
So that ways I'm confident, but yeah, very happy to see all these three performing,
Hmm.
and obviously much expectations from them.
Yeah, I will like a little better performance in the third round. I mean, थोड़ा बहुत I think strategy will change because we have had this strategy के से पहले दो round में we'll win and then we'll coast in the third, which is
Mm,
fine. But then you need to have something in the third if that strategy doesn't work. वो
yeah,
अभी है
yeah.
ही नहीं.
With these three, I didn't feel that way.
नहीं, इन तीनों के साथ तो कुछ हुआ ही नहीं
बाकियों के
ना.
साथ हाँ.
इन तीनों के साथ तो जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ी. जैसे नीतू एंड निकत तो कंप्लीटली डोमिनेटेड. अमित को भी एक ही फाइट में तकलीफ हुई, वो जैम्बिया वाले में. उसके अलावा ये डोमिनेटेड ओनली, तो इनको तो जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ी. बट
Mm,
दूसरी जगहों पे ठीक है.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Next.
लॉन बॉल्स.
Phew, हाँ.
चल, तुझे
I'm
मजा
sure
आया
you would
क्या?
want to talk about.
तुझे
हाँ, it
मजा
was
आया
fun.
क्या?
See, the entire experience was fun. Watching it and then reading people's tweet. Everyone is trying to understand the game. Everyone is trying to make their own assessment, talk about it in some or the other manner. तो वो चीज अच्छी थी. The entire overall experience of it was quite good, and obviously the main protagonist वो जो team थी, Indian women's team, उन लोगों के reactions and the way they were backing each other up, थोड़ा सा वो भी बहुत सही था. one of like semi-final semi-final न्यूजीलैंड के अगेंस्ट था, राइट?
सेमीफाइनल या.
है ना, न्यूजीलैंड के अगेंस्ट था.
या एंड फाइनल साउथ
So
अफ्रीका.
yeah, my nephew, like he messages me कि he's watching lawn bowls and ये न्यूजीलैंड वाली, I mean he's थोड़ा सा he's still a kid, so he was messaging me कि ये न्यूजीलैंड वाली आंटी के हाथ में ये सब कुछ and things like that, because there was some older lady playing there, right?
Yeah,
So
the
overall experience was good. मतलब अच्छा था, and almost felt like how it was golf in Tokyo Olympics.
okay. Yeah, I enjoyed a lot. The New Zealand match was the highlight, especially that last end. जहाँ पे I remember first the New Zealand really celebrated कि they got it. They had got a great shot, and then उसके right दो shot के बाद the Indian Rupa came and she destroyed their ball. तो मतलब that was nail biting पूरा. The New Zealand match especially was nail biting, and South Africa also score wise 17-10 it looks good. लेकिन second last end तक it was nail biting. But yeah, I definitely never expected a gold here. मतलब gold
Hmm.
is the one which really pushes lawn bowls over the top.
Hmm.
I was expecting that maybe we can sneak out a bronze somewhere or something. We have had a
Yeah,
couple
yeah.
of fourth
I
places
I
in the
remember
past.
you talking about it in our preview stream that
Hmm.
we might have a medal chance in lawn bowls.
लॉन बॉल्स में है लॉन बॉल्स में पहले भी कपल ऑफ टाइम्स वी हैव गॉट टू फोर्थ और समथिंग एंड लॉन बॉल्स में थोड़ा वो है थोड़ा आई थिंक मोमेंटम गेम भी हो जाता है थोड़ा थोड़ा इट्स अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ हाउ थिंग्स गो ऑन द डे एंड अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ लक ऑल्सो द बॉल जस्ट फेल्ट फॉर यू तो थोड़ा बहुत में
Yeah.
फर्क पड़ता है जैसे वही मेंस टीम के साथ फाइनल में वो हुआ फॉर एग्जांपल सो द मेंस टीम गॉट द सिल्वर राइट आई थिंक वी गॉट अ गोल्ड एंड अ सिल्वर.
Silver, silver. They made it to the finals.
Yeah, so the men's team got to the finals, but they just never got off the blocks in the final.
Hmm.
शुरू में ही सीधा 8-0 9-0 कुछ लीड हो गई थी एंड दैट मैच सॉर्ट ऑफ नेवर वेंट एनीवेयर बट द वुमेन्स फोर्थ वाज ऑसम बहुत मजा आया
Yeah. Yeah.
एंड मुझे एटलीस्ट बहुत मजा आया मुझे हमेशा नए स्पोर्ट्स देखने में मजा भी आता है
Hmm.
आई विल से वन थिंग मुझे आई जस्ट डोंट अंडरस्टैंड हाउ पीपल से कि रूल समझ में नहीं आए इवन सूर्यांक इज सेइंग कि रूल समझ में नहीं आया सूर्यांक इट इज द सिंपलेस्ट गेम इन द वर्ल्ड यार एक सेंटर बॉल होती है उसके बाजू में तुम्हारी जितनी बॉलें पहुंच जाए उतनी पॉइंट मिलते हैं इट्स द सिंपलेस्ट गेम इन द वर्ल्ड बट आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड हाउ पीपल
Yeah.
डोंट गेट द
But
रूल्स
personally, as a sport couple, I don't know, you find it interesting, but मेरे को इतना वो enticing नहीं लगा कि हाँ, like something a sport defines, right, कि हाँ वो तुम्हें वो आई डोंट नो कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस चाहिए या वो स्ट्रेंथ चाहिए या वो टेक्निकलिटीज चाहिए, वो सब चीजें थोड़ा सा आई डोंट नो थोड़ा सा
या
कम है
नहीं आई डोंट थिंक सो
रिस्पेक्ट
आई थिंक इट्स अ प्रिसिशन
रिलेटिवली.
स्पोर्ट आई
या
पर्सनली फील
इट
इट्स अ
इज.
नहीं बट मेरे को लगता है जैसे शूटिंग में कौन सी फिजिकलिटी है तुम्हें वही खड़े रह के एक पॉइंट पे मारना है I think it's a pretty similar to that. You have to be. It's a deft sport. It is not a power sport. It is a It is a finesse sport. And by the way, I don't know. तुझे भी पता है कि नहीं पता है मुझे बाद में पता चला. Do you know these balls which they use, the lawn balls? Do you know why they curve?
बाय दे.
तूने देखा तो ऐसे ही lawn balls हमेशा बॉल ऐसे
हाँ
जाती
हाँ,
है राइट कर्व
कर्व जाती है, हाँ हाँ.
कर्व जाती है डू यू नो why they curve?
मे बी बिकॉज ऑफ their शेप, आई डोंट नो.
Basically the balls are biased. Balls are heavier on
या
one
इट्स
side.
नॉट. हाँ हाँ हाँ, वो तो दिखता है बॉल को देख के
हाँ so
बिकॉज
I
ऑफ द शेप इट इज.
so I didn't know कि मतलब ball is heavier on one side. So इसमें that shows कि what you have to do. You have to basically be very precise and you have to understand the balls and the greens. Golf भी क्या है golf में ठीक है power है लेकिन eventually it's all about precision and accuracy, right? So for me it's a similar sport. It's a legitimate sport. I don't see any
या
problem in it.
या
और मुझे देखने में
फेल्ट
भी
इट.
मजा आता है provided it's close. It's one of those games ना जहाँ अगर one sided हो जाता है तो it's get very boring.
हाँ, मतलब ओवरऑल मेरे को तो काफी बोरिंग लगा.
अच्छा तुझे
आउटसाइड
बोरिंग ही लगा
ऑब्वियस.
इमेज.
हाँ हाँ, बोरिंग लगा.
हम्म.
इंडिया के केस में वो था ना, देयर वाज अ लॉट ऑफ इमोशंस इन्वॉल्व्ड
हाँ.
एंड एवरीवन वांटेड देम टू विन अ मेडल, तो वो इट एड्स टू द एंटायर एक्सपीरियंस. एंड लाइक आई सेड, ट्विटर पे एवरीवन वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट इट.
हम्म.
बट इंडिविजुअलिटी में एज अ स्पोर्ट, आई वुडंट वांट टू वॉच इट अगेन.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I also enjoy figuring out कि अभी यहाँ पे बॉल डालेंगे कहाँ पे डालेंगे what is the strategy involved. So I enjoy it.
हम्म. हम्म.
Yeah, and Ginu is
Cool.
saying it's same as boccia. Yeah, pretty much. Boccia, I think you have to put it in the throw the balls in the air. यहाँ पे you have to throw it along the ground. I think main difference वही है. I'm
Okay,
not too sure.
boccia, that's the first time I'm hearing about that sport.
Yeah, that's like it's also called bocce ball. मैंने एक बार किसी रिसोर्ट में खेला है ऐसे टाइम पास.
Bocce ball.
हाँ bocce ball.
हम्म.
किसी रिसोर्ट में खेला है रिसोर्ट में लगा देते हैं ना कि बुड्ढे लोगों के लिए हम मोटे लोगों के लिए और कुछ खेलने के लिए नहीं ये खेल लो उस टाइप का.
हाँ वही है, लॉन बॉल्स के साथ भी वही है.
हम्म.
ठीक है.
चलो जूडो
व्हाट
करना है
नेक्स्ट?
जल्दी से. देखा तूने जूडो?
आई डोंट हैव अ लॉट ऑफ टेकअवेज जूडो में तो, बिकॉज वही है ना, लाइक आई सेड, ओलंपिक स्पोर्ट्स मैं सिर्फ ओलंपिक के पर्सपेक्टिव से देखना चाह रहा था. मेरे को बस मेनली वही था, बट जूडो में वी डोंट हैव दैट एंगल.
या जूडो में ओलंपिक का एंगल तो नहीं है. आई सॉ इट, मतलब देखने में मजा आता है जूडो. तुलिका मैन वाज वेरी क्लोज टू अ
Hmm.
गोल्ड. शी हैड लाइक 30 odd seconds left,
Yeah.
and she was leading. But at the same time, the match I did feel that the Scotland was a little stronger. So I didn't feel that sad. There were people who felt very sad. She was the second seed, by the way, Tulika Man, and the Scottish was the first seed.
She was the one who was crying on the podium, right?
I didn't see the medal
Tulika.
ceremony. Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't see the
And
medal
I think
ceremony.
more than her medal, it was her story.
Haan.
I think she also fought it in the. She wasn't selected first. She fought the case in the court, and then there was a verdict in favor of her.
हाँ
That's how
कुछ.
she was able to make it to the Commonwealth
Yeah,
Games.
I
ऐसा
think
कुछ.
कुछ तो था ऐसा जॉन का था. And John was high on her कि maybe she can gold. And she was close to it. But ठीक है. I think judo was fine. जितना देखा it was enjoyable. सुशीला देवी का नाम पहले भी सुना हुआ है. So I think she has a CWG silver already. And she got another silver. क्या हुआ? क्या हुआ? Court case. Her coach
नहीं
fought.
नहीं.
तो
I don't know. Someone is saying Weber, please discuss
हाँ.
cricket, and Weber hates cricket. I don't
हाँ.
hate cricket. I just don't watch it.
ठीक है,
तभी
क्रिकेट पे भी
हंसता
आते
था.
हैं. क्रिकेट पे
हाँ
भी
ठीक
आते
है.
हैं. And yeah, Vijay Kumar got a bronze, which was fine. Deepak, I think, was also reasonably close, but ठीक है. By the way, judo में if nobody watches this, 0-10 is not the end of the world. Huh? 0-10 is not 10-0. I'm just saying that. That's not how
Hmm.
judo works.
I must say, Kapil, like every single sport, you're hands on with the rules and everything. Like
So everybody has.
judo, I, I wouldn't have watched judo outside of Olympics, kabhi bhi. Or Olympics, maybe it's very difficult to understand the technicalities of judo unless you read about it.
यार गूगल मारने में 1 मिनट लगता है. जूडो का पता है सिंपल रूल है. यू थ्रो योर अपोनेंट ऑन द बैक, यू गेट एन इपॉन विच इज अ फुल पॉइंट, यू विन द मैच. एंड ऑफ स्टोरी. You throw your opponent on the side or on the stomach, you get half a point. Khatam. It's over.
Yeah, you're making it sound easy, but I'm sure it won't be that easy.
It is. Throw
चलो
him on
ठीक
the
है.
throw him
Okay,
on the
okay,
back, you
move
get a
on.
full point. End of story. पढ़ो तो कुछ नहीं है बट ठीक है. ठीक है. एनीवेज बाय द वे क्रिकेट मेंशन किया तो चलो क्रिकेट ही कर ले नेक्स्ट. तूने
हाँ.
कुछ देखा 3-4 ओवर कितना देखा?
हाँ, थोड़ा बहुत फाइनल देखा था.
हम्म.
और आई थिंक सेमीफाइनल इंग्लैंड के अगेंस्ट था ना.
हम्म.
वो देखा था थोड़ा बहुत, बट ऐसे लाइक यूजुअली जस्ट कैजुअली फॉलोइंग ऑन ट्विटर ओनली, नथिंग एल्स. ऑस्ट्रेलिया का मेरे को मतलब पता चला दैट वी वर एट अ वेरी कॉम्प्रीहेंसिवली विनेबल पोजिशन, बट वी लॉस्ट इट फ्रॉम देयर. पूरा मिडिल ऑर्डर टूट गया ना आफ्टर हरमन लॉस्ट हर विकेट.
हाँ आई थिंक कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव थोड़ा ज़्यादा है बट या आई मीन क्रिकेट वॉज बिटर स्वीट फॉर मी. इट वॉज लाइक हाउ डिड वी विन अगेंस्ट इंग्लैंड. somehow हम लोग ने इंग्लैंड के सामने निकाल दिया which looked like a gone match, and then the exact opposite happened against Australia where it looked like our match and we somehow gave it away. So it was sort of a bittersweet. England का match obviously, the way we took it out that was great. Couple of overs in the end. I think there was a दीप्ति शर्मा का हुआ था एक शायद स्नेह राणा का था या किसी और का था. I'm not sure. But there were a couple of overs in the end where we gave like only 3 runs or 4 runs, which is great in T20. And honestly, we somehow pulled that off. It was not a match we should have won. And then Australia match was again the opposite, where we should not have lost that. Australia match, I will say this: a lot of people think we were in a completely this winnable position, and it was जैसे तू बोल रहा है comprehensive position.
क्योंकि मैंने तो फ्रॉम व्हाट आई कुड रीड फ्रॉम ट्विटर, सो सारे यही थे, एक्सपेक्टेड ही था कि हाँ जीत जाएंगे इस बारी तो.
हाँ सो आई विल जस्ट से कि मतलब वी लॉस्ट 2 wickets अर्ली, स्मृति एंड शेफाली. उसके बाद हरमनप्रीत एंड जेमिमा हैड अ वेरी बिग पार्टनरशिप विच लुक लाइक विनिंग अस द मैच. बट द पॉइंट इज मुझे राइट थ्रू द मैच ये लगा था कि यहाँ पे एक विकेट गई एंड वी आर इन ट्रबल बिकॉज सिलेक्शन इज अ प्रॉब्लम. वुमेन्स क्रिकेट में आई थिंक सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम is सिलेक्शन. We are playing T20 with like 6 bowlers plus Harmanpreet plus even Shefali bowls now. So you have 8 bowlers and
So
then you
she
have only.
does she started bowling as well.
Yeah, Shefali started bowling as well. 1 or 2 overs.
Like a spin or what?
Spinner. Off
Hmm.
spin. Off spin, I think.
Hmm.
So he started bowling a little bit.
Similar to सहवाग.
हाँ हाँ एकदम एकदम वैसे ही.
बैटिंग स्टाइल भी उसी से कंपेयर करते हैं ना.
I think she has also said कि her idol was Sehwag.
हाँ हाँ ओके.
Whether she has नहीं Harman has said. Okay, Harman had really said कि idol was Sehwag. I'm not too sure Shefali ने भी बोला है कि नहीं. But yeah, batting style वैसी सी ही है.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't see the point of taking you're taking 6 bowlers. You have Harmanpreet and Shefali as well. Plus you're taking Tania Bhatia as well, who's just a pure keeper. And I don't think even the keeping is like that out of the world that she deserves a place. So I think honestly you have to blame the team selection here. Team selection यहाँ पे बहुत बड़ा problem है. And hopefully we need to improve. लेकिन nobody cares. Even 15 के selection में अभी वापस there has been some chopping and changing. और Vinayak, for example, on Twitter he keeps crying कि there's never any explanation, never any reasons given कि why
For
this
the
player
squad selection.
why this player was picked, why this player was not picked. And so it's yeah, for me it was about the selection. And honestly I do feel whether it's a case of Ramesh Pawar, because he's a bowler, so he likes to pack the team with maybe bowlers. He likes his bowling sorted, so he needs like 6 players out there and 6 bowlers plus हरमन भी चाहिए, शेफाली भी चाहिए, प्लस हमको विकेट कीपिंग में भी तानिया चाहिए कि कुछ कैट ड्रॉप नहीं होना चाहिए. बैटिंग की लग गई है उस चक्कर में. I mean, you have Pooja Vastrakar and Deepti coming at 5 and 6, which is fine, but they are both bowlers who can bat. So we missed a batsman. और मुझे फुल टाइम फाइनल में वही लग रहा था कि जेमिमा एंड हरमन आर प्लेइंग, लेकिन एक विकेट जाते से यहाँ पे 1 सेकंड में पूरा उड़ सकता है, which is unfortunately what happened. And the other thing I think, I don't know अगर तुझे मालूम है, do you know the Yastika Bhatia situation in the final?
I keep on reading about her. But I don't know what the exact situation is. अभी भी उसका कुछ तो world champion, the upcoming tournament which is there, she hasn't been selected, right?
Yeah, so I'll tell you हुआ क्या. First of all, final में what happened कि the wicket keeper was Tania, okay, who is a pure wicket keeper. She can bat, maybe if she gets lucky she can hit a 4 or something, but she's mainly a wicket keeper.
Okay.
She got a concussion. So now cricket में they allow concussion substitutes.
Okay.
So Yastika was
Substitute for batting.
Substitute into the 11. So it's a safety thing कि concussion वाले को हमको खिलाना नहीं है. If we don't allow substitute, then the concussed player will continue playing, and that's dangerous to life. So this is a full cricket rule, not just women's cricket rule. It's a men's cricket, women's cricket rule.
Okay.
And it has been controversial as well.
Okay.
कि substitute आ जाता है, and the substitute
काफी recently introduced हुआ होगा.
Couple of years, maybe a year and a half, couple of years. Pre-COVID. It's pre-COVID. It's not post-COVID. So, but it's a reasonably recent rule, and it has been controversial as well. But Tania got a concussion. She kept after that. Okay. So she got hit on the head somewhere in the middle of the innings. उसके बाद she continued keeping, but then they diagnosed her कि she has a concussion. So she was substituted in with Yastika Bhatia. Okay. Now Yastika Bhatia is a much better batsman. Yastika Bhatia is a batsman who can keep, or a batter who can keep. Okay. So now she can, because she came in with for Tania Bhatia, because officially both are keepers. So she came in, but Yastika Bhatia was not sent in till number 9. Now I have no idea why. मतलब the only explanation I have is कि Indians tried to be goody two shoes here. कि यस्तिका को भेजना अनफेयर है, इसलिए हम नहीं भेजेंगे, हम उसके बिना ही जीतेंगे. That is the only explanation I have. I have no other explanation. I'm serious. It is ridiculous that she came in at number 9. उसको अगर भेज दिया.
No, but why would they feel that ways? I mean, it's Commonwealth
because she's a much better than Tania. So and it's, you can say it's unfair. Yastika आके अगर, and Tania kept keeping, right? She got hit in the middle of the innings, but she completed the keeping. And then end में Yastika आई. So I don't know if there was something over there where they said कि we don't want to do unfair things and we don't want to do anything. But Yastika should have come. She came in at number 9 when it was too late. And I think that मतलब ठीक है, maybe आके वो out हो जाती. You don't know. They might tell you an explanation कि well, okay, she was not prepared. She was not in the 11. उसको अचानक है ना रिजर्व से बोला कि जल्दी से ना तू कपड़े पहन के आ. So maybe she was not prepared. That's why we didn't want to risk her. They can say all that, but it was ridiculous for me. And I am surprised not many people have talked about it. That was for me the most ridiculous thing that they sent her in that number 9. उसको ऊपर
Yeah.
भेजा होता तो it could have been different.
Also, this COVID positive Aussie player,
हाँ
no, she was allowed to play.
हाँ ठीक है, but अब उसके बारे में यार क्या बोल सकते हैं?
Unfair, no, unfair.
But that is the
Unfair,
rules, right?
that's a matter of fact, right?
No, but you are saying unfair if let's say it was an Indian and she would have not been allowed. But it was the Birmingham authorities that decided, right? उनके rules के हिसाब से she was okay. She was okay.
No, but then on the field itself, it's pretty hypocrisy, right? She's allowed on the field, but she's told to sit in the stand isolated. How
Yeah.
does that even make sense?
So they basically determined that she's not contagious enough. I'm not supporting it. It was definitely weird. But then COVID में बहुत कुछ हुआ है यार. COVID में you remember साइना नेहवाल भी एक बार जाके बैडमिंटन पे पॉजिटिव हुई थी. Then they allowed her to play because they said कि the
Hmm.
positive is a residual positive because she had COVID earlier. COVID में सब कुछ हुआ
Hmm.
है, right? COVID में क्या नहीं हुआ है?
हाँ, वो थोड़ा सा it came at the back of that hockey controversy as well, right? जिसमें ये तब भी ऑस्ट्रेलिया इन्वॉल्व था.
या इसलिए
So
बट आई डोंट
it
थिंक इट वाज
added
ऑस्ट्रेलियाज
on
फॉल्ट.
to that.
या बट दोनों ही बात में इट
It
वाजंट
wasn't
ऑस्ट्रेलियाज फॉल्ट.
Australia's fault, but generally the perception is because it's Australia, it happened. It was allowed to happen.
Yeah, but I don't buy with that angle. I think it is what it is. Yeah, it is definitely weird that you're allowing a COVID positive player to play. But yeah, I don't think let's say अगर वो ऑस्ट्रेलियन की जगह इंडियन होती तो भी they would have had the same rules. I don't think the rules were applied unfairly because she was an Australian. That's just my opinion.
Mm. By the way, I realized during Commonwealth Games that probably cricket is one sport which actually sort of signifies the Commonwealth
Yeah,
more than any other sport, right?
yeah, I have known
Like
that for a long
all
time.
the countries that, yeah, you have known that, and I just realized during the Commonwealth Games, every single country that plays cricket is a Commonwealth country,
Yeah, I realized that in
right?
1998.
But then where the hell were they all this while and not included cricket before these Commonwealth Games? If that's the case,
Acha, if you
don't
want
you
to
make it
know,
one?
no, so if you want to know, I'll tell
Hmm.
you where they were.
As in?
So cricket was added to Commonwealth Games in 1998, Kuala Lumpur. Okay, men's cricket. तब women's cricket नहीं था. मतलब it was not added. Men's cricket was added. Nobody sent a full team. Only Australia sent a full team. South
Hmm.
Africa sent a half team. India sent a half team. Number of other teams sent in A teams. Okay, and the biggest thing that happened then was BCCI और IOA में झगड़ा हो गया कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स पे. So basically, because it clashed with an India versus Pakistan Sahara Cup. So India
Hmm.
versus Pakistan की सीरीज simultaneously थी. BCCI wanted to send their team to India versus Pakistan and send a team to Commonwealth Games. IOA बोला ये क्या बकवास है.
चलो ठीक है, वो तो इंडिया की साइड से झगड़ा है,
बट
बट
क्रिकेट
वाइड
इंडिया पे ही चलता है.
कॉमनवेल्थ.
क्रिकेट इंडिया पे ही चलता
अरे
है.
अब चलता है ना, ऐसा तो नहीं है कि बहुत सारे सालों से चल रहा है.
हाँ बहुत
और
सारे सालों से चल रहा है.
अल्टीमेटली कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स फेडरेशन हैज द फाइनल से, राइट?
Yeah, so basically the 98 tournament didn't work, right? Because nobody sent their full teams eventually. इंडिया का
Probably
तो झगड़ा हो गया.
what was the format
वनडे
adopted 98
वनडे
में? One
वनडे
day,
वनडे
50 over.
हाँ.
हाँ, so वो भी है ना थोड़ा कि T20 also became popular in the previous decade.
हाँ तो वो फिर धीरे धीरे आया ना. बट देन इन द प्रीवियस डेकेड द प्रॉब्लम हैज बीन बीसीसीआई. दे डोंट वांट इट. Commonwealth, by the way, I'll tell you this also. Cricket has happened in I think Commonwealth में एक बार हुआ है. It has happened and India didn't send a team, not even a women's team. And Asian में तो 2 या 3 बार हो गया है कि एशियन में women's cricket has been held. India has not sent teams, not even sent a team,
Okay,
because they have a
okay.
fight with the IOA. And by the way, on the topic, so there was a lot of discussion that cricket is not an Olympic sport. I will just say cricket has a great chance to make it to 2028. LA 2028 की list आ गई है. Go and see. LA has short.
Optional में है ना?
हाँ, so LA has shortlisted something like 9 sports as optional sports. जिसमें से one of them is cricket. And there
Both
is,
men's and women's.
yeah, Olympics में I think जाएगा तो दोनों
ओलंपिक्स
जाएगा.
में तो हाँ, वो जेंडर
हाँ,
इक्वालिटी का काफी स्ट्रांग
yeah,
है इस
दोनों
बार.
जाएगा. So they have shortlisted some 9 or 10 sports which are
Squash included, I think.
yeah, squash is there, baseball is there, cricket is there. एक उनका flag football है which is a version of American football. There's karate as well. So there are
Karate as
so there are
karate was in Japan also.
karate was in Japan, not there in Paris, and then in optional for LA. Anyway, so I was saying they have shortlisted 9 or 10, okay, and 9 or 10 may there is no limit on how many they can add, so they can even
Mm-hmm.
add all the 9 if they want to, or all the 10 if they want to.
Okay.
So cricket has a really high chance of getting it because eventually cricket में पैसा बहुत है, and
Mm.
BCCI has come around to getting cricket in the Olympics mainly because our recent players like Kohli and all have said that they want to play in the Olympics.
Okay. On record, they've said it.
अंदर की खबरें हैं, रिकॉर्ड में थोड़ा बहुत हिंट विंट दिया होगा, नॉट एकदम ओपनली आके, बट दैट्स हाउ इट इज.
Okay.
बट वो अंदर की खबरें हैं कि द प्लेयर्स हैव सेड कि दे वांट टू प्ले, बट
Mm.
बीसीसीआई हैज चेंज. एक बीसीसीआई का लफड़ा था, बाय द वे इंग्लैंड का भी लफड़ा था पहले, क्योंकि इंग्लैंड का भी प्रॉब्लम ये था कि दे आर डोमेस्टिक सीजन क्लैशेस विद द ओलंपिक्स, सो दैट्स व्हाई इंग्लैंड आल्सो डिडंट वांट क्रिकेट इन द ओलंपिक्स, बट दे हैव आल्सो
Mm-hmm.
कम अराउंड कि 2 हफ्ता
Okay.
हम संभाल लेंगे. सो नाउ यू विल हैव टू स्टार्ट वाचिंग क्रिकेट, ओलंपिक्स में आने वाला है.
लेट्स सी, पहले आ जाए उसके बाद देखते
उसके
हैं.
बाद तू देखेगा पक्का.
तब की तब देखते हैं ना. आई
आ
डोंट थिंक आने वाला है.
ठीक है, आ जाएगा तब देख लेना. आई नीड समबडी टू
हाँ.
टॉक टू. यहाँ पे स्ट्रीम पे एटलीस्ट मैं ही बोलता रहता हूँ, तू भी बात कर थोड़ी क्रिकेट की यार.
ठीक है. Enough of cricket now. Let's come back to the main sport, athletics.
हम्म,
Like it's been the highlight of Commonwealth Games and we have skipped it totally.
ठीक है. यू वांट टू कीप इट फॉर द एंड बाय द वे, चाहिए तो जल्दी से दूसरी खत्म कर सकते हैं, वी डोंट हैव मच लेफ्ट.
एथलेटिक्स का करके फिर जो भी बाद में
चल ठीक
बचेगा,
है,
लेट्स
बोल
क्विकली
एथलेटिक्स.
टच अपॉन
या
दैट,
बिकॉज
राइट?
वी आर ओवर
वी हैव
टाइम.
एनीवेज क्रॉस्ड. या
हाँ, वी आर ओवर टाइम, चल तो एथलेटिक्स बोल ले. बिगेस्ट सरप्राइज या.
एथलेटिक्स का आई डोंट थिंक इट्स अ सरप्राइज, बिकॉज इफ यू ब्रेक आउट इवेंट वाइज, तो इतना ज्यादा सरप्राइजिंग कोई एक पर्टिकुलर इवेंट नहीं था, राइट? हमने
आई कैन
व्हाट
काउंट
वी
3 एटलीस्ट विच वर
यू कैन
एटलीस्ट.
काउंट 3 बिकॉज वी नेवर डिस्कस रेस वॉकिंग एक्चुअली, है
या
ना?
बट
रेस वॉकिंग केम आउट एज अ सरप्राइज, उसमें 2 मेडल्स आए, सो दैट वाज वन थिंग.
बट
बट
रेस वॉकिंग
मेजरली
में
जो
दोनों
था,
के पीबी हैं एंड बिग पीबीज.
पीबी है, बट 10,000 is something that is not very well covered, and these guys don't participate in 10,000. Usually it's 20,000 in World Championship Olympics, right? So there was a touch of unpredictability always there 10,000 में. So race walking, put keeping that aside, उसमें ठीक है, 2 मेडल्स आए, that's a bonus. But then again, जो हमने डिस्कस किया था बिफोर कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स, it almost played to the script as per me.
नॉट हाई जंप. हाई जंप में यूएच सेट के तेजस्विन नहीं होने वाला है.
नहीं नहीं,
अनुरानी
so
ऑल्सो
I
नहीं था.
I I never said high jump में नहीं होने वाला. I said Tejaswin has a very high
आउटसाइड
level of
चांस,
competition.
सेम थिंग ना. सो मेडल
Outside
वाज.
chance की बात ही नहीं हुई थी. The competition was high, but eventually that competition didn't turn up, and Tejaswin did turn up.
दे डिडंट
तो
टर्न
उस
अप,
वजह
मतलब
से
दे डिडंट डू वेल और दे डिडंट
they
शो अप
didn't
ऑन.
do well. They
हाँ,
don't do well.
दे डिड शो अप या.
Because obviously on papers only you can talk about, right? They've
हम्म.
had almost equal or better PBs, SBs than Tejaswin.
हम्म.
ठीक है. So based on that, Tejaswin did have a good competition, but I never said कि he never had a medal chance. There was always a medal chance outside, or uh, one of the medal contender that ways. तो तेजस्विन का ब्रॉन्ज आना, या इवन इफ यू कंसीडर इट्स अ बोनस, तो दैट वाज आल्सो इट्स ग्रेट.
बट फिर
बट
कितने बोनस हो गए? 20 किलोमीटर वॉक के दोनों बोनस हो गए.
वो तो मैं
तेजस्विन का हो
कंसीडर ही नहीं
गया.
कर रहा ना. 10,000 का, दैट्स व्हाट आई एम सेइंग. सी,
ट्वेंटी
तभी
नहीं,
मैंने
10 किलोमीटर वॉक, हाँ सॉरी.
स्ट्रीम के स्टार्टिंग में ही बोला कि माय पर्सपेक्टिव वाज ओनली टू लुक फ्रॉम अ ओलंपिक स्टैंड पॉइंट. ठीक
ओके.
है. आई डिडंट केयर मच अबाउट 10,000. ठीक है, इट्स अ फील गुड फैक्टर. दे वन द मेडल्स इन बोथ 10,000 मीटर. We don't know what the competition was in the race walk. We don't know how our own athletes were, in the 10,000 meter walk. So how do you even analyze or comment on it or bring any sort of insights? तो वो तो इसलिए don't want to talk about that. It's just that कि हाँ, that was a good medal. आया, बहुत अच्छी बात है. मेडल टैली हमारी बड़ी. गुड फॉर बोथ द रेस वॉकर्स. थोड़ा सा वो मोमेंटम बढ़ेगा रेस वॉकिंग में. एनीवेज, it's one of the focus sport for us within the track and field. There's a lot of investment which goes in. रेस वॉकिंग पे हमेशा रहता ही है. हमारे एथलीट्स रेस वॉकिंग में क्वालिफाई भी कर जाते हैं मोर ऑफन देन नॉट इन द ओलंपिक्स, एंड उनसे हमेशा एक्सपेक्टेशंस रहती हैं. बट वो ओलंपिक्स में समहाउ जाके थोड़ा सा फॉल्टर कर जाते हैं. मे बी दिस सॉर्ट ऑफ builds that momentum कि थोड़ा सा कॉन्फिडेंस देगा उनको कि हाँ they can perform at slightly bigger stage.
Nee, so I'll just
That's the
add,
only.
yeah, so I'll just add to it कि I saw the races and even the
Hmm.
commentators weren't really giving the Indians any chance. So मतलब they were, both of them were not really on the radar. ठीक है, I agree with you. The वो एक factor था कि 10 kilometer walk is not a very common event, so they don't participate so much in that. So maybe their PBs were a little misleading over there. But still, I mean, संदीप कुमार का PB I think was way below, even way below than अमित खत्री जो मैंने
Yeah.
देखा था. So
Yep.
for
No, but
me,
the जब हमने तो डिस्कस ही नहीं किया था ना, वी
नहीं नहीं
नेवर
that,
टच्ड अपॉन रेस वॉक.
yeah,
सो
but
कोई
I,
लेवल ऑफ एक्सपेक्टेशन थी नहीं वो तो.
yeah, but then मेरी expectation वहाँ पे होती है कि कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. That's my expectation.
ओह ओके.
So at least I was definitely surprised, and even I think except for maybe the women's discuss, जिधर भी थोड़ा भी chance था, we sort of got a medal. We weren't sure about any medal, right? Even Sri Shankar, we weren't 100% sure कि medal मिलने वाला है. ठीक है, बिकॉज दैट जैसे नीरज होता, सो नीरज में वी वुड हैव सेड के 100% उसको मिलेगा, मिलता नहीं मिलता इट्स अ डिफरेंट सिचुएशन, बट नीरज होता वी वुड हैव सेड कि 100% इज गेटिंग अ मेडल.
मिलता हाँ.
श्रीशंकर से वी हैड
हाँ,
होप्स,
दैट
ट्रिपल
वेज
जंपर्स
यस.
से वी हैड
मतलब वो
होप्स.
थोड़ा सा स्केप्टिसिज्म था कि एथलेटिक्स में पता नहीं वो, बिकॉज द वे वी हैव सीन आवर एथलीट्स स्पेशली इन ट्रैक एंड फील्ड इज they don't produce their best at these highest levels, right? पिछले 3-4 सालों से करने लगे हैं, and that momentum was visible in this in these Commonwealth Games also. तो इस तरीके से वो मेडल्स आ गए कि ट्रिपल जंप में भी
गोल्डन सिल्वर एंड
हाँ
फोर्थ.
गोल्डन सिल्वर आया बिकॉज दे वर एबल टू ब्रीच दैट 17 मीटर.
बट दैट्स
एज
द
सिंपल एज दैट.
बट दैट्स द मेन पॉइंट ना, दे ब्रॉट इट. वी डोंट
They brought
एक्सपेक्ट.
it, that's what. मतलब we don't expect because previously this has been the case, but
एग्जैक्टली, हाँ.
तब भी हमने यही बात की थी कि हाँ डोमेस्टिकली कर रहे हैं, एक्सपोजर नहीं है, लिटिल बिट ऑफ अनप्रिडिक्टेबिलिटी इज देयर. बट फॉर लास्ट 3-4 years अगर देखेंगे तो these guys have been able to come up. जैसे लास्ट कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स में भी मोहम्मद अनास क्रिएटेड दैट नेशनल रिकॉर्ड, हीमा हैड प्रोड्यूस दोज नेशनल रिकॉर्ड्स. तो वो चीज थी थोड़ा सा कि द मेंस रिले हैड डन रियली वेल. तो कुछ कुछ इवेंट्स ऐसे थे जहाँ पे these guys were able to produce the best performance. तो उस सेंस में आई थिंक ओवरऑल थोड़ा सा ठीक है, एक्सपेक्टेशन से बेटर किया ही है फॉर श्योर. बट इतना ज्यादा ओवरबोर्ड भी नहीं है जैसे एवरीवन इज गोइंग टोटली गंग हो कि हाँ एथलेटिक्स में तो पूरा मतलब टोटली आउट ऑफ द ब्लू एंड नोबडी हैड एक्सपेक्टेड एनी ऑफ इट.
नहीं, सो
इवेंट वाइज इवेंट करोगे तो इट एवरीथिंग डज मेक सेंस.
नहीं, आई टेल यू द डिफरेंस देयर. आई थिंक उसमें डिफरेंस यही है कि पीपल आर गोइंग गंगो अबाउट द मेडल्स. यू आर थिंकिंग के दे आर स्टिल नॉट नॉट ट्रांसलेटिंग टू ओलंपिक्स. सो बोथ द एंगल्स आर करेक्ट. ओके.
No, no, even if you forget about the Olympics, even if you consider event by event, the level was there.
बट
ठीक
लेवल
है.
हैज बीन देयर अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स ना, इट
No,
केम
no,
थ्रू.
it hasn't been. It hasn't been. How we entered triple jump again. We entered with 3 people above 17
बट
and multiple times.
बट पहले
Last
भी किया है.
you compare it. Last time it was Arpinder, just one Arpinder who had done 17 just one time. These are the minute differences I'm talking about.
ठीक है,
Last
ओके.
time long jump Sri Shankar was there. He had touched 8 meter once. He had touched multiple times 8 meter this very season only. So वो मैं बोलना चाह रहा हूँ कि एट अ माइक्रो लेवल इवेंट वाइज वो डिफरेंसेस पिछले टाइम से इसके कंपैरिजन प्रेजेंट के कंपैरिजन में दोज डिफरेंसेस वर देयर.
या ठीक है. आई मीन आई गेट व्हाट यू आर सेइंग. आई एम जस्ट सेइंग आई एम स्टिल excited about it because I was still मतलब even we ended the last stream saying कि ठीक है, you follow athletics more than me, there is no doubt on that, but we also sort of ended the last stream saying कि 3-4 medal आ जाएंगे maybe. We ended up with 8. So even if you remove those two walker events, and walker
या
races I thought they were great races by the way. They need to be counted. We can't just say कि okay we didn't consider them. So that was great, and Anu Rani also got it. मतलब ठीक है, she touched 60. Let's put it. She wasn't able to do at the Olympics. she wasn't able to do it at the world championship. She did touch 60. She got the bronze. तेजस्विन का भी वैसे ही हुआ कि he did close to his best.
तेजस्विन essentially got fortunate because मतलब 222 पे भी अगर ब्रॉन्ज आया है सो
Hmm.
हाँ ठीक है, he did his best no
Hmm.
doubt,
Yeah,
but बाकी लोग नहीं कर पाए.
yeah, I remember कहीं पे मैंने भी पढ़ा था कि I think 2018 में he did 225 and didn't get a medal.
224, yeah, yeah.
224, 225 and didn't get a medal. This time he got it. So
Mm,
that is there also. But ठीक है, वो भी नीरज के बिना we have got 8 medals. I mean, I get what you're saying कि individual event में it's fine, but
mm,
the thing is all the events came through, which itself is impressive.
right.
Athletics में हमेशा कोई ना कोई event तो जाता ही है.
Yeah, no one was a major disappointment.
Exactly. So
Mm,
and I think the only disappointed it was there. ठीक है, women's discus में you can say maybe Seema Until didn't get a fifth medal, but ठीक है, that's what we expected. The fact
yeah,
कि she made
that's
it,
more
it's
like
a
a emotional disappointment, right?
exactly, हाँ,
Considering the form, she never stood a chance.
exactly. The fact that she made it was great. Maybe there were more hopes from Neelam. Neelam maybe could have done a little better there this year.
Neelam in
वो भी hurdles डिस्कस में दूसरी कौन थी? नीलम ही थी ना? नवजीत, सॉरी, नॉट ये.
Navjeet.
हाँ,
हाँ.
so Navjeet maybe could have done a little better,
Hmm.
but ठीक है. I think I was happy with athletics on the whole,
Yeah.
and
मेरे लिए थोड़ा सा ज्योति यारा जी was slightly disappointing. I
hmm,
mean 13-18 is still a pretty decent score if you know just go back 2 years in terms of where India's level stood in 100-meter hurdles.
hmm,
But given the way she had been improving, tournament after tournament,
hmm,
तो you naturally expect कि हाँ Commonwealth Games, the highest level you've been to so far, you produce a personal best, and that I think that's where we spoke about कि 13:04 है अभी, so it'll be great if she can breach that 13 second वाला.
hmm,
आई थिंक वो भी काफी नहीं होता फाइनल में क्वालिफाई करने के लिए, तो बिकॉज फाइनल एंडेड समवेयर एट 1280 1284,
yeah.
but she couldn't do that personal best also, although there was a Australian in her semi-final round. She did a personal best and qualified for final. That's the exact thing I'm talking about.
ठीक है. I mean, okay. She's also young, hopefully.
She's young,
Hmm.
yes.
तो अभी
Yeah.
तू चालू हो जा जिसके लिए तू वेट कर रहा
Avinash.
है.
हाँ यार, अविनाश का तो what it was pretty special, right?
हम्म.
I mean, highlight the
तू चालू हो
main
जा, तू
main
चालू हो जा.
thing for the common. क्या चालू
तू
मतलब?
तू बोल, मैं
I'm
चुप
at a
रहता हूँ.
loss of words here. सही था, काफी बढ़िया था. अविनाश का मैं बोलूंगा किसी ने एंटिसिपेट नहीं किया था, मतलब हमने भी बोला कि आई थिंक this is what we discussed, that he would need something special to break the Kenyans, right? And
And he
that's
got it.
exactly what happened. तो इसलिए आई वाज सुपर रिलेटेड, और लग ही नहीं रहा था यार दिस इज हैपनिंग, बिकॉज इट्स नॉट जस्ट ठीक है ही गॉट बेटर ऑफ अ कपल ऑफ कीनियंस, ठीक है, यू आर डीलिंग विद दैट सरप्राइज, एंड देन दैट लास्ट 100 meter of stretch, he is going toe to toe with the Kenyan who eventually won gold.
Hmm.
I think that was the main thing. Matlab, he had it in him that he can go for the gold all the way, which was great to watch. Absolutely great.
He basically did what a lot of people are saying he should have done at World Championship, right? He took the race
Hmm.
by the scruff of the neck, which is
Yeah,
like,
he himself admitted to
hmm,
it. कि His strategy went haywire in World Championship.
hmm,
उसको लगा कि last में the slow speed he'll be able to cover it up, but he wasn't able to do it. So this time he just went with his own strategy.
hmm. I was surprised that the Kenyans couldn't keep up to it. मतलब मेरा हमेशा theory ये था
Yeah, me too.
कि if he goes faster, the Kenyans can also go faster, but they couldn't do it, huh? Maybe
They couldn't.
maybe they were feeling a little fatigue from World Championship. I
Mm.
think especially their best one eventually didn't medal, right? I don't remember the name, but उनका जो best था, I think he ended up he faded out in the last lap.
Yeah, yeah. No, no. I think he won bronze. Kiprop. He's a Rio Olympic champion.
He's the best
3000
one, क्या? कि
steeplechase में.
the other one who
He
faded out.
used to be the best one. मतलब
हाँ.
Kiprop I know जिसने bronze जीता ना.
Hmm.
He is the Rio Olympic champion 3000. Before the likes of Girma and El Bakali came in,
Hmm.
it was Kiprop.
Okay.
तो उसको जब उसने एक्सेलरेट किया, आई थिंक हुआ ये था कि जो लास्ट वाली उसकी वाटर जंप थी,
Hmm.
that is where while he was jumping he accelerated, right? तो वहाँ पे एक कीनियन को तो तब सरपास किया, उसके बाद
हम्म,
दूसरे कीनियन को वहां से सरपास किया, दैट वाज किप्रो।
अच्छा और
और
ये
जो इवेंचुअली गोल्ड जीता, आई थिंक दैट्स द बेस्ट कीनियन
नहीं नहीं नहीं
रनर।
नहीं देख मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ किप्रूतो फिनिश सिक्स्थ द ब्रॉन्ज इज सेरेम
अच्छा।
मैं वही
एंड
बोल रहा हूँ
किप्रुतो इज द किप्रोप, और किप्रुतो इज द गाय हु वन
या
रियो।
देख कॉमनवेल्थ रिकॉर्ड किप्रूतो का है गेम्स रिकॉर्ड किप्रूतो का है
ओके।
मतलब ठीक है दीज आर डिफरेंट किप्रूतो जाएंगे आई डोंट नो
आई
ब्रेंडन
डोंट नो।
किप्रूतो एंड
या।
कंसेलिस बट ठीक है गेम्स रिकॉर्ड तो ये कंसेलिस किप्रूतो आई थिंक ही इज द गाय कंसेलिस
ओके।
किप्रूतो
हाँ, मतलब लाइव में तो ऐसे ही लगा कि ही सरपास्ड किप्रुतो आफ्टर ही हैड सरपास्ड द अदर कीनियन।
ठीक है आई एम नॉट टू श्योर
Anyways, but yeah, it was pretty special. Matlab, the way he carried out throughout the race, and yeah, big things expected from him, right? थोड़ा सा भी और improvement होता है, so he's definitely up there among the elite of the steeplechasers right now.
बट टाइमिंग वाइज अभी भी बहुत चाहिए ना मतलब टाइमिंग वाइज ही नीड्स टू गो सब 8 राइट व्हिच इज स्टिल 11 seconds
Sub 8, but they don't मतलब there a lot of things have to come together, right? Sub 8 जाने वाले भी कितने, दो तीन ही है maximum, and sub 8 very rarely it happens, right? very rarely.
ओके
So level ठीक है, सब 8 वाला नहीं है, ठीक है, but if the race is somewhere around थोड़ा सा slightly at a slower pace, तो you can expect.
Raghav is asking can he get to 808 till Olympics तेरा prediction 808 तो आई
अब
थिंक कर ही सकता है
ऐसे, see
दो
it's very
साल
difficult to predict these things in sport, right? मतलब पता थोड़ी ना चलता है।
नहीं मतलब ठीक है मस्ती कर
Like
रहे
he's
हैं
been improving already
आई
इतना ज़्यादा, but you can't predict
थिंक
कि
808 he
808
can
करेगा।
make in a couple of years yeah
I hope he does. Yeah.
या बट सूर्यांग डोंट जस्ट कंपेयर दैट विद द गोल्ड मतलब पॉइंट वही है कि पेरिस ये स्टीपल चेस में हम लोग पहले भी बात कर चुके हैं इट्स अ वेरी टैक्टिकल रेस द टाइमिंग्स गो रियली हेवायर वर्ल्ड
Hmm.
चैंपियनशिप का गोल्ड वाज लाइक 825 जस्ट फ्यू डेज बैक
Hmm.
so don't compare it that way but yeah can he do 808 maybe but don't compare it that way
Yeah, yeah. I was very disappointed when I saw Avin. So Paris में, I think we spoke about it, right? Paris में Avinash's event clashes directly with Mira's event.
मेरा भाई yeah.
So anyone who is planning to go to Paris and watch it, they'll have to pick one of those events, which is very disappointing.
unless last time की तरह we can figure out somewhere भागने का यहाँ से
हाँ, मतलब वो कंसीवेबल है, 20 मिनट्स का डिफरेंस है, बट
ओ 20 मिनट्स
स्टिल
में कुछ नहीं होने वाला
20 minutes is 1 hour in Olympics, right?
हाँ so 20 minutes nothing we were last time thinking about shooting and Mirabai right लेकिन there were like 1.5 hour gap there तो
Yeah,
उसमें टाइट फाइट हो रहा था but ठीक है
yeah, yeah.
you want to mention Shri Shankar quickly missed out on the gold by a
Yeah, I think he was
black mark
unlucky थोड़ा सा।
थोड़ा unlucky हाँ
हाँ, थोड़ा सा अनलकी इन टर्म्स ऑफ वो 0.1 सेंटीमीटर का डिफरेंस रहा, एंड थोड़ा सा अनलकी फॉर हिज फाउल ऑल्सो।
या
तो
0.1 का डिफरेंस था तो टाइट था 0.1 का डिफरेंस था ही नहीं
टाइट था,
फाउल थे
अच्छा,
हाँ
सॉरी सॉरी सॉरी, यहाँ टाइट था वो, काउंट बैक पे देन ही लॉस्ट
हाँ काउंट
द
बैक पे
गोल्ड।
लॉस या बट
या
आई थिंक फर्स्ट मेजर मेडल फॉर मुरली श्री शंकर राइट he has got something before
Yeah, first major.
so
In first major also that he's actually surpassed eight. So मतलब उस he's produced 8+ meter jumps so many times. Just that my only complaint from him was he's not able to do that in the major championship. So
लेकिन
world championship में then he did exactly 8 meters. Qualification में किया वो भी.
हाँ
Final में he couldn't do it.
7-9 था ना कुछ 790 समथिंग
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So वही है ना, for Sri Shankar I think it's the best time to be a long jumper because the world level of world uh, as in world level, the highest level that is there has come down. So it's
या
only Mitroglou of Greece who surpasses 830 or 840. Everyone is 830, 840, and world championship gold भी you would have seen went at 835, 837.
आई थिंक श्री शंकर के में ही हुआ था क्या some Chinese came out of nowhere and won it on the
Yeah,
last
yeah,
jump
yeah, yeah, yeah.
हाँ
So वही था 837 या इतना कुछ था. So within all within his reach. क्योंकि लॉन्ग जंप का फील्ड इस टाइम probably the lowest it has been for some years.
Okay.
So that's one opportunity he needs to capitalize. इतना बोल सकते हैं कि उसका base level is 8 now. You can say that.
Hmm.
काफी बार 8 तो प्रोड्यूस कर ही चुके हैं अब.
Hmm.
थोड़ा सा हायर सीलिंग है 836 की, जहाँ पे उसको कंसिस्टेंट होने की जरूरत है.
Similar to like नीरज, right? नीरज का भी एक्सपेक्ट कि 85 तो कर ही लेगा. So we have to get to
हम्म.
मुरली के भैया 8 तो कर ही लेगा, तो उसके आगे तो क्या
यस.
रह जाता है.
यस.
Hmm.
एग्जैक्टली. यस.
ठीक है, let's see. I think for most of these guys it's the first major medal, right? तेजस्विन का भी पहला है, मुरली, अब्दुल्ला, एल्डोस,
एवरीवन. एवरीवन.
सबका पहला है. से अविनाश का मे भी एक आधा होगा, यू कैन से. एशियन में डेफिनेटली एक होगा.
मेजर नहीं है. मेजर नहीं है अविनाश का भी. जस्ट दैट ही वाज ऑन अ नेशनल रिकॉर्ड ब्रेकिंग स्प्री. मेजर मेडल पहला ही है.
Yeah, so good. You want to talk quickly about javelin? Chat में एक ही क्वेश्चन है.
जैवलिन का आई थिंक वही था, एक्सपेक्टेड लाइंस पे ही था.
अरे कम ऑन,
दोनों ने.
90 एक्सपेक्टेड बिल्कुल नहीं था.
अरे मैं इंडियन पर्सपेक्टिव से बात कर
नहीं
रहा
तो
हूँ भाई.
मैं इंडियन पर्सपेक्टिव से नहीं पूछ रहा हूँ ना, मैं क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा हूँ
हाँ, यू आर
जैवलिन
आस्किंग
का.
अबाउट नदीम. वो तो
हाँ.
क्रेजी था. Look, I honestly wouldn't read too much into it unless I see him repeating the same thing in one or two more events
Apparently he did 88 in Islamic Solidarity Games as well.
after Commonwealth
Yep.
Games. Seriously,
Yep.
with that
Somebody said.
broken arm.
Somebody said. Yeah. Somebody saying, I have not seen, but somebody said.
Okay,
I know
okay.
Islamic Solidarity happened after CWG, and
Let.
he did 88 in that.
ठीक है, अच्छी बात है. But let him produce the same level at a major championship or at a continental championship, and then maybe we can start talking about it. Before that, I won't be talking about it.
But I 88.5 in Islamic Games. KSV बोल रहा है. Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, honestly, ठीक है. I know the normal refrain here, what people think. But I mean, he's a guy who's moved from 86 to 90, right? So it's not like he's come out of nowhere.
86 also was done pretty recently.
But
It
85, 85 तो कर ही रहा था. I think Olympics में
85
भी
कर
किया
रहा
है.
था. हाँ. हाँ,
80, 80,
ओलंपिक्स में 85 किया था.
हाँ. So 85 तो काफी टाइम से कर रहा है. 85, 86 से he came to
85
90
भी
पे.
ओलंपिक्स में भी आई थिंक उसका पीबी ही था व्हेन ही रीच्ड 85.
But around there, ठीक है. 84, 85 बोल
हाँ,
ले. Around there.
मतलब his level was 82 83 and sort of touched 85
नहीं,
एक दो बारी
I
वैसा
think he's done
कुछ.
84, 85. I think World Championship में भी he got 85, 86 something. जो ओरेगन में मैंने
हम्म.
देखा था. So he's been at 85, 86 for a while, and he suddenly went up to 90. 90 now, apne ko it looks a lot more because 90 is something which Neeraj has been chasing. But if you say, for example, 4 meters is not that high, right? If let's say he went from 82 to 86, we would not be talking so much.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's like 4 meter is doable, yeah. It's not impossible. So
हम्म.
I'm not looking at it as much skepticism as most people are looking at it. But ठीक है, time will tell. People I think are more skeptic because of that arm also कि टूटे हुए हाथ से इतना कैसे
Yeah,
कर रहा है.
exactly. He was throwing with an injured arm, no?
But वो कितना injured है, you don't really know.
हाँ, ठीक है. मतलब naturally if he is able to produce this level of performance
Again, हाँ.
again, so yeah, we have a great story and
Yeah, I mean,
like
I
a big
honestly,
rivalry to follow.
मतलब the rivalry for the ages, yeah, I think. And
Yeah.
and a rivalry, ठीक है यार, it can get very easily nasty, but hopefully not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But our guys, I think they also did pretty well. Like if you discount Neeraj,
I think Rohit.
82, 83 for Indian standard also, it wasn't something that you could have thought before Neeraj, right?
Hmm.
So that momentum you can see कि हाँ अभी हमें 82 83 में भी disappointment हो रही है थोड़ी सी because we were hoping for a medal.
वो तो है ही
So
ना
वो
यार
जो
अब.
हम moment वही ना, so that momentum is evident and that level is has increased after Neeraj is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no doubt on that.
Hmm. बाकी ट्रिपल जंप में did you watch it?
Yeah,
How
I
did
watched
you
it. I
did
watched
it
it, and in
did
fact,
it feel something different?
yeah,
Three Indian guys going for medals.
definitely. I mean, I think I was a little worried at the beginning because in look good jumps I think came in the fourth or the fifth jumps. They came a little different, but yeah, I was getting the feeling यार वापस ये नहीं हो जाए कि सिल्वर ब्रॉन्ज रह जाए और गोल्ड नहीं मिले. That was the feeling I was getting.
Yeah,
I don't want
same.
that situation. But yeah, then they both brought it out. Huh? Both of them brought it out, and even
Yeah,
Praveen was not far off at all.
he wasn't. Yeah,
और मैं
I
देखा
think
था
उसका भी अच्छा jump था एक, but it got fouled.
और मैं देखा था आई थिंक राइट फ्रॉम 1 to 6 या 1 to 7 they were all very close within like 20 centimeters or something. मैं
Hmm.
इनफैक्ट आई थिंक एक ट्वीट मारने वाला था कि यार हाउ कैन इट बी सो क्लोज जैसे इवन इफ यू सी एल्डोस एंड अब्दुल्ला इट्स लाइक लिटरली 1 centimeter in between.
1 centimeter. Yeah,
So it was extremely close और मजा आया ट्रिपल जंप देखने में बहुत.
yeah. But
And
वही है मतलब ठीक है, अच्छा लेवल है. 17 क्रॉस करना इज अ बिग डील. बट वर्ल्ड क्लास अगर बनना है तो दिल हैव टू स्टिल जंप 20-30 centimeters more.
या मतलब 70 needs to be the base right जैसे
17 तो बेस है, बट दैट वर्ल्ड क्लास बेस इज 17-30.
नहीं आई एम सेइंग 70 needs to be the base जैसे अपन बोलते थे श्रीशंकर now jumps 8 but can go to 830 so these
Hmm.
guys need to jump like 17 at every event
Yeah.
and then
17 is a given, yes.
yeah which is not there yet but
Which, हाँ, इन लोगों के लिए कम है बिकॉज श्रीशंकर हैज जम्प्ड क्वाइट अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स. इन लोगों का फिर भी 17 दूसरी या तीसरी बार था मैक्सिमम.
या शुभनील सो एल्डोस का विंड असिस्टेंस वाला था जंप 1703 doesn't count as for his records or PBs or whatever but it counts for his gold that's how it
हम्म.
works.
हम्म.
चलो क्या बचा है
कूल.
बहुत आज ऑलमोस्ट 3 घंटे जा चुके हैं जल्दी से हॉकी देखना है हॉकी बचा है और क्या बचा है
हाँ, हॉकी. आई थिंक मेनली हॉकी बचा है बस, और तो
साइकिलिंग
कुछ
बोलना है
नहीं.
कुछ साइकिलिंग आई वाज वेरी डिसअपॉइंटेड आई विल जस्ट से दैट कुछ भी नहीं हुआ
दे डिड वेल राइट. कैसे
नो
हो
दे
सकता था?
डिडंट
ऑस्ट्रेलिया न्यूजीलैंड एंड मलेशिया के अगेंस्ट, कनाडा के अगेंस्ट कैसे कुछ हो सकता था?
यार बट हर
इट
जगह दे वर फाइटिंग टू अवॉइड द लास्ट स्पॉट एटलीस्ट दैट व्हाट आई
अरे
फेल्ट
बट दैट इज देयर लेवल. हाउ कैन दे ओवरनाइटली चेंज द लेवल
नहीं
दैट
बट
दे हैव बीन
आई गेट
प्रोड्यूसिंग
इट बट कम एटलीस्ट टुवर्ड्स द मिडिल मतलब आई फेल्ट इट देयर वाजंट मच इंप्रूवमेंट फ्रॉम लास्ट टाइम दैट्स व्हाट आई
फ्रॉम
फेल्ट
लास्ट टाइम? व्हाट
लास्ट
लास्ट
टाइम
टाइम? लास्ट
2018
कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स?
हाँ
But how do you see the improvement is what matters, right? You would see the improvement in their timings. For
टाइमिंग्स में भी आई
instance,
डोंट थिंक
men's,
ज़्यादा है था
come on, men's sprint team की तुम time देखोगे, you check the time last time if they participated, and you see the timings this time. There's obviously a difference.
ठीक है मे बी इफ यू आर सेइंग ओके
It it didn't show it because they did not surpass that first round, right? So वो इसलिए वो it didn't come to the surface.
I think we had
But other,
talked okay they were looking to break 44 which didn't come
yes,
but they
which
didn't right
नहीं 44 ब्रेक करने का तो नहीं था.
45
इट
का
वाज
था
मोर
क्या
अबाउट कि हाँ 45 ब्रेक करने का था कि वो तो करना ही करना होगा. इफ दे कैन डू समथिंग लाइक 44-5 और 44-6 which would have been better than the Malaysians at least.
हम्म,
मतलब 44 तो सिर्फ ऑस्ट्रेलिया, न्यूजीलैंड एंड परहैप्स कनाडा कैन डू इट, इंग्लैंड कैन डू इट. बाकी तो कोई कर नहीं सकता.
ठीक है चलो
बट वही था, छोटे छोटे स्टेप्स. साइकिलिंग का आई थिंक इट्स इन गुड हैंड्स. द प्रोग्राम इज डूइंग वेल. ग्रेजुअली प्रोग्रेशन होगा, स्लोली. रोनाल्डो क्वालिफाइंग फॉर द राउंड वन रेस इज ऑल्सो a small achievement in itself, right? I
ठीक है
doubt someone has done it before.
yeah I'm not sure ठीक है I mean
Hmm.
you're saying I obviously didn't look at the times I look at mainly the results and I was at least disappointed
हाँ, रिजल्ट्स का तो वैसे ही था. रिजल्ट्स का तो एक्सपेक्टेड ही था कपिल.
नहीं आई थॉट मतलब एटलीस्ट थोड़ा तो लास्ट से बाहर निकलो लेकिन इट वाज लार्जली लास्ट ओनली which was the disappointing part for me but ठीक है
Hmm.
ओके चलो फिर हॉकी जल्दी से ख़त्म करते हैं
Hmm.
हॉकी वुमेन में तो यार अब जो हुआ था हुआ ही था वी नो व्हाट हैपेंड
Hmm.
आई मतलब आई एम द काइंड ऑफ गाय विच ओके यू फील ऑल दीज थिंग्स सेमीफाइनल में जो हुआ बट आई एम ऑल्सो सॉर्ट ऑफ द गाय हु डजंट काइंड एक्स्ट्रापोलेटेड टू दैट लेवल के अगर वो पहला अलग होता तो देन पूरा मेंटल स्टेट अलग है एंड देन द एंटायर शूट आउट गोज डिफरेंटली एंड
Yeah,
ऑल दैट
exactly. Exactly.
yeah it is a valid point but eventually we lost 3-0 so I mean for me
Yeah, because even look, these things keep on happening. It's not happening for the first time. Referee errors, umpire errors होते हैं. It's ultimately it is up to you. How do you know
deal with it
how do you deal with it? How do you
hmm.
basically come to the terms and overcome that,
Hmm.
as
Exactly.
if nothing has happened, and then move on
Yeah,
quickly.
Exactly. So they needed to move on. Matlab, had let's say India lost to Australia, let's say 3-4 or 2-3 or whatever, I would have been seething कि ये क्या बकवास है. But once they lose 0-3, I mean I don't make that connection कि वो एक के वजह से सब गड़बड़ हो गया. I mean you should have
हम्म.
recovered यार.
या वो यही था, इमोशनल क्वोशेंट उनका लो था. That was pretty much visible. Even the coach spoke about it.
Yeah. But ठीक है.
कि
But
they were
even
distorted. They couldn't calm themselves down and stuff.
yeah. But except for the shootout, they did play a brilliant match against Australia. Huh?
They did, yes.
And they even came from behind, right? Australia ने पहला गोल
Hmm.
मारा था. So they even
Hmm.
came from behind, and then after that they even bounced back against New Zealand. मतलब
Yeah.
honestly New Zealand का match they should have ended in 1-0.
Hmm.
Last minute पे goal again, थोड़ा बहुत हो गया, but I didn't have high hopes from the penalty shootout after what happened the previous day. कि it's like गोल कौन करेगा? It's like ठीक है सविता बचा लेगी, but गोल तो कोई करना चाहिए, गोल कोई कर ही नहीं रहा
Yeah.
है. But they brought it in the shootout, and
Yeah,
they
yeah. And everyone keeps on talking about Savita. Obviously, she deserves all the accolades. मतलब ultimately game तो उसी ने last में जिताया.
hmm,
But I thought Navneet का जैसे she was the focal point of the entire team, right?
hmm,
And she stepped up because Rani was not there, and we needed someone to step up on the field.
hmm.
I think मैंने जितना भी थोड़ा बहुत देखा, it was the game was revolving around Navneet only. The way she
Yeah.
was distributing the ball, the way she was opening up the opponent's field, everything was top notch.
बट ये आ गया था इवन बिफोर कॉमनवेल्थ पीपल हैड स्टार्टेड टॉकिंग जो थोड़े बहुत प्रो लीग मैचेस एंड द अदर मैचेस व्हिच हैड हैपेंड दे हैड सेड कि नवनीत हैड स्टेप्ड अप जितना
Yeah,
भी इंडिया ने
good that
किया
she did in Commonwealth Games also then.
तो जितना भी इंडिया के नवनीत एंड इवन सलीमा केम थ्रू आई थिंक शी स्कोर्ड
Hmm.
आल्सो लाइक 2 or 3 goals which was
Hmm.
awesome but
Vandana scored three, I
4
think three or
आई
four.
थिंक वंदना
Hmm.
का 4 है एंड
Hmm.
सलीमा का 3 but I think eventually your prediction was also correct huh? right कि who's going to score the goals which was a problem right through.
Hmm. Yeah, still better than how they did in World Championship, no World Cup, no.
बट वर्ल्ड कप के सामने इवन दी अपोनेंट्स वर टफर राइट यहाँ पे घाना वेल्स
Hmm.
को हरा रहे हैं तो ठीक है
Hmm.
उनके सामने तो वो
मतलब
लाएंगे
उतन
राइट.
हाँ, इस बार भी वो प्रॉब्लम तो थी. दे हैड अ लॉट ऑफ चांसेस बट nobody was able to convert those chances. स्पेशली पीसी वाली प्रॉब्लम तो अभी भी है ही,
एग्जैक्टली
राइट.
और मेरे को हमेशा लगता है कि पीसी में ना ये हो भी जाता है कि इट्स लाइक व्हेन यू आर नॉट स्कोरिंग इन पीसीज इवन द ऑपोजिशन इज ओके कंसीडिंग पीसीज टू यू तो
हम्म.
वो भी थोड़ा फैक्टर हो जाता है बिकॉज योर ऑपोजिशन का डिफेंस हो जाता है कि पीसी दे देंगे चलेगा लेकिन इनको गोल के पास मत पहुंचने दो.
हम्म.
So वो also factor है. But yeah, the biggest miss is there. Okay, we need another PC specialist.
Yeah, we do.
And even Guljeet was a little off color. She also didn't get too
Hmm.
much. Okay, at the point we had come to the point that we were not even trying to directly score the PC. We were just going for variations.
Yeah, but without Rani competing against Australians and putting up a show,
Yeah.
I think that was pretty impressive.
Hmm. It's
And
it's like a weird thing. The we lost 2 matches, but the one we lost is which we are saying we performed the best.
mm,
इंग्लैंड के सामने तो ऑनेस्टली 1-3 थोड़ा डिसअपॉइंटिंग ही था. वी कुड हैव
mm,
पुट अप अ मोर
yeah,
बेटर शो.
yeah,
पर ठीक है.
we lost 1-3, but more. And on the men's side, we drew 4-4, but that felt like a bigger disappointment, honestly.
मेन साइड पे तो ठीक है. आई थिंक आई जस्ट कंप्लीट द वुमेन्स की. एक वुमेन्स का सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम ये है कि दे आर नॉट इन द प्रो लीग नेक्स्ट ईयर. सो
Mm-hmm.
आई डोंट नो मतलब दैट कुड बी अ प्रॉब्लम. मैंने देखा था ये कि देयर इज समथिंग लाइक नेशंस कप व्हिच दे विल प्ले and whoever wins the nation cups gets promoted to the pro league the second year from now. so
Mm.
so that is like their hope कि और nations cup I think पास में ही है. It's not far. In fact इसी साल है nations cup. मैंने देखा था schedule.
Mm.
कहाँ पे एक सेकंड it's in like December. So December
Mm-hmm.
में you have a hockey nations cup which they have to win to get promoted to the pro league. So I think that's pretty important for them.
Okay, all right.
मेंस का बोलने जल्दी से. मेंस का वही फोर
I
फोर.
think I was very disappointed.
Yeah.
Even though they won a silver, they had
Hmm.
just two matches जहाँ पे
Hmm.
actually देखना था कि how they are going to perform
Hmm.
against England and against Australia.
Correct.
दोनों ही काफी disappointing थे,
Yeah.
straight forward putting that way.
मतलब इंग्लैंड का अंटिल द लास्ट क्वार्टर इट वाज फाइन देन पूरी हराकिरी हो गई विद ऑल द
हाँ
कार्ड्स
वही
एंड
है ना,
एवरीथिंग.
मतलब
हाँ.
वो जो इतना अच्छा खेले in the first half,
दे जस्ट गिव इट अवे इन द
right?
एंड.
They just gave it away. Yeah.
बट
तो
या
कोई फायदा नहीं उस चीज का.
बट मतलब एटलीस्ट इंग्लैंड के मैच के बाद मुझे लगा था ठीक है वी ड्रू इट, बट एटलीस्ट our goal difference and everything is much better than England, so it won't hurt. And it was like a weird match कि we got so many cards and उसकी वजह से गड़बड़ हो
Yeah,
गया, but then all the good feelings you had went away in the final, right?
totally destroyed.
And semi-final also was
Actually,
tough, huh?
everyone was talking about that Commonwealth Games, Delhi वाला games वाला जो 8-0 हराया था.
हाँ, वहाँ पे भी इंग्लैंड को हरा के फाइनल में पहुंचे थे, which was actually a great semi-final, but then we lost. And
Yeah.
यहाँ पे साउथ अफ्रीका के सामने भी also it was tough, हाँ. मतलब ठीक है, तो
Mm-hmm.
their goalkeeper pulled out had the match of his life, but you still expect better than 3-2 against South Africa.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
yeah, overall ठीक है. At least bronze आया, women's hockey में आया. तो
मैन में थोड़ा डिसअपॉइंटिंग गिरा इवेंचुअली
मेन में
बिकॉज
तो फिर वही था कि मतलब ठीक है, इतना वो गोल्ड लूज करने का ऑब्वियसली इतना नहीं है, जिस तरीके से
से हारे,
7-0.
हाँ. फाइट करते तो मजा आता, फाइट ही नहीं था बिल्कुल भी. द मैच वाज ओवर इन लाइक व्हाट 10 minutes 15 minutes, I don't remember.
Yeah, it's a little embarrassing for a Olympic bronze medalist losing this way.
Exactly, I agree. पता नहीं, एंड द कमेंटेटर्स आर सेइंग ऑस्ट्रेलिया के साथ ही होता है ऐसा. आई डोंट नो,
ऑस्ट्रेलिया के साथ होता है ऐसा.
मे बी इट्स जस्ट स्टाइल, मे बी समथिंग एल्स.
हम्म.
वैसे एक बज
हम्म.
गया है, तू कब से घड़ी देख रहा है? आई एम सीइंग.
कहाँ देख रहा हूँ मैं घड़ी?
अच्छा, तू घड़ी नहीं देखता
मैं
क्या
तो
तू?
कमेंट्स पढ़ रहा हूँ.
वो तू कमेंट्स पढ़ रहा
कमेंट्स में
है?
अलग ही कुछ चल रहा
ओके.
है. बैडमिंटन की बात हो रही है, बट यार
हाँ.
घड़ी में देख रहा हूँ कपिल.
हम्म.
1 घंटा हो गए एंड आई एम सुपर टायर्ड.
ठीक है.
तूने यू वांट टू टॉक अबाउट चेस, यू कैन क्विकली टॉक
हाँ.
अबाउट इट एंड
या
देन
सो
विल क्लोज इट.
या सो आई जस्ट से क्विकली अबाउट द चेस ओलंपियाड. जिसने भी देखा, तुझे मालूम है कुछ भी, बाय द वे, डू यू नो एनीथिंग?
I just read that Gukesh was the star from Indian side,
हम्म.
right? He was
हम्म.
on a winning spree. इतना
हम्म.
मुझे पता है.
हम्म.
And we won a couple of bronze, I think, है ना?
या
दोनों ही
सो
साइड से.
या सो ऑन द फेस ऑफ इट वी वन लाइक अ लॉट ऑफ मेडल्स. सो एक तो दोनों साइड से ब्रॉन्ज, जैसे तू बोल रहा है, टीम मेडल्स. उसके अलावा दे गिव आउट इंडिविजुअल मेडल्स, which we won like 7 individual medals. Gukesh won the gold on his board. Nihal won the gold on his board. So on the face of it, it's like 9 medals. It looks great, but yeah, for me it was a very bittersweet thing. Uh,
Why?
See, on one hand, it's like we won a lot of individual medals, which is fine, but the main target is obviously the team medals. And team medals, maybe we got bronzes both ways, but
Hmm.
we were this close to gold both ways. And we
Okay.
should have got the gold, especially the women.
Hmm.
Women will probably never get a better chance to get a gold, because there was no Russia, there was no China, who are by far the two strongest teams in women's chess. So India
Hmm.
was the top seed. We went into the last day leading, and we were facing US, and we really had no business losing to the US.
Hmm.
The US, there was no way US should have beaten us, but somehow things just didn't go well the last day. And the Stars lost. Bhakti Kulkarni had a 4-on-4 result by till then. She didn't play the top opponents, but she had a 4-on-4 result. चार गेम she won all four, and which is
Hmm.
a big deal in chess, right? क्योंकि chess में draws बहुत होते हैं. So she had a 4-on-4 result, and she lost. Tanya was the best player on her board so far. She was winning the gold on her board, and she had won us a couple of matches, and she too lost. And हारने के बाद भी she won a bronze on her board. So she was that good. But last day everything went bad. And it was a situation जहाँ मैच ड्रॉ भी कर लिया होता ना तो भी शायद गोल्ड निकल जाता. We didn't even need to win. Even
Okay.
so, it was a big miss. But ठीक है, you can say it was the first ever medal. We have never won a medal in the Olympiad. The online Olympiad doesn't count, guys. That's different. But on the actual Olympiad, women's Olympiad, we have never won a medal, and this was a golden chance. So medal मिला fine, but gold इतने से छूट गया. And
Hmm.
open section में भी same ही चीज हुई. So open section में it didn't happen on the last day. It happened on the second last day. So जैसे तू बोला ना गुकेश. So just तुझे पता है गुकेश what he did? He started with 8-on-8. Now 8-on-8 and on the top board. Okay.
Hmm.
So this is like he's playing the topmost opponents. He even beat Fabiano Caruana on there. Caruana का नाम सुना है? So Caruana अभी he's dropped to like world number 9 or something. He was once the clear world number 2 behind Magnus, like 3-4 years back. And in fact, even a couple of years back, most people considered him the second best, clear second best, just behind Magnus. So let's say among the top three, एक तीसरा डिंग ले लेने चाइना का. who's also very good. So among those top three, they always consider Kadwana and Ding. So Gukesh went 8 on 8, including beating Kadwana, which is like mind boggling. So that's what you were hearing. Okay. Okay, how did he went 8 on 8? The ninth game he drew, which was fine. Okay. 8.5. 10th day, the penultimate day. That's when everything happened. So that was India versus Uzbekistan. And it was basically a situation कि इंडिया जीते तो we are very close to the goal. उज्बेकिस्तान को हराना है. And it was a situation where Gukesh was completely winning. मतलब he himself said later कि I didn't have such a winning position in any of my games. ये सेम बंदा जो 8 गेम जीता है, बाद में बोला है कि उतनी विनिंग पोजीशन मेरे किसी भी गेम में नहीं हुई. And it went bad. He made a couple of mistakes. Then he could have taken a draw, but he didn't take the draw because he was in a mindset के अरे इतनी जीती हुई थी कैसे हारूंगा, ड्रॉ कैसे ले लूँ यार, ये तो जीतूंगा मैं. Basically, he didn't stop pushing, and he blundered and he lost. So that was the game which basically defined the Olympiad. उसके वजह से इंडिया उज्बेकिस्तान ड्रॉ हो गया. Had Gukesh even taken a draw there, we would have won the match, we would have won the gold. And he himself said, उसका पूरा चेस बेस इंडिया पे इंटरव्यू था. The guy has won 8 matches, but all he could talk about was that one game against.
Match that he lost.
And everybody was saying that was like the game of the Olympiad. जो उसमें पूरा turnover हुआ. And again, the opponent was Abdul Sattar, who's also like 17 years old. So it was like a, you can say, future world championship match or whatever, future battle of the futures. So, but yeah, so that one game, वो एक गेम की वजह से सब गड़बड़ हो गया. And again, we came from gold to bronze. और अगर इनफैक्ट अगर वहाँ जीता होता तो इवन द इंडिया की दूसरी टीम, द फर्स्ट टीम who ended up fourth, they could have also got a medal. So bittersweet. I mean, a lot of people are happy because ठीक है 9 medals and bronzes and पहली बार medal and everything दिखता बहुत अच्छा है. But yeah, for me it was a little bittersweet. We missed it narrowly. At least एक गोल तो निकालना चाहिए था यार.
कोई नहीं, नेक्स्ट टाइम आ जाएगा कपिल, डोंट वरी.
ठीक है, देखते हैं. अभी आई डोंट नो आज प्रग क्या कर रहा है. 3 घंटे से मैं यहाँ बैठा हूँ, अभी जाके मुझे प्रज्ञानंदा का देखना पड़ेगा मैच.
ओके, ठीक है, मैं सोता हूँ, 1 बज गए हैं. लेट्स क्लोज इट. आई थिंक it was great, had good fun.
Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, guys. We were discussing next stream we'll probably do something about the Olympic qualification. Will take some time.
Yeah.
But हम लोग सोचते थे Olympic
Yeah, but
qualification
we'll
को खुद
definitely
करेंगे.
come up with it. देख लेंगे, 2-3 स्पोर्ट्स को क्लब करने एक साथ.
हाँ.
उस तरीके से कर लेंगे. एंड probably before some major world championship or something, है ना?
Yeah, I think shooting
That's
next
how
है.
we'll
हाँ.
time.
Shotgun पहले है.
September.
हाँ. Yeah.
ठीक है.
बैडमिंटन वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप भी आ रही है. आई थिंक हम लोग ने बैडमिंटन में कवर कर ही लिया था pretty much.
हाँ, yeah, most of it.
Hopefully we can do something in men's singles. देखते हैं. Draws are very bad.
ठीक है.
Draw is horrible.
Draws are draws. ठीक है. बैडमिंटन में it's everything is fine.
नहीं, बट सारे साथ में भी आ गए ना एक जगह.
हाँ, that ways it's थोड़ा सा tricky.
चलो ठीक है guys, 1 बज रहा है. Good night. Have fun.
Yeah, good night guys. Thanks for joining in. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Where is it?